Ladies and gentlemen, Quentin Reviews is a name many of you know. He used to be my favorite YouTuber. He seemed like just an approachable, normal guy making dumb videos about stuff that he really liked, but kind of understood how stupid and goofy it made him look. These days, Quentin Reviews makes what I like to call macro content. That's content designed with as much girth as possible so that people click on it just out of sheer curiosity. Over the last year, he has made a handful of videos about various Nickelodeon sitcoms that have culminated in probably 20 or so hours worth of content. Today, we are going to watch his video, The End of Victorious. This is his second video on the sitcom Victorious. We have not seen the other ones. We are going to do an endurance challenge. I'm going to press play on this video. We're going to see how far we go. When everyone in voice chat agrees to tap out, we tap out. I upload the video wholesale.
You are giving me way too much power, Dylan.
Everyone in voice chat has to agree to it. So we're going
Should we
to
lock off VC then?
I do have to go back to work in 30 minutes, but I can stick around for 30 minutes.
That's fine. Whoever comes into my voice chat gets pulled into this. Until everyone until everyone who is currently inside the voice chat agrees, the content does not stop.
By the way, do you make a habit of finding content based on its girth?
It's just something I've noticed. In fact, I would say around 2020,
Holy shit, this video is 8 hours long.
I would say around 2020, I actually stopped watching any video over an hour. The last YouTube video over an hour I gave a shit about was the Mystery Flesh Pit video that Wendigoon put out. And that was
I want to watch that again.
That was like the very edge. I've never seen a YouTube video over an hour that is actually worth watching. They're all full of garbage and worms.
It's funny you mentioned Wendigoon because I did listen rather to like his 5-hour review of Blood Meridian.
I just realized the Gaming Magic video is an hour and 6 minutes, and I'm pretty sure the Josh Scorcher one is too. God damn it! All right.
You sat through that like 6 times.
All right. I'm gonna hit play on this. No pausing, no stopping, no nothing. We're just going.
So for those of you out of the loop, here's 5 hours in under a minute.
I'm gonna turn the volume down though.
In my last video, we explored the origins of the infamous Nickelodeon sitcom Victorious, which premiered in 2010.
I love how he says it's 5 hours under a minute, and then does an 8-hour video.
School for the Performing Arts. In said video, we covered the first
I think
2
he's
seasons
recapping
of the
his
show
other video.
and all of the awkward weirdness that came with those episodes. We then covered
It just seems interesting to be like, oh yeah, I can make a minute-long video, but I'll spread it out for 5 hours.
Victorious' standalone identity, totally removed from other sitcoms of the time. And to put it as briefly as possible, today we are here to finish what we started. We are here to review the final 2 seasons of Victorious as we ramp
This is a hell of a thing to do on your
towards
birthday.
Sam and Cat, the Victorious spin-off that changed everything.
Is it your birthday, Dan?
Now, this video isn't the
Yeah,
first
it's my
one we've
birthday.
done for this
Jesus,
project,
I'm
obviously,
sorry.
so if you have some free time, I recommend kind of going
I'm
not, this is funny.
catalog and exploring the adventure up to this point. But if you don't want to do that, this video, in my opinion,
The true endurance
will
test should be
hopefully
to
work
sing
on a standard
Dan
basis
Happy
to some
Birthday
extent.
for 8
So if
hours.
you're new,
God,
all
or
I
until he
really wanna say to
cracks.
you
I forgot
guys
how much
is
I hated
I
his stupid
encourage you
fucking
to go
Garfield
down
shit.
below and hit
And his
certified
Barbie.
Garfield.
Quite a while ago now,
Why
we
has he got
actually hit
Barbies on his
500,000
desk? Like, what?
subscribers,
Oh, on
which
his
was really
shelves. What the
exciting for me
fuck?
I think those are
because it was my
Victorious
goal
things.
for
I think those are
basically
tie-ins
the
to
entirety of
Victorious.
2021. I just wanted to hit this number.
He's
And we
really
hit it with quite a while
one
to
of
go,
the
and
like
it just
front
happens
runners
that
on
this
the
is the first
destruction
video
of
I've
Garfield
made where
as a
I've had
piece
the
of
chance to,
Americana.
mention
I feel like
this
more so
stuff
than
and
anyone
really
else, Quentin
celebrate.
Reviews is
And
the
I just
guy
wanna
I
thank
think
you
of
guys
when I
so
see
much
like
for such an incredible year,
stupid
because the
takes on
feedback I've
Garfield.
gotten from these last few videos, it's honestly been so
You see a lot of
exciting,
people who are like
invigorating,
ironically into Garfield,
overwhelming,
and then you saw those people shift. Shut up, I'm talking. You saw those people shift forward into. I actually really love Garfield because it's wholesome content. Garfield is not wholesome. Have you guys ever read a Garfield comic?
Aren't they just kind of pessimistic?
They're the most pessimistic shit written. It was literally written to be the most marketable thing possible. Every single Garfield strip is about how awful life is and how shitty Garfield is as an existing creature. He exists as a self-hating corporate icon that the creator could then slap on all content endlessly.
By sending out a big thanks to today's sponsor, Glasses USA.
It's not fun and wholesome content. It's not like cute and innocent. No, it's an icon of sloth.
Hold on, I just realized, did you see there's this sticker on his wardrobe and it's got Sonic and Garfield in a love heart. Like, when it comes back, look for it.
One of my favorite things to do after my morning coffee is after the grinds have gotten all like tough and solid at the bottom of the cup, is to drink a Coca-Cola in there so it gets a little extra kick.
It's also put the butter back in the fridge.
You can use the virtual mirror to upload a photo of yourself to the site. This allows you to see what each and every pair of frames will look like.
Wow, this looks like shit.
Literally like you're looking in a mirror.
This looks fucking awful. What are you selling? What the fuck? It just puts a transparent PNG of the glasses over your face.
The first 14 days. Meaning if you don't like your frames after
I
you
can do
receive
that.
them, you can get your money back with
it's
free
not
shipping
going to
on
work.
returns and absolutely no questions asked.
Oh,
now,
yeah, it is
like
there.
all my previous sponsored videos, GlassesUSA.com.
Yeah, look, do you see it?
Yeah.
A selection of unique
Woozy, you have brought yourself into a hellhole,
Oh, look at
just
it.
to let you know.
Look at its fucking neck.
I tried some of these on real quick.
What's going
Now,
on?
something that I
You are now roped in. You have to sit here for 8 hours, like us, or until we decide we can't watch this video anymore.
We're watching this Quentin Reviews video non-stop until everyone agrees to tap out.
This to my friends and family. So, even if you don't need glasses right now, if you end up needing glasses in 6 months, I want you to
You
think,
like
hey,
stream this or
I
is
should
just
go
like
back to that video.
I'm
and click on that
recording
link,
it.
Next year, I'm actually planning once again on switching to a different pair of glasses, just so you know when you click on a specific Quentin video.
If any of you are doing anything in another window, if any of you are fucking playing video games or anything, you need to fucking stop it.
So, when I try all these
Because
glasses
that's
on,
going to extend your
be sure to give me
shit
feedback
too
in the
far.
Comments on which you like the best. And which
Too bad, I ain't stopping.
You need to
You
have
should have thought of that to begin with.
this video.
I'm in the middle of a dungeon, baby.
This video needs to be up on one screen, and Discord should be on your other screen, and your third screen should also be the video. And if you have other screens than that, it goes video, Discord, video, Discord until all your windows are fulfilled.
You know what, Dylan?
But let's move on to
I think I'm gonna put the video on my lap. I'm gonna crack open a nice book. It's Don Quixote.
You people are fucking... Stop it! Stop it! You're ruining the sanctity of the endurance run!
No, you're not. You never specified that at the beginning there was no rules.
I'm specifying it now!
It's too late.
This is my fucking competition.
Yeah, you didn't specify it to begin with.
Whoever wins, whoever lasts the longest,
Here we have some sunglasses.
gets a
I think are very similar
gets
to
a
the
kiss
ones
on the
I
cheek.
put on, they're sunglasses.
I'm getting one of those next
There's
week.
something cool about
I want to tap out. I want to tap out. I don't want the kiss in the cheek.
Look how fucking close together his eyes are. Look how
Look
shitty
how
his...
gay that looks.
It looks awful.
sponsors. So
He looks like a
There's like an anime character who looks like this, and I can't remember his name.
He looks like he's got, like, you know those little tiny reading glasses that just sit on the bridge of your nose?
Prince Nez or whatever.
I don't know who that is. I'm not... shut up.
I really like the new glasses.
No, I think that's what they're
case they have,
called. They're like
because for
Prisoners or
comparison,
something.
over here I have
You mean what Morpheus is wearing during the Matrix kind of thing?
No, because those are still
the
normal
fucking-
glasses. The ones that they don't go over your
The
ears.
John Lennon glasses.
No, because those are just round sunglasses. These are the little ones. They're like little reading glasses that sit on your... You see them on, like, cartoons and shit.
Bifocals?
Bifocals, yeah. Yeah, like Benjamin
Wait, hold on,
Franklin
is
has.
Is it still the advert?
Yeah, he's fucking
It
going.
is! He just did a 10-minute, or like a 5-minute advert where he's just basically talking about his fucking
Oh my
frames.
god,
Jesus.
we're only 7 minutes in.
Also, why has he got... Do you see in the top left? It's fucking Ronald McDonald on a crucifix.
He's Chris crinkling out.
Oh, shut your fucking mouth. I'll fucking crucicrinkle you.
Yeah, random thought I had. Who's that?
Oh,
Who's that other YouTube person that has like an obsession with Garfield? Is it like Izzy Is or something like
I
that?
don't know, they're all fucking...
Are you sure it isn't Izzy ain't?
You're thinking of Lumpy Touch. But that's more of a gimmick than anything.
There's a girl who's like obsessed with Garfield, and she's like, "Oh, this is some like drama that happened in the Brony community 10 years ago." My videos are great.
How much do you want to bet, though, she has never actually watched or even looked at a fucking Garfield cartoon? Like, how many Garfield fans actually read Garfield religiously?
None of them have fucking read them. That's the
you
fucking
don't know how to
problem.
read.
No, that's the... I did too. I remember it, because every fucking... When I was a kid, every time I was at my fucking grandparents' house, they would have the newspaper next to the toilet. And I remember getting excited every Sunday because I would have new reading material. And I would go through as I was clenching for dear life, reading the fucking Garfield shit like they were the nuclear secrets at Mar-a-Lago.
Probably had no idea what was being
It was
made
awful.
fun of.
Every fucking
I'm
Garfield
bringing this
strip
all up
sucks.
Because season 3, episode 1, arguably
According
has
to
more
you.
in common with the
I
April
liked
Fool's
Garfield.
episode than
You liked
any
Garfield
other
the same
story
way
in
that
the
Movie
show,
Bob likes
as it
Mario.
is yet again a prolonged
I
parody
also like
which
Super
doesn't
Mario
make
Bros.
sense
3,
if you
Dylan.
don't have an understanding of
It's one of
the
my favorite
source
Mario
material.
games.
I'm referring to season
Hey, so
3,
how many times do you think
episode
that
1,
these
The
characters like
Breakfast
changed been
Bunch.
sucked by
Could have called it the brunch.
fuck,
Bunch.
what's his name? Dan,
Would've been so
not Dan
much
Harmon.
better. Now, a really funny personal thing about
They
this
didn't call it the
episode
Brunch
is that
Bunch
it
because
actually
they're
features as a
referencing the
guest
movie
star
The Breakfast
Rob
Club, idiot.
Riggle. Now, the reason
Did
that
you mean
I
Dan
find this
Schneider?
kind of amusing is that one of the
Yeah,
main
yeah,
things
They
that
call
I've
the
been
breakfast.
doing
They
this
call
year
the
is kind
they
of
call
a
the
break
Breakfast
from
Club
working on
because
this
guys are sucking all
miniseries,
all the
is
little
watching
sausages.
Holy Moly,
Ugh.
a mini
Oh,
golf
that
themed
was-
reality competition show which Rob Riggle is the co-host of. So seeing Rob Riggle actually show up in the legitimate content of this project, well, it's just kind of a nice feeling. Anyways,
Wait,
this
who's
episode
Rob
sucks.
Riggle?
Let's get into it.
I don't
So
know.
the episode starts with Victoria Justice singing the song Don't You, Forget About Me, as we see slow panning shots of the school and the characters. Yes, as many of you have probably guessed by now,
We could've been watching
this
The
is
Venture
going to be a
this is your
Breakfast Club
choice.
parody. Now,
It is
Dude,
my
I
what?
choice,
made
you're
fun of the
right.
Breakfast
I'm having
Club
fun.
a lot on this channel. And it's
I will
mainly
say this,
because I just think
can
that
you
it
even
resonates
think of a
lot
single
more with
library where
people
kids
my
would be
parents'
allowed to
age
fucking have,
versus
like,
people
lounge
my
all over
age.
shit like that?
Like,
You'd have
it's
some
not a bad
fucking
film. I know
asshole
it's like the
librarian
standard
coming
for
over
the
and going,
entire genre, but I just don't know
So,
anyone who's under 25
the fuck was
and
that?
is really
Did he just
really into the
swipe
Breakfast
the match
Club.
with his
Look,
mouth?
all I'm
Yeah, have you
saying
not
is
seen
that
The Breakfast Club? It
is a
sucks.
coming-of-age
No.
movie for
It's
the
a movie about
1980s,
these
and to
kids who are on
generations
Saturday
weren't
detention,
there,
and then
we
they all
have
learn
different
something about
tastes in
themselves,
that
and it's
genre.
fucking gay.
Sexual assault is no longer a punchline. Goth girls no longer have to dress in white
the
to be
fucking goth
attractive.
chick, they ruined
Nerdy
her.
kids trying
Yeah,
to
Yeah,
get
like
themselves
there's a
is
whole
no
plot
longer
point
less
about the
sad
weird
than
girl
football
getting
jocks
like
having mean
dressing all
parents.
pretty, and she
As a
looks way
teenager, I
fucking
watched the
worse.
film and was frankly bored out of my mind. So all I'm saying is I don't understand how someone potentially a few years younger than me would be immediately entertained by a Victorious episode where you have to have seen the movie to get most of the jokes.
That's the
Alright, so
point,
at the start
though,
of the
is a
episode,
lot of
the
these
gang
things,
all
it's
arrive to
really
the
hard for
school
me to
on a
talk over
Saturday
other
and
people.
mention that
I
they
have
all
like
got
a really
detention for
bad
being late
thing
to
about it,
class.
and it
We
can
meet the
really
school's
drive me
vice
nuts
principal,
here. This is a
who's in
bad
charge
idea.
of detention and is
Most-
very
you know
clearly
what's-
a parody of
most
Paul
of
what's
Newton's
funny?
character
It's him-
from the
go on.
original.
Most
He
of these
orders them to go to
videos,
the
most of
library
these
for
episodes,
detention, and
shit
after
like
we
this,
there, we discovered
this
that
is
Hollywood
just
Arts
them
has the worst
redoing the jokes
library
with
in
their
the
own
history
cast.
of libraries.
The
This
audience
set is pathetic.
is not
the
in
gang
on
all
it.
begin
They're
talking
just
about
basically
how
it's a
they're
way
in
to
the
trick
mood for
you
tacos,
into
except
seeing
for
the
Kat,
art
who
that the
says
creators
nothing.
like.
Jade begins taunting her, accusing Kat of
It's
being
also
a
just a
vegan.
way of
Pretty
recycling
soon,
content.
Robbie is also accused of being a vegan.
I don't think, and also, it's kind of a bad point to be like, oh, you have to have seen the original to get what's going on. No, it's not a very hard concept to grasp. It's not rocket
One of the
science.
characters accuses several
12-year-olds would be
other
entertained by a
characters
movie,
of being virgins.
What?
Seeing finger
I said
gestures
12-year-olds
from
and
such a
like under
pristine
will be
girl.
entertained by literally
Not that
anything. You don't need to
pristine.
like, you know, expect them to watch the movie to get
Are
everything.
you a virgin? Leave her alone. I said leave her alone.
And so here, the writer has lifted numerous scenes almost word for word, except the word virgin is replaced with the word vegan.
Our pristine little friend Kat has never had a taco. Not that pristine. Are you?
Oh
a
my
vegan?
god.
Leave her alone. Among Us.
References sure make up for a substantial
Us.
drop
That's
in
kind of a
quality,
fu-
am I
that's-
right?
that's
Yes, we find
that's
out
a-
Kat has never had a taco before, much to
That's
her
kind of a funny
embarrassment.
bit.
This is...
To replace virgin with
I've been
vegan,
told
like even out of
a
context.
fourth wall joke about a tweet that Ariana Grande did 10 years ago.
Like, even,
about how she's never had a taco before, and this was like
I'm
a
sorry.
semi-viral thing in 2011.
Even out of like the
if you can
context
call
of the
67
movie it's
likes viral.
referencing,
Can you
the
believe
idea
there
of
are
someone
people who
being
think
that
this woman
like
is Hispanic?
intense and
This
shitty
tweet
about their
inspired the
friend
writers
because
to
they've never
put
had a
into the
taco
script that
is
Kat eats
like
a
kind
taco
of
and
funny.
likes it, to kind of force Ariana Grande to try a taco for the first time.
I-
Obviously,
whatever, who
tacos
cares?
are also sort of a replacement for weed in the original film. As a big twist in The Breakfast Club is that they all get high, which was super edgy in 1985. Tori and the gang go to her locker and get some tacos out of a brown paper bag.
The girl has tacos. Do you approve of this?
They're at the risk of being caught in the hall, so Tori begins loudly singing to distract Vice Principal Rob Riggle. He catches her, and while she gets in trouble, she saves the rest of the gang. Get it? These are all scenes from a movie! Riggle puts
what a
Tori in a janitor's
ridiculous,
closet
like,
and tells her that in
idea.
5 years she's gonna be a big pop star. So she should start by popping the pimple on his arm. I don't remember this from
What?
the movie.
Pop it! Pop my arm pimple!
What is happening? I don't understand. Could we go
Oh.
back to playing video games?
I feel
Tori
like you could
finds
get
a
in
secret
massive
escape
trouble
hatch
for
to the
doing that.
library,
You
and she
could.
goes
There's
there.
all sorts
And they
of
eat
dumb little
tacos.
gross
Once
out
again,
shit
things
in
get
the
heated as
Dave
Jade
Snyder
accuses
stuff,
Kat
and
and
people
Robbie
always
of
point
being
to it
vegans.
as,
Robbie
like,
tries to
weird
get out of
sex
it by
stuff,
claiming
but
that
I-
he and Tori once
I'll
ate a
be
taco
honest with
together,
you,
which
I've
quickly
always
joins the run for the
interpreted it
least
as
clever
just
innuendo in the entire
Dave
show's
Snyder
run.
Robbie's
grew
trying
up
to
in the
tell me that
didn't grow up, but he
sometimes
started his career in the
you and
90s.
he crunched
And
the
like
corn
gross
shell
out
together.
humor was
Robbie
just the big
awkwardly
thing
admits
then,
that he's
so
still
he
a
just sort of
vegan,
kept
and
going
Kat
with
feels
it.
inspired by this, and says
There's
that she'll
also
try
just-
a taco if he will too. Thus, the two lose
Of
their
the off-screen
veganity
shit,
together,
though.
and
I
Kat
mean, yeah,
decides
like,
that
he did
she
other shit
likes
that's real fucked up.
tacos.
It's just,
to
you know.
Victoria's fans, this is one of the best episodes. But personally, it makes me want to buy a flare gun. Andre gets excited and does a run dance. He yells and a bird explodes, a reference to that scene where Andy
That
yells
flare
and a
gun
window
joke could have been
breaks.
funny, but
They
he
then
didn't
give
go the
Kat
extra
hot
step.
sauce and she
He
starts
should have said it
coughing,
makes
and
me
they
want.
quote the movie
It
again.
makes me want to blow the roof of my mouth off with the flare gun.
They hot sauce.
The flare
should've
gun is the
They
last
then do a
whole that
recreation
enhances
of the
the
huddled
joke.
half
It's not the
circle
whole
scene,
joke.
which they totally
He
fuck
should have
up.
said it makes
The
him want to
point
take
of
a
the huddled
diarrhea
half
dump in
circle
his
scene
ear.
is that
It makes
you
me wanna
are
put a flare
completing
gun
the
in my
huddled
ass and
circle,
pull the
but by
trigger.
having a bunch of shit in between the camera
Well, you are
and the
flaming,
huddled half
Dylan, so-
circle,
You
you
better
thus
believe it,
eliminate the compacted
sweetie.
feel of the connection. The boys give Robbie a makeover, a
It's-
parody
it's
of
a
the scene where
retarded
Allison gets a
idea,
makeover.
yeah.
Kat decides she's into him now and lets him boop her on the nose. Rex writes a letter where he references
Whoa.
everyone under a specific nickname, specifically
Remember,
calling
kids,
himself
don't
the
be
puppet
booping
and
each
Tori
other on the
future
nose, that's
pop
how you end
star.
up
Good
pregnant.
luck with that, Tori. Tori then does the air punching thing. That's from the movie. Did you know that?
Whoa.
So that was
It was
season
Dana
3,
Boy.
episode 1.
Yeah,
Did
well, I
you
think
guys
Woozy's
have
at
a
work
fun
or
time?
whatever.
I
They're on their
hope
phone,
not.
most
If you
definitely.
guys are
He
like
did
me,
a
then you're
5-hour
probably getting
review
pretty
and only got
tired of
2
all these
seasons
movie
in.
parodies. So let's move on to another episode that truly recaptures the magic of Victoria's
I'm getting real fucking
branded
antsy, dude.
weirdness,
We've been here
but
for
without any of the
17 minutes.
plagiarism.
There's
And
no
I'm talking
fucking
about
dinosaurs,
Season
man.
3, Episode 2,
The
Has
Gorilla
it been
Club
17
way.
minutes?
So at the start of the episode, Tori is preparing to audition for a movie about a troubled teen.
Well, I
but
thought
is
it would have been
facing
only
a
10.
problem. She is very bad at acting.
Oh, don't worry about me,
She
Dylan.
tries
This
to
is
do the
funny
scene.
to me,
She
Dylan.
elicits laughter
I'll be able to
instead of
laugh,
intrigue.
Dylan.
She
Said
goes
I
excited
was.
over this
I
and
am
throws
gonna
Kat's
laugh.
plushie
I'm
out the
gonna
window
fucking
and
drag
then
it out.
pants Psychowitz.
Oh,
Later,
Tori
Tori
Flies
confirms that
again.
Psychowitz thinks she doesn't, that it's a bad
quick
idea.
discussion.
But Tori decides
Canned
to go
laughter.
anyways. Meanwhile, in the C plot, Trina gets shoes that
I
are
always
really,
feel
really
that
tall,
canned
and she
laughter
uses
does
St. John's
bring
hair to
down
help her
how
walk
funny
around.
something
She then
is.
trips
Feels
while
as though I'm being
jogging and
prompted
hurts
rather than
herself, which
just
is funny
naturally
because
enjoying
you
the
don't
joke.
like her.
I remember
Andre
years
tries to ask
ago,
out a
Drew
girl he
Gooden
likes,
did
but
a
Jade
video where
forces
he
him
tried
to
to
do the
count
hammer time dance,
how many
and it
jokes
goes
were
badly.
in.
Anyway, so what is
How many
the
jokes
Gorilla
were
Club?
in an
Well,
episode of The
Gorilla Club
Office,
is an
which does
underground
not have a
teen
laugh
hangout
track,
spot where you're
and how
dared
many
to do
jokes are in
various
an episode of
dangerous
Friends,
things.
which
You
does.
first have to sign a waiver, however,
And he found
as
that
the
there
name
really
suggests,
wasn't
the
a
final
huge
challenge
difference.
is to
He
fight
was
a
surprised
gorilla,
at how
which
many
the club
jokes
keeps
Friends was
behind
able to
a
cram
fence.
in,
You know
even
for a
with
fact that if this
the
place was
caveat
real,
of
people
having
from
to make way for
SoCal
the-
would be
the laughter of
so
the jokes.
fucking
But
snobby about it. Oh, you
I
have
do
to go to
think
the Gorilla Club. It's
if
such
The
a
Office
vibe.
makes
They
a
have
bad
all-season
joke, it's
fries.
done,
Shut the
right?
fuck up.
If you have a
Speaking of
laugh
unsafe
track,
atmospheres, does the
not
Gorilla
only
Club
does that
look
allow a bad joke to
familiar
linger,
anyone
it
else?
tells you that they
Nope.
how much they expected you
yet?
to laugh at that joke.
I'll give you a
And if it's a
hint.
lot, that bad joke gets way worse.
You know, a funny story here. When I started that episode, I was really, really worried that it was going to be a Fight Club parody, and I was like, really? 3 movie parodies in a row? But it turns out it's not. I presume. I've never seen Fight Club. Anyway, here's episode 3. At the start of the episode, Tori is having difficulties.
How would you
because
know
her
then if it was a
earphone has
reference
gone
or
all
not?
jank.
I mean,
It
yeah,
barely
that's
holds
a
power,
good
makes an
point.
obnoxious noise occasionally, and always needs to be plugged in. As people advise Tori on what to do, Beck
I
and
imagine
Jade
he was
fight
just looking
as
out
per
for the
usual.
nobody talks about Fight Club line.
Tori says she doesn't want to get a new Pearphone because they're supposed to announce a new one that week. Jade requests that if they're going to keep going on about this topic, could someone please take her outside and slam her face into a car door?
I have a car.
Oh.
Someone told me they were excited to see this video because they wanted to see my hot take on how wholesome Jade and Beck were and how they were such a cute couple, and I had to tell them whatever memory they had in their head of these two, it's only in their head, it's not in the actual show. Sinjin then comes into the room and
I want
makes
to point
an
out
announcement.
he said that
has
because
built a theoretical
the
game
main
show,
characters banter
Queries
with
for
each other.
couples, and the pitch has
This is a
been
man
picked
who
up
has
by
never
a game
fucked in
show
his life.
website, GameGoober.com.
No risk at
The
all.
next day, he is going to film a rehersal and wants everyone to be
This is
on
a man who
board.
doesn't have friends.
Please tell me
That was
Sinjin
such an-
episodes don't
it's such
become
a
thing from
basic
here. I
joke.
don't need them doing to my favorite character what they already did to Gibby. Anyways, the day of
Do you
taping,
think he's ever
Sinjin's classmates all
slammed
come
his
to
penis
support
in a
him,
car
and
door?
We meet the
We can
owner of the
only
game
pray.
show website.
Probably
I'd
at
like to
one
introduce
point,
the
just to make
wonderful
sure
man
it was
who runs
working.
GameGoober.com, Mr. Harvey Gubin.
Beck wants Kat's opinion about his relationship with Jade, and Jade says he should just go ahead and ask a monkey's opinion because that would be just as useful. Kat eventually realizes that she's been caught in between a screaming match and tries to convince herself that she's at home under her bed. As things get more hectic, with Beck yelling at Jade for not being someone he can talk to, and Jade yelling at Beck for constantly attracting the gaze of other women, Kat has a full-on panic attack and passes out. The janitor then goes into the closet and gets a hammer and some rope.
How dare you
Lane
attract
enters
the
after him
gaze.
and incorrectly presumes that the janitor has knocked out Kat and is going to tie her up.
Whoa.
His tone perhaps implies that he's actually done this before. That's statutory rape joke number 17 and the janitor at Hollywood Arts' creepy joke number 2. The gang once again are seen playing poker.
God, he's
but
such
this
a
time with
fucking
poker
wet
chips
blanket.
instead of
Fuck
Skittles.
off, you
Character
fat pussy.
development. Tori gets shocked
Every
by the primary
fucking
fun,
joke
and
that
Robbie
I'm
says
like,
that it
oh, that's
can't be
kind of
that
funny.
bad.
I'm surprised
Tori
they went
fish
ahead with
are
that. I was
full
always
up
like,
to
can you
Robbie's
believe they would say
testicles.
this shit?
This
Yeah, I
show is
can, because it was
normal. Beck
written
and Jade
presumably
then
by
show up to
people
the
who
party
have
as
friends
Beck
and
is
go
trying
out
to
and
prove
like
a point. He
understand
says
that like
he knew
a
the rest
fucked
of the
up
gang
joke
would
is
be
funny
hanging
because
out
it's
without
fucked
them
up.
because they bring out the worst in each other, and people
Whoa.
have started
Oh
to
my
avoid
God!
this. Beck says he's tired of their friends not wanting them around, causing Jade to
Okay,
comment that no one
due
in
to
the
the fact
group
this guy
is
is
her
such a
friend,
such
least
a
of all
like
Kat, who
policing
she
dirty
views as a
jokes.
pet.
Isn't this guy like one of the like right-wing people?
Instead, I watched Nickelodeon sitcoms.
No, he used to be a skeptic, which were these sort of like a lot of them were pretty liberal, but that was back when like the political lines were kind of blurring.
She takes it to mean that they're breaking up.
Back when like Anita Sarkeesian was a big deal and Gamergate and all this shit, and he was one of them, and then he jumped ship to the breadtubers who were pretty hard left.
Meaning that the DS game captured the characters in this show so accurately that it accidentally premeditated a storyline from the future.
These might not actually be his opinions then. He's just trying to like reach a quota so he doesn't get hung by his peers.
I think he
reaches the number 10.
I think he, like a lot of people, has been
wanting to open it and talk this out.
He sees the social parameters of his peers and he mimics them. But he doesn't know. He doesn't have a solid foundation.
Tori finally replaces her phone.
Like,
and notes that Jade and Beck
if
have
I was maybe a
their
woman
profiles on the slap.com and are thus not
saw a lot of jokes at the expense of women,
up with this
then
comment.
even if I saw an innocuous one,
Does my thumb look Spanish?
I might view it as a dog
looks Spanish.
right?
I
might hear that and be like, this is someone trying to say what they really feel about women under the guise of a joke.
So I want to go
and I'm going to react to it a little harshly so they know I don't play with that.
This is going to sound really weird or really stupid.
But if a dude does the same thing,
odd few weeks there,
or knows the person making the joke and knows their true feelings about shit, then it starts to come across as fake. That's what I feel with Quinn.
Started to enjoy the show. I can't really explain.
Not necessarily that like he doesn't believe the stuff he does. I don't know if he has a reasoning.
Being around these characters,
I think he just believes. I think a lot of people believe that a good person believes certain things, and that's what they believe.
And so I started really looking
but they don't have a logical
because
step
it felt
for
like
how
there
they
could be so many exciting stories coming up.
And I think you see that on both sides. I think you see a lot of conservatives who think freedom of expression,
Season 3 has adapted.
Freedom of speech is a thing worth fighting for and protecting. And anyone who steps on it in any capacity should be, punished for
Season 6,
but
the stories here feel disjointed.
They don't have the logical steps to reach that conclusion. So the moment someone says something that they don't like, they will advocate for censorship of it, and they won't be able to connect the fibers, or they will say something like, "Well, they do it, so I should be able to do it," because they don't actually believe it. They haven't done the groundwork to believe things.
Of retreading ground that a previous
and it's
event
hollow,
story
and it's
already covered. But I must take note that it is interesting that both storylines seem to have been done for the polar opposite reasons.
Alright, I gotta go to work, fellas.
The breakup storyline was done to effectively
abandon us to
kill
our fate.
hip culture in their show.
This
because
like
the showrunners
weird.
thought it was annoying.
Dude, we are like the POWs in a Nazi camp, and Dan is just being released.
He's being traded.
You see, my parents were really rich and were able to like pay, and like they're paying a lot of military pensions, so I get released to you guys too.
Because two of the most fan favorite
Well,
characters
who's going first into the showers, Aquanaz?
And by the end of season 3, you guys
Not
are
me.
gonna see what I mean.
I don't
No,
take
that's
showers.
why I said your name.
Let's
You're going
move on
first.
to season 3.
Alright, good luck, you guys.
Episode 4. At the beginning of the story,
Oh my god, we're only on the
Kat
4th
approaches
episode.
Jade and
So
asks
I'm
if
now
she
going
wants
to
hang out that
institute the
weekend,
next
since
rule,
Kat is going to
which
be
is if
dog-sitting
someone
for her mom's
leaves,
boss, who is very rich.
and after
Jade
10
snaps,
minutes,
saying
they
that just because
automatically
she broke
tap
up with
out.
Beck
If
doesn't
they
mean
come
she
back
doesn't
within
have
that 10
anything to
minutes,
do. She immediately pivots
then
and says that of course she
we're good.
wants to hang out with Kat.
If they
but
come
that
back
Kat
after
owes
that
her.
10
Beck
minutes,
and
it
Jade
doesn't
exchange
matter.
a
They've been
passive-aggressive
set
hey
as
in the
tapped
halls
out.
before we cut to Tori blowing up a balloon with her nostril. Oh,
Man,
good.
this
Flanderization.
quickly became
Oof.
Magic the
I worried
Gathering.
We were gonna go 15 seconds without that. After this, we find out that Andre is in a relationship pickle of his own, as he has ended up dating a woman named Hope, who is hyper-controlling and continues to buy him clothing that he doesn't like, which she forces him to wear. Tori ends up invited along for a date, where she goes to a local sushi restaurant. At the sushi restaurant, they meet the owner, who Tori immediately recognizes as the owner
she
of
has
the
bad
Chinese
dress
restaurant
sense, doesn't
who
she?
funded Jade's play seasons
Like, who
before.
would
Tori,
wear
in
shit like that?
episode, famously left the
It's a
woman's daughter
traditional
dangling
kimono,
for an
you piece
entire
of
night
shit.
just to make Jade happy.
Sorry for
Are
dangling.
you still wearing a kimono?
Okay. Someday I will get my revenge.
Tori immediately takes note of the major contradiction between that episode and this episode and decides to say her favorite Hank Hill quote out loud.
Are you Chinese or Japanese?
At which point she is thumped on the head. Meanwhile, Kat and Jade do their babysitting gig where they meet their sidekick, Goober. Is anyone else getting like a weird sense of deja vu, but for the future instead of the past?
Yay, we're hanging
That's J Mavu, you fucking uncultured swine.
Kat tells Jade not to touch anything, for the person she's working for is very rich and powerful. Jade sarcastically touches a priceless guitar signed by Elvis himself, which then breaks free and crashes through the window.
Because the Raiden mission in Ground Zeroes is called J Mavu.
He hates the girl he's dating and is only going out with her because her daddy owns a record company. Tori tells him to a repair place, but his speech-to-voice program thinks he's asking for adult diapers.
No. That was my last search.
Tori and Andre sing in front of Neon Noses. It's an okay song. Trina knocks out a sushi employee.
Wow, I didn't realize they came from this Discord.
God damn, dude, look at her.
Meanwhile, Jade, Beck, and
fucking
Robbie all
nothing
have
under
repaired
there,
the guitar
isn't it?
and put everything back. However, Robbie
just
and
the
Jade
way
end
I
up
like
fighting
it.
over a real human skull
She looks pretty damn hot in that kimono.
Which they drop onto a glass table, causing more damage, and a sitcom actress has died.
Hey, I'm
and
mobile.
apparently no one cares.
Screen kind of cut out, so I'm just gonna be gone for a quick second.
Project, which is due
refresh
tomorrow.
it.
This being
The
the first
timer
time
has begun.
ever been in a science class, by the way. But Kat insists that she won't move until she
Oh, wait, no,
finds
it's back.
closure. Tori suggests they go to the actress's home after school to do some sort of memorial, light a candle, that sort of thing. Kat asks her to drive, but Tori says she didn't pass her driving exam, explaining that she ran over an old lady in a wheelchair. Jesus, that's dark, even for this show.
Jesus.
Kat then asks Jade to drive them instead in her brother's car, and Jade agrees. But only because she believes that visiting the home of a recently deceased actress will allow her to
Hold
ghost
on,
hunt.
hold on.
Meanwhile, Beck confronts Trina, who has been going around telling people that he asked her out. Trina explains that if all of the school believes that she's wanted by him, other guys will suddenly pine after her.
What do you think
and
would
as two
happen
guys
if
pass them in the hall, she forcefully
reviews are
kisses
stuck
him,
in a
which
room
is
with
funny because
mobility
the
Mary?
writers have a generally poor relationship with consent, which
We
often
would
seems
have the
irrelevant to the genders of
greatest
the characters in question.
throwdown the
Kat,
squad
Tori,
has
and
ever
Jade
seen.
continue on their car ride to the
But
house
I'm
of Kat's
also
favorite
in the room.
actress before she announces that it's in San Diego.
You would just
Or
sit
maybe
there
San
and ask
Francisco. I
everyone
don't
why
know.
they're
All
wearing a
California
diaper. There
places are the
wouldn't
same.
be any
Jade
other
says
Converse.
She isn't driving to wherever, but after Kat begins
So, yeah, it'd be
they
boring.
all agree to finish the trip. While Tori comments on the science project that she's come up with. A hamster on a wheel
God, I
who
hate you so
powers a
much.
robot. Meanwhile,
Give me a
Beck
kiss.
approaches Trina at a dancing class.
I don't
and
kiss
says
people
that
that
since
hate
they've
me, so-
kissed, he feels like a changed man. He asks to come over to her house that night,
don't know,
and
that's
she
not true.
says that she'll make dinner, suggestively wiggling, implying that they're really gonna bang it out. They make out and he leaves. You know what? Hot take? I'll encourage this. I think they both need a
By
one-night
translate
stand.
property,
Trina can't get a turkey
Aquanaz.
on time, so she decides
Oh,
to
not
use
gonna
a
make this
microwave.
joke.
I remember
Never
this episode
mind.
of
Yo,
Mr. Bean.
yo,
The
hot
three girls
take.
get caught
I
in a storm
encourage
and
underage
can't get the
women
top
to
up.
make
They pop
out.
the trunk
Wow.
to look for tools, but only find a vacuum-sealed bag of human feet.
I'm not gonna lie, my brother's pretty weird.
They get the top up, but what do you know?
Why do
There's
you
no
find
cover.
feet?
Tori and
Why
Jade
is it
consider
always
turning back,
fucking
but Kat
feet?
says that they promise to
Snyder.
finish the trip, and then
Yes,
a
I know.
spooky fucking
I
clown
just can't
shows
fucking
up.
keep it in his pants, can he? Or in his socks, Jesus
And I don't know where
Christ.
this spooky fucking clown came from, but he convinces them to go to San Diego. I'll tell you that much.
Don't tell me what to do. You're Canadian? Oh!
Yeah.
Okay, boys, no, this isn't very nice.
I always had a feeling you were anti-Canadian.
They get to the actress's house
I
and
am
Kat gives
anti-Canadian.
a eulogy and begins crying.
guess
They try
what?
to get
What
back to
a
the
dumb
house
bit.
where the actress appears, played by
Yeah, that's
special
what's funny
guest
is it's
star
like
Shirley Jones.
playing
Yes,
the
it
race
turns
card
out
on a
Kat's
black guy
favorite
feels
actress didn't
weird in
really
that
die.
context.
She just joined a TV show called... You see, the joke is that these guys found an emotionally insecure teenager who has never had someone in her entire life want to be in the same room as her, including her parents, and then they tricked her into thinking that it was possible that someone had the capability of loving her, only to reveal that it was all a joke, and that secretly, no one loves her and no one ever will.
God, he's
Isn't
just
that
the fucking worst.
hilarious?
He really is just the fucking most obnoxious person on the planet anymore.
The girls get
tell
back
a
to
fucking joke.
His dad says that the actress they just visited is
Man, he would last 5 seconds in a room with you, wouldn't he?
It's all the same thing of like, why don't I just explain that this joke is mean? No shit, it's mean. They're not real people, you fucking moron. They're fake.
And we all... Just to take a pause on that, reminder that he is apparently a Garfield fan with the amount of Garfield shit around him. This is like Garfield's whole humor bit.
In the opening scene, Sikowitz is teaching a lesson on how to deliver bad
would you rather
news.
be in a,
He then brings
would
out
you
a
rather
kid
listen
who
12
lives
hours
next
of
door to
Mr.
him
Enter?
and instructs
Or
Robbie
about
and
the
Cat
corner?
to tell him
I
a
would
piece
rather
of
listen-
news.
Mr. Enter
After
at
being
least,
given
like,
said news on a piece of paper,
his
they sing a song
criticisms
about
are
how
dumb,
someone
but they're
ran over his
criticisms.
go-kart with a
They're
van.
like real
This being
shit.
the first Ariana-centric song since season 1. And afterwards, Sikowitz reveals that he had them sing the song because he really did destroy the kid's go-kart. He then kicks the kid out, refusing to drive him home. Sikowitz then reveals that he is casting his new play and has decided to pick the roles by having everyone in the cast simply pick a random piece of paper out of a box. Beck and Andre are cast as twins, Tori is cast as an astronaut, and Jade is cast
describing
as the
what's
wife
happening
of
on
Tori's
the screen.
character. After the titles,
And then every
Andre
once in a
approaches
while,
Robbie
he'll
and
sit
Kat
there and
with
he'll
a
say,
proposition. He borrowed Beck's
"This
car
is
to take
not
his grandmother to the hospital, but the hospital asked for a urine sample, and after taking a bad turn, he accidentally spilled his grandmother's urine all over Beck's front seat. We don't have time to hover over these things, we just have to accept them and move on. They predictably turn this bad news into a song, which Beck takes rather well.
64 plus 9 equals 73.
Math class, the quartet practice their play, and things seem to be going pretty alright. One complaint about school plays in this show, though, they never illustrate half the cast still holding onto their scripts 2 days before opening night.
When
I feel like
gets his
that would make their illustration of these sorts of
his
things
like result
so
for
much more
asshole
realistic.
cancer, shall we tell him in the form of a song?
Sikowitz says that the girls are ruining
Why
the
would
play,
you guys
and
be
for
telling
one
him
simple
me?
reason. They are bad at pretending
Because
that
it'd be
they
funny.
love each other, which you would think would
Be
make
funnier
them
than the
great at
doctor
playing a
coming
married
in and just
couple in
going,
the
"I'm
1950s,
sorry,
but actually it's
Aquanaz,
killing
your
the play."
asshole is
By the
going
way,
to kill
this is
you."
the first
It'd be
scene
funnier
that
for
I know
me,
of
Dylan,
where
and
the
a woozy
character
to
Birth
come
is
in like a mariachi
introduced.
band
It's
and
kinda
start
like
like
St. John's
jumping
sidekick.
around
There's a lot
telling
of
you
hype
you're
for
gonna
him, so I
die
think
of
we'll be
butt
seeing him a
cancer.
lot more after this. Sikowitz forces
Okay,
Tori and Jade
we all
to
know
meet up
you
with him for
involved
dinner
in the
at the
relationship.
sushi restaurant from a few episodes ago. However, he secretly has ulterior motives. They can't play a
Guys,
couple
this is
in
being
love,
recorded.
so they need to do some character
Yeah.
acting. In other words, Sikowitz is
I am
ordering
well
that Tori
aware.
and Jade begin going out on dates.
To prepare.
I've thought about this a lot, and I think if you went to this high school in 2010 to 2013, and you followed all these people on social media, you'd probably just presume that Tori and Jade were hooking up the whole time. I mean, all the way back to season 1, Tori was always
because you
tweeting
were
out
a
weird shit
fucking
like, Jade's
loser,
dress is
just
so
like you
warm,
are
and this is
now,
the
because
worst
no
date
one
I've
wants
ever
to
been
sit
on.
with
I'm on a
you
date
because
with
you're
Jade.
so fucking
like, how else
awkward
would
and
you
cringy.
interpret that? Tori and Jade try to think of nice
Dylan,
things
let
to say about
the
each other to make the
35-year-old
date
man
go over more
have his
smoothly.
lesbian fantasies about the 216-year-old.
Boo! From certain angles, you're pretty.
What weird ass storyline though.
You could say I'm pretty. You are pretty.
Again, it all makes sense when you remember
Two
Dan
guys
Schneider
then
wrote this
walk up
shit.
to the girls, deciding that they're going to hit on them despite the fact that they're on a date and are asking to be left alone.
So, Dr. Chad, how's the patient look? Whoa! Looks like she has a Chad infection.
Whoa! Ain't no cure for a Chad infection.
Guess you're stuck with me.
The restaurant sets up a karaoke machine, and Tori and Jade decide to evade from the men who won't leave them be by singing a song called Take a Hint, about being hit on by boys who won't take a hit and leave you alone.
And yeah, this is the best song in the show. Congrats, everyone. You found a hit, and it's this specific song. I'm not even being sarcastic.
He literally thinks it's the best song because it's about women fighting back against men.
This is the first time one of the songs has entered my shuffle.
It's the
It also
only
includes my
reason is
all-time
because
favorite
it's a
lyric
statement
in the
he
entire
agrees
Victoria
with.
series,
It's so
and that
fucking
is, I guess that you
nauseating.
don't get it, so let's take it
What
from
is the
the
point of
You
art
asked me what
if
my
it's
size
not
is, and I
if it's
told
not
you it
to
was
be
stuff.
like shown
Which I think
things
is
that are
notable
outside
because
of your
up to this
world,
point, my favorite
right?
Victorious lyric
What
has
is the
been,
point of
"And
art
I'm a
if it's not
pose,
meant
if
to
I
do
wanna,
that? You know?
And I'm a Vogue.
Isn't
like
it more
Madonna, I
interesting
might
to
not
get the
dance like
perspective?
MJ,
Like,
R.I.P.,
everyone knows
but
that
I
if
will
you
give the
keep
best
bothering
of me.
someone who doesn't
And
want to
the
be
reason
bothered,
that
you're a
was my
shitty
favorite
person. Okay,
Victorious lyric
the only people who don't
is
feel that
because
way
I
are
really like
shitty
the
people.
idea of name dropping a bunch
Isn't
of
it
people,
more interesting
and
to
then
have
remembering that one of
content
them is
or
dead.
art
and then just like blurting out R.I.P.
different people. I don't know what I'm fucking saying anymore.
But now
but
my
it's
new
so
favorite lyric
transparent.
is a lyric. It's not even a joke that I just think is a good line. Here's a hot take that's gonna make people mad. After listening to this, so that means that it's once again time for me to sing the song that I'm talking about, against the advice of literally everyone in my life. Get your hands off my hips before I punch you in the lips. Stop you staring at my... Take a hint, take a hint. No, you can't buy me a drink. Let me tell you what I think. I think you could use a mint. Take a hint, take a hint. Na 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 na.
I want to point out, he said this is the best song.
So that one's hard. Anyway,
this is the best song. Huh?
They do the play, and because of their character acting, they really do come across like they're in love on stage. But afterwards, they look into their audience and see the two boys from the bar who have stalked them to their high school, and they run away. The end of the episode music plays because that was supposed to be a punchline and not a nightmare.
Oh my god, shut up!
X hasn't done anything this season so far. Maybe they...
I'm tapping out. This is my official tap out, alright? And if any of you love me or care about me at all, you won't drag this out much further.
I'm not tapping out.
I know you're not tapping out, Aquanads. What are you going to tap? Are you going to tap your broken foot? Are you going to tap your fat diabetes fingers, huh? What are you going to do?
No. We've been over this. He doesn't have fat fingers. He has girly hands.
Here's what you can do, Aquanads. Why don't you tap the 37 Coca-Cola cans that you have mounted up next to your computer and make a little song for yourself to pass the time?
She says that the oven is over there.
She will, but in 2 weeks she'll have more than you and
all the food that they have in the house,
they're Mountain Dew
with only a
cans for one
tomato
thing,
skin.
Dylan.
Guess I'll just suck on this tomato skin.
I made it 45 minutes. That was my official tap
Trina
out.
then comes down the stairs, bellowing loud noises, which she explains to be a vocal warm-up.
I refuse to be beaten by Aquanads, so I'm sorry.
Filming down the street, and thus they'll have to take the long way to school, which is a 40-minute drive instead of a 5-minute one. Tori begins having a panic attack, saying that she can't be in the same room as her sister for 40 minutes, and she begs her mom to drive her to school. Mrs. Vega instructs Tori to do a breathing exercise.
Boy, howdy, do you think Quentin is going to complain because they treat the sister like shit?
So after the title
like
sequence,
it's not
we cut to
a comedy show and it's meant to like part of the joke is that it's not like it's very shitty.
Mistake. Let's go ahead and fast forward for no particular reason. Tori vents about this ride to her friends, and while Beck and Andre mock her for not having a driver's license despite almost being 17, Beck offers to give her a ride to school the next day. However, Tori discovers that she's been joined by
Dylan don't have driving licenses. Don't call them out.
Beck for a ride that morning to try and hit on him. Tori starts a catfight, and it becomes clear that this ride isn't going to work out either. The next day, Andre gives her a ride, but his paranoid and loud grandmother makes it far from a smooth journey.
If you don't like it, why don't you drive yourself? I don't have my driver's license.
The morning after,
Most
Tori,
like
Trina,
Black
and
Lady
her
on the
mother
bus.
sit at the breakfast table as their mother once again eats
Is that
all
why
of
she
the
sat in the
breakfast
back?
food that they have.
No one said anything about that. That was all you.
School, but we learned that he has
I don't want to listen to one of these fucking British fucks talking about an American icon like that. Even in jest.
Wait, what? They did this one. They did this one in like season 1, and they did it a lot better.
Wow,
than
you're really
you
proud of that
here.
guy for making her sit at the back, aren't you?
You can say what you want about any civil rights leader, okay?
Damn it, even when they're reusing material, Kat is still the highlight of the episode.
To sit
Tori
in an
turns around and
inconvenient
finds Jade
spot
waiting for her,
at
and
the
Jade
benefit
says
of
that she
someone
wants
else.
to be the next
And I think
person
that's
to
the most
drive her to
American
school.
thing
Tori
imaginable.
is surprised, but
So
accepts
American
this. And now for
that
one
I have
of the
forgotten
weirdest
her name.
scenes in the entire show.
Hoorah.
Jade is driving Tori to
Hoorah.
school with a shovel clearly visible in
Oh,
the
these are
back
parks,
seat.
wasn't it?
Tori knows
Or something
that
like
they're
that.
far
Rosa
from where the
Parks.
school
That's
should
Rosa Parks,
be,
yeah.
and that she doesn't have a phone signal.
I
Jade
know, I
says
have to
that where
keep
they're
track of a
going,
lot of names.
there isn't much of anything.
It's not because she's blind.
And Tori
I swear.
slowly unbuckles her seatbelt
Are you
and
sure?
jumps out of the moving car. Jade stops in time, and Tori says that she's going to walk the rest of the way. Jade keeps driving and then mutters,
Next time.
"Get it? Jade was going to murder Tori."
Yes, Quentin, we get
I
it.
think this whole
It was a
scene
joke.
is very out of character.
Jane was going
You
to
used to
murder
know what that
However,
meant.
be
I
so
saw someone
stupid
point this out.
To kill Tori
with everyone knowing that she was the last person.
It was a fucking joke, you fucking fat fuck. It's not supposed to be an actual dramatic plan that the character was trying to make, you stupid idiot.
Her coupons app will allow her
The
to
game
rent
theory,
a party bus
notorious
for
on
only
Nickelodeon.
$20.
I saw a post on the iDub subreddit the other day where someone pointed out that their favorite joke from iDubbbz was not, it wasn't anything offensive, it wasn't at anyone's expense, it was just him eating food in a sewer, and then a dude walks up and just drags him down the sewer into the dark. And I remembered that joke, because I remember watching it and thinking, that joke is really funny, and I remember I was watching it with a friend who didn't normally watch iDubbbz, and he thought, that joke is really funny.
In the episode where Kat
And that person pointed out that if iDubbbz doesn't want to say slurs or be offensive or shitty to people, that's fine. But for some reason, he also seems to be incapable of making a joke. Ever. He just doesn't actually... He doesn't say anything funny. He doesn't even try to. And that's all I see here, is you're so obsessed with being a good person that you've lost the ability to be funny in any capacity, or even charming. You can't even be deprecating, because you've been taught that being deprecating is pathetic. Now it is when it's the only thing you have, but the problem is, you are pathetic. That's the problem. And it doesn't matter if you make fun of yourself or anything else. I'm just going to start playing Dino Crisis to pass the time at this point. I've already tapped out. I don't need to do this anymore.
This question is answered in Season 3, Episode 9.
It's gonna continue in a second though, boys. Don't worry.
Okay, so real quick, the B-plot to this one.
Max, you just got roped into this shit. Enjoy.
After eating at the show's recurring sushi place.
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm getting into.
By a large man named
you now have to sit through this shit like we are.
$22 worth of food.
We're watching Quentin reviews.
And we have to watch this 8-hour video, and it's only when the whole chat taps out that we stop. You've been roped into it, Dylan has tapped out because he has got 0 stamina. And yeah, we're just now keeping it going because it's torturing Dylan to some degree.
I know that these fucking jerks are playing fucking 7 Days to Die or some gay shit on the other monitor.
Yeah, I'm focusing on it, but I haven't got the sound on.
You have good sound on. I'm not doing that. I'm sitting here and actually paying attention.
I've been paying attention, you fuck. I've been the one interacting with you the most.
You're gonna...
What do you mean?
You're gonna... Hey, I tell you what. You're gonna pay attention to my cock slamming into your prostate.
Yeah, I will. I will, Dylan. And then I will consensually kiss you on the lips when you come. How about that?
This might be a fucked up thing to say, but the older sister of Victoria is pretty hot.
That make me think.
How old are they?
I don't know how old they are, but the actress for Victoria's sister looks like she's in her mid-20s.
Yeah, they usually are. They're very rarely actually teenagers, are they?
Yeah, but when I was 17, I looked like I was 37. I haven't been carded for alcohol since like middle school.
She could go to the school.
Which was not a good thing when my mother was an
also the
alcoholic.
most consistent with the show's canon, given that Trina really does study martial arts,
Recording.
as we've established by this point. Later on, Psychowitz reveals that he can tell the story
I still get carded. I got carded the other week, in fact.
4 years earlier.
So did I.
I was at her audition.
Fuck off, did you?
Yep.
Ain't no, Aquanas. No one's looking at you and going, this motherfucker's under the age of 18. Fuck off. You look like your mugshot would be in with Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, like, look at her. She's got, like, the rest of them are scrawny. She's got some heft to her.
Sophomores.
They'll stop carding people when they look like they're over 40.
St. John got his head stuck in a vending machine, and as the rest of the judges left to save
You look older than Dylan, though, so you're full of shit.
He then drank expired milk from an expired coconut, which he had left outside.
Well, I don't live with your
lips.
lips.
You guys know what happens next.
There is no way in hell you are convincing me that you've been carded recently.
When I went to go get some edibles, my brother some beer, I got carded.
The canon explanation for how
Nah, I
Trina
reckon
got
bullshit.
into Hollywood arts is
I don't know if
Mr.
anyone else believes it, but I'm not
Sikowitz
sure.
was fucking high. In the final scene, we find out what Robbie
Hey.
is now doing, massaging Quacku's feet. It always comes back around to this. My biggest takeaways from this episode is that I think this time loop has been going on for a long time before this show started.
They brought back feet, a woozy.
Person physically showing effects of said time loop, which is why he's aged like 15 years since the flashback happened. Also, I want to point out that according to this episode, Sinjin and Trina both auditioned to go to this school the same day, which implies that Sinjin is a senior, which doesn't make sense to me. Now, the next episode.
Why? Because he's frail? That's just what people fucking look like. You wouldn't know that because your ass has been over 300 pounds since fucking Obama was in office. But that's just what people look like sometimes.
Jesus, you're being generous to him. He's probably been fat before then.
Yeah, actually looks really good in this video. At the start, whenever he does his little camera stuff, he's clearly lost a lot of weight. I'm proud of him.
End of the season, and basically we're going to review it as if it's the season.
But is he still a fat fuck?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're always fat
So
at
for
heart
now, let's skip ahead
because of the
to
cholesterol.
Season 3, Episode 11. In the story, Tori is stressed because of an assignment given.
The show went on for
Sikowitz's
7
class.
seasons,
Compounded
guys, and he's
further
at season
by her
3.
issues getting sleep due to Trina
Dylan,
suddenly
didn't
having
you
a
start
cold.
the
During
didn't you
lunch
start
period,
this
she
video
ends up
talking
meeting
about
a
how
girl crying
you ate
in the
3,000
restaurant stall. She learns that her
cholesterol?
name is Pawnee, and despite thinking that she's
Excuse me?
3,000
3,000 cholesterol?
Cholesterol?
I just had
I think you mean calories, Aquanez.
Meanwhile, in the B plot, Jade wants to
Yeah,
kill
something like that.
Ted.
Look,
Do you
I'm
wanna guess why? Because
still
Ted
low
shaved
for
off
the
Jade's
night.
eyebrows,
They don't
and
have
Jade looks like a
fucking
universal
nutritional facts
monster.
down in
Tori
Missouri.
decides to take Pawnee out to meet the other classmates, but as soon
You
as
pull
the
it up
other
out of the
kids turn,
swamp, and if the
Pawnee is
seal's
gone.
not broken, it's
This makes her
yours.
friends naturally believe that Pawnee is a creation of Tori's mind, as she's been overworked and stressed from all of her schoolwork. Tori eventually finds Pawnee, and she apologizes for flaking. Pawnee then says they should head to Mr. Sikowitz's class, explaining that she's one of the quiet kids who sits in the back and reacts.
You're a shrugger?
Pawnee then asks Tori to take her bag because she has shoulder pain. However, when she gets to class, no
Your
one has
shruggers
heard of
feels
Pawnee,
like
and
something
when Tori
Dylan
goes
would
through
say
Pawnee's
as an
backpack,
insult
she
to someone.
finds nothing
fucking
but
shrugging?
miscellaneous items and a doll
You a
dressed
shrugger? Do all you
exactly
do is
like
react?
Tori.
Years ago, we had like a weird short-lived Discord
When
meme.
Tori goes out looking for
There's a
Pawnee, she
place
sees
on
that her
Twitter,
locker
there's a
has
small
suddenly
chicken
changed
shop
its
in like
lighting. As she
Louisiana
runs to get a
called
teacher,
the Shuckin'
Pawnee is seen
Shack.
swapping the locker back to the
And
original,
if you went
implying that the
into
woman
it,
is actually real
and you
up
yelled,
to something
"We
mischievous.
shuckin'," they would give you a free
Mid-episode
soda
fan
with your
theory.
meal.
The woman pretending to be Pawnee
The
is
problem
actually
is, it reads
Melanie.
really racist
Melanie
in the
goes to a
deep
private
south
school
for a
she
couple
wants
of
to go to
reasons,
outside
because
of Seattle, and
shuckin'
maybe
and
that
jivin'
school
is
is
like
Liberty
a
Arts.
fucking like
Maybe
insult
it
for
won't
how
be the
black
twist,
people
but
dance.
it'd be a good one.
I swear my locker said make it.
So for a minute there, people were like, "What the fuck is this?" It turns out it's a black-owned business. It was a chicken shop owned by like a black family.
Tori's friends try to comfort her, when
But
she
still,
thinks a
like
delivery
it gave
person
some
is Pawnee, is
pause.
attacked
And
by
for a
her.
little
They think
while,
that
every
she's
time I
crazy,
came into
and she
VC,
kicks
I would
them
just
all
shout,
out.
"We
Tori
shuckin' or
finally has a
not?"
confrontation with the girl in the hall, and we find out who she really is. Her name is Fawn
No, we're
Leibowitz,
shuckin'?
and she
Aw.
was the person who was kicked out of Hollywood Arts so Tori could go there instead. Fawn is arrested by a series of cops, including an officer named Gary. Okay, so here's some weird stuff that this episode carefully sets up involving this character. Gary is the partner of Tori's father, who I'll remind you is a cop off screen.
Hey,
This isn't
Cab!
the weird part. The weird part is that it's carefully set up and insinuated numerous times that Tori's mother is cheating on Tori's father with Gary. Gary and Tori's mother are having an affair, and it's only brought up under the context
And his second
of
name is
completely
Oak.
throwaway material. The adults at the school get caught up about the situation, and Sikowitz says that Fawn wasn't kicked out to make room for Tori. She was kicked out.
God, do you
for
remember when
being
everyone was
crazy.
making those
Jade finally
Gary
gets revenge on
motherfucking
Kat by
Oak
shaving
jokes?
her head,
It was a
and as
long
Tori
I
and
thought
Trina
about it
take
recently, and I was like,
their
man, those were
we
good
suddenly
jokes.
zoom
I
out
loved
and
them.
find out that Fawn is in disguise once
Especially that
again.
one
Episode
screenshot of
ends,
him with
that's it.
11
Now,
Kanto.
season
Is
3,
it 10 or
episode
11
12 is the
Kanto
official
badges?
season finale, and is quite
There's like
famous to
8
fans
Kanto
of the show.
gems.
In the episode, Tori, Kat, and Jade are filming a student comedy directed by Beck called The Blonde Squad.
and they decide to go out to the local sushi place with their wigs still on to see what it's like to be blonde. Kat hits it off with a hot guy and ends up getting a second date. However, when Tori inquires about how he reacted to finding out that she was wearing a wig, she says that it didn't come up. Robbie is increasingly jealous during the episode, insisting that he doesn't think Kat should be dating this guy, although he continues to help her put the wig back on because he thinks it's his duty as the film's supposed wig master. Tori promises Kat that Evan will still like her.
Basically, he's a cock.
And when he finally sees her without her wig, he says that she's beautiful, but that he's really only into blondes, and then he leaves. Robbie then comes out and sings a romantic Bo Burnham ballad, essentially professing his love for Kat. And she then has a sudden realization. She could dye her hair blonde, and as the laugh track increases, we fade out.
Boy, I wonder which of these characters that Quentin projects onto, because they were an awkward nerd in high school, just like Quentin is in real life.
At the start of the episode, the gang watch a live stream.
When I was a child, I would project onto pathetic characters as well. And that was a big part of why I decided to stop being sad and pathetic.
This year, the show has a twist.
And now,
the boss in charge,
I'm simply fat and broke.
Has decided to feature a total no-name as the featuring act, and asks people watching to submit clips of them singing and thinking that it's too late for her to be fired. However, Madison disagrees.
Is that what happens every time Aquaness is in here with Dylan and, like, one of us joins? They're about to kiss and we just come in, so they run away.
Picks her as the world's next biggest pop star. Oh, also,
I don't know, I want to hear from Dylan. I think Dylan's going to tell me the truth.
Oh, you want to hear from me? Is that what you want to hear?
What
do you want to hear?
Are you upset with being, you're being forced into this by your own...
And if I didn't explain this, you'd be really confused. So Jade is going
by
to
his own hands.
Into a big pop star.
Oh, you're going to be really confused by these plot lines, Dylan?
She sits depressed at home.
They're so complex.
Kat starts a video call with them, saying that Jade has invited them all to hang out. Tori is now famous. And isn't that a little bit odd? So this might not be a popular take or something that Victorious fans necessarily...
Look at this shirt, Dylan. Look at the goofy shirt.
Yeah, I know, because I follow that Twitter account too, and it is, like, it used to be funny. They kind of stopped doing shit because this is the type of person that gets giddy about it.
As in, this should have been the final episode.
The kind of guy who has a Garfield loving Sonic sticker on his bench. Like, what the fuck?
But didn't this episode check off, like, a bunch of stuff?
Type of guy who's kind of into Aquaness.
The type of guy who has a little Dalek figure behind him to the bottom left.
Jade and Tori are now basically officially friends. Tori has decided that she doesn't want to date Beck, a point of contention since the pilot episode, and most importantly, Tori is famous now. She got her wish. She has a hit song. She's a household name. Roll credits, write a new pilot. Victorious is over. After I watched this episode, I did something that I traditionally do not do for projects like these. And that is that I went to Wikipedia.
I pulled my pants up and went outside.
Of all the episodes we have left. And the reason
oh my god, he's got a Blue's Clues doll. Look to the left.
Big red reset button after.
Why is it always Blue's Clues?
It seems to me that they
I used to have that when I was a kid.
There's at least one more episode.
Yeah, but that's you were a kid. This is a grown-ass man.
You never see like an old boy poster. You never see like a fucking
by shifting the focus onto the other characters in the show.
Copy of the raid. You never see anything interesting in these backdrop sort of deals. It's always let me flood it with shit for children.
And I'm kind of expecting the rest of the show to
not bring up the raid again.
It's not.
I love how the raid is now your like measuring stick for
yeah,
these people.
Yeah, because if you've not seen the raid, because it's not obscure, really. But it's just enough under the surface, and every person I've ever shown it to, it has been life-changing.
This production block,
like, you can't have fucking, like, a Jurassic Park poster, you can't put Indiana Jones somewhere in here, it's gotta be this shit.
Not quite.
You gotta have 8
You see,
bumblebees
while
behind
the cast and
you.
crew were working on the season 3 production block, Nickelodeon suddenly
You gotta put your
doubled
fucking
the
V8
season
colored
order that they had
VHS tapes
previously
up
been
to look
given,
like a
meaning
pride
that the
flag.
writers suddenly had to deliver
Put them in
twice as many
boxes.
episodes
They're
as
not
they had
supposed to be
previously
out
been
like
asked
that.
for.
They're
And
deteriorating.
afterwards, Nickelodeon randomly took all of these episodes and aired them as 2 distinct, separate seasons. Meaning that from a production standpoint, everything that we have after this is Season 3, Part 2. But from a broadcast standpoint, everything we have left is just Season 4. If you've been following this saga from the beginning, this rant is going to sound very familiar, as Nickelodeon did this exact same thing to
So how far
iCarly
are we into
seasons
this?
2 and 3.
Hour and a half, I
However,
reckon.
The difference here
About
hour and
around
10.
11 minutes.
After Nickelodeon suddenly doubled the season order, they
I think I'm gonna call
quietly
it.
canceled
That's 2.
the show. Now,
That's
like most
2.
people, I
We
have
still
some
have a
big,
Woozy
massive hot takes
and
about
Max
exactly
and
why
Alex
this
to tap
show
out before
ended,
we can stop
but
this.
you guys can probably tell, at this point the show already
Lol.
is kind of
Let me know.
winding down, as if it's expecting to end pretty soon.
I am
don't know why people
fucking
saw
loving the
this
fact that
episode
Aquanez
or
couldn't
starred
last.
in this episode
Fucking
seem to
2-pump
think
chump.
that the show was gonna run
No stamina
another 10
whatsoever.
years.
Whatever, man.
Well,
I
I
got
want-
my
Now
nut.
that we finished the first of
I
the
want
2
this actually
seasons
on
that
the
we have to
YouTube
look
channel,
at
though,
in
so.
this video, I thought it would
Yeah, it's
be
going up
good
either way.
for us
What
to
did Mr.
return
Girl
to
say?
a
Your
place
orgasm
that
is not
many
my
of you
responsibility?
are going to be quite Welcome back, ladies and
That's the
gentlemen,
only time
to
anyone has brought up that. Oh no, he's got a fucking
AKA
picture
the
of Garfield with a
conspiracy.
fedora.
Yes. This thing
Is that how he sees
I've
himself?
recorded this segment
Look at my
Fedora
quirky shirt.
Garfield.
I took an anime people like that's serious, and I made it out of sitcom stuff that's not serious.
This whole setup
What the fuck is the thing in the right, bottom right?
I don't know. It's
Is
some
that-
Happy
is-
Tree Friends bullshit. Who cares?
Ah.
He printed it out on the shittiest paper imaginable. He printed all this out on like 3 sheets and then cut them up so they curl like that. Just do, like just do it normal.
Metaphor for my original pinboard segment.
I think the weird of it is just like.
Now, there's nothing wrong with that segment. I think it's
Oh my
all
god, he did.
fun.
Yeah,
It represents
he lost a lot of weight. I'll
someone
give him
who's only
that.
seen season 1 of Victorious and is giving very limited hot
Nah,
takes
just might be the
based
haircut.
on what they've seen
Nice.
so
The
far.
framing is also
Intended
closer,
rectangular
but I think he lost
cutouts. My
significantly.
rantings occasionally
Yeah,
come
same.
across
Dude, you really,
as
Quentin, you
poor
really gotta
aids.
shave. Like, look at
So what I want to do at this
look at
point
the
is
back of his
basically
neck.
reboot the original pinboard segment.
Oh, look at
Oh.
it goes down to his back.
Most of the characters
Dude, why
on
the fuck
board.
did you shave
Holy
that?
shit! Look at it
More
all.
insight
Im-
now that we're almost finished watching the show.
I'll be real
Aquanez,
with
do you have that? I get the feeling you're the kind of guy who has that.
Honest
A
to
fucking
God,
bunch of hair on your back.
he should
No.
do his videos without shirts at all. He should just go like fucking full squatch.
And start our analysis.
Go
Dude, you
full
wouldn't
fucking
know.
Kreischer.
Trina. Okay, so for those
Can you
of
imagine
who
if you
never know where
looked
the
and you
hair
wouldn't
starts
know?
and where
Look
it
at his
ends.
fucking
and have
tiny
also
mug.
inexplicably not watched my
We'll
video,
never
That is a
know
tiny
where
mug.
his hair
but are
starts
watching
and where it
my
ends.
second
He's like
Victorious
fucking
series.
Hodor.
I am now going to repeat
So, am
my
I-
take
like,
that I have said
as a
many
point,
times,
right,
and then kind
I
of
think
explain
it's-
what I mean.
I
That
usually have
being
big
that
mugs for
Trina
myself
used
and then
to
little mugs for my
Victorious,
guests, because
but
guests are more
Lubert
likely to like
was
just
to
forget about tea, so you get them like a little
For those
bit.
of you unfamiliar with the
But
premise,
like,
Lubert was a
I think it's
character
kind of normal for a
who
person to have
worked
like a
as the
giant
doorman
mug
at
for
the
themselves.
apartment
I
where
have
Carly
a
lived, and he
I have a
was
tumbler,
extremely mean to
and I
Carly
have
and
a
all
little
the
a
other
smaller
main characters
coffee
in the
cup
show.
that
Because
takes
of that,
about
he basically quickly became
about
the show's
18
punching
ounces.
bag, and the writers would find it funny for
Which is
absolutely
really all I need.
horrible things to happen to him.
I'm
When you
looking
said
at it.
Tumblr, I thought you meant the website, and I was like, damn, I didn't realize you dye your hair rainbow colors.
Wow, that's a great joke, huh?
It was.
Hey, if I
Fuck
give you,
you.
hey, listen, if I send you some lottery numbers for 2011, do you think you can use them and we split the pot?
He was in an extremely abusive
Yes.
relationship with a woman,
and
this left him physically deformed and antisocial, causing him to change his name
stupid
and
fucking
move
shirt.
to another town.
I fucking hate it.
And when you learn this part
You're
of his
so
origin,
obsessed
you're
with
like,
being
wow, all these people who are
post-ironic that
mean
you can't
are the
enjoy
fucking
something
worst.
that is as
The reason I bring all this
emotionally
up is that in my
exposed as
opinion, at this
Evangelion.
stage, the exact same thing has happened.
You don't
to
deserve
Serena. This is a
to
character
live in
who
a
is supposed
world
to be annoying,
where
who is
Hideaki
mean to
Anno
people
gives a
around
Shin
her,
Godzilla.
But by this point in the show, she
You
has
fucking
been
hack.
completely retconned on accident and now has a sympathetic origin story. That origin
I'm
story
going to take this a
means
step further
that no
and say,
one
if you
in
want to
Serena's
know, if
entire
you want to be able to
life
judge a
has
person,
ever
watch
shown
an
her
old Godzilla
any
movie with
kind
them.
of affection,
And if they
including
spend
and
the
especially
entire
the
movie
parents who
talking about how bad the
do
effects
not
are,
love
they're
her.
a shitty
Now, let's make
person.
something clear. The
Because they
origin
have no
stories for the
idea
characters
for
in
the
Victorious are
context
purposefully
that it was built
ambiguous,
into.
and that's
They
one of the
can't
reasons it's
appreciate
popular,
that it's a
because
foreign movie
basically
made on a
every
small
person who
budget.
does
They
what
can't
I have done
appreciate what's
comes up with
unique
their
about
own
it.
hot takes about
I
why
watched
these characters
Godzilla
exist,
vs.
where they
Mothra
came from, and
in
all
high
that
school.
kind of stuff. So keep in mind,
And there's a
as
scene
I
where
go on this
Godzilla
little
comes
rant,
out of the
that
earth,
really I'm just putting
and the
pieces
dirt
of
falls
puzzle
off of
together
him
that can form
because
any
it's a
damn shape you
suit,
want.
right? And the
But in
dirt
my
like
opinion,
cascades
the fact
off
that
of the
Trina's
suit
parents
in
apparently
ways
have
that I'd never
loved
seen
her
before.
insinuates that
Because
this
it
is
was a
most
real
likely the
suit
reason
covered in real
that
dirt,
she has
and
an
it looked
obsession
surprising.
with being
And I
special.
saw that,
You can
and I
imagine this
realized
little girl being
there's
left all
actually a
alone at home because
benefit
her parents
to
didn't
having a
appreciate
physical
her,
suit doing
crying
these
because they'd
things
never
that you
hugged or
couldn't do
appreciated her
with
without any
CG,
kind
that you
of
couldn't do
motherly
even
or
with
fatherly
a
things.
statue.
And then coming up with
Yeah.
this idea in the back
And
of her head.
it opened my eyes
Maybe if
that,
she was
no, this
special.
suit stuff
Maybe if she
is
was
not
smart or cool
goofy and
or
stupid. It is, a
talented.
lot of the time.
Someone
But it's
would
not
love her.
inherently
And that's why
that.
throughout the entire show,
It's
her main
actually
character
unique.
trait
There's
is that
artistry
she
here that gives it a
desperately wants
unique
someone
quality worth
to
appreciating.
view her as capable.
Well, you remember when we were talking, and I brought up the point that in a video game or even movies with CG, you never see them pull like a blanket over them because we haven't got material physics to that point yet.
It's, yeah, like
It's
it's a
just-
huge pain in the ass.
Most of
Like, I look
Right,
at this
and it's-
shirt, I know he's never fucking seen Evangelion. There's no fucking way he has. And I look at it, and I see someone who would be like, yeah, that's like a pedophile show or something. I wear this shirt because it's funny, and it makes the anime nerds get upset at me. You have no fucking view of the world, alright? You would look at Lolita, and you would try, and you would burn it under the guise that it's child pornography. Because you can't appreciate art on any meaningful capacity outside of the immediate surface area.
Victorious reboot. This is not how they're
It's
going
called
to write
hentai
Trina,
at its
but it's
heart.
how I
It
feel
is!
I want you to jump into this man's Discord, holler him in VC, and then start accusing him of being a fake weeb. But that sounds like a hell of a video on its own.
I don't think it wouldn't do anything because he would say he's not a weeb at all.
Evil star Avan Jogia. Can I just say?
I want to, again, it may seem a little weird for me to go off on this track about his fucking stupid little joke t-shirt, okay? But it's a greater point of, like, if I wore that shirt as someone who's seen Evangelion, it would be like, yeah, this is a funny shirt, because, you know, it's all this stuff here. If someone like Aquanaz wore that shirt, who saw Evangelion and didn't enjoy it, it'd be like, yeah, I like it because it makes fun of it, I think Evangelion's dumb. Both of those are valid. It's the part where it's, I know he's never fucking seen it, and even if there's no way he's seen it, he's almost certainly written it off as weird fetishistic shit.
I kind of disagree.
And if he did watch it, he would only watch it as so he could find something to ridicule about it. Because he does not engage with art in an honest capacity. And that's the most
Do you like
upsetting
Evangelion,
thing.
Aquanaz?
I don't think Aquanaz has actually watched it all the way through.
What's the rebuilds with you, Dylan?
Right.
Played this character like he was
I like the
someone that was
rebuilds.
not fond of his girlfriend.
I was just making a point there. That, like, it's not you have to love Evangelion. It's you have to engage with the art honestly to do shit like this. Otherwise, you're just a poser. All my life growing up, I remember seeing, like, comedic portrayals of, like, dudes who were into bands, but they thought everyone else who liked the band was fake and shit. And I've realized that those people were completely in the right. Because they were trying to stop people
because she says it's
they were
not
trying
right
to stop
for a
people
girl
from
to
misrepresenting
steal the
something
boyfriend
that
of
mattered
one
to them.
of her best friends, which is, and
Shut
I'm
the
not
fuck up!
exaggerating,
How do you
the
talk
greatest
about this
piece of
show for this
character
long?
development in the entire history
It is an
of the
hour
Nickelodeon
20.
sitcom universe. As I've said, most people who watch Victorious come up with their own opinions about what the characters are thinking and why they've done things. But kind of
No shit!
I was
When people who watch a
by
TV
that
show form
specific
opinions
episode
on the
is
characters.
that
What are you
kind of
fucking
views
saying?
Tori as someone that he was just inevitably going to end up with, and Tori views Beck as someone that she once considered, but the moment is kind of past. So for him, it's like hooking up with Tori is like concluding an inevitability that he's seen coming for years. But to Tori, it's like hooking up with Beck would be trying to prove her younger self right, to be like, yeah, this was a possibility that I'm seeing through just because, you know, it's come up. And that's, I think, one of the main reasons that she ends up turning him down, because it's like, for him, this is very real and something he's been expecting, but for her, it's like, this is something that she once thought about, but she's now greatly moved on from. Now, at this stage, we have dedicated a significant amount of energy to
Like, you could do this about The
Beck's
Office.
emotions and
You could watch Better
Tori's
Call
emotions,
Saul,
but the one thing
Breaking
we
Bad.
haven't done is talk about the
You
other
could maybe
side of
watch
this
one of the
situation.
80 AMC
That
shows no one
being
talks about.
Jade's
Have you guys ever
emotions.
seen *Halt and Catch
Now, I
Fire*?
do not think it's really
*Halt
an
and Catch
exaggeration
Fire*
to
was
say
pretty
that
good. I
Jade is
watched
either
most
the
of the
most
first season.
popular
It seemed
character in
solid.
Victorious, or the
You could
second
do
most
these
popular
things
character in
with that,
Victorious.
which is
Basically,
art
depending
designed
if
for
you're
an
a Mariana
adult,
stan or a Liz
and might
Gillies
warrant
stan.
these deeper
Or a
level,
Victoria
like,
Justice stan, I've received your threatening
interpretations.
letters, I know you exist.
You don't have to
Why
engage with
is
art
Jade so
solely for
incredibly
children.
popular in the
But if you do
general
engage with art for
Victorious
children,
community?
maybe
Well,
you should
obviously,
engage
there's
it
many
on the
reasons, but
level
I
that
think
the
one of the
intended
big
audience
ones
is going to
is that
engage it
unlike
on,
most of the
which
other
is not
characters on
going to
this
be
board,
to this
Jade is
degree.
very rarely
Maybe a
an open
child
book.
watching this
And I
is
would go as
not
far
going
say
to
that at this point in
recognize
Saga,
the real world
Jade's
ramifications
main
of all
defining
this,
character trait
and maybe
is
it's
that she
okay
is
that they don't.
incapable of showing
Yeah.
honest emotion. And specifically, she is incapable of showing another human being affection or another human being the emotion of love. Now, this does not mean by any definition that she is incapable of feeling those things, but just no matter how she feels, it all gets kind of filtered out into this same kind of vague, jaded, bitchy snark. Obviously, as we've established by this point, this all originates from the complex relationship that Jade has with her emotionally distant father. And as I think back on that episode, some curious things come to mind that actually raise some questions about Jade and Beck's relationship. Because based on all the evidence that we have gathered throughout the course of this saga, it seems to me that Jade has consistently been more willing to be emotionally vulnerable with Tori, a person that she hates, than Beck, the man that she loves. Think about it for a second. Has Jade ever broken down in a heated moment and explained the complex relationship that she has with her father to her boyfriend? Has Beck ever been a person that Jade feels comfortable crying in front of? I think these are reasonable questions to ask about their relationship, because on a surface level...
Or you could just take the idea that it probably happens off screen because it's not as interesting.
Well, it probably doesn't happen because Beck's not the main character. Tori is.
And it's also the thing that makes her perfect for fandom culture. Because virtually all of Jade's emotions get kind of filtered out into the same language and tone, it's possible to interpret her literally any way you want to. If Jade is incapable of showing love in a way that doesn't come across as hatred, then maybe her cruel obsession with Tori is something internalized. Maybe she has some kind of feelings that she doesn't want to have, but she secretly does. Or maybe she wants to kill Tori, and she's tried numerous times.
What?
Next time.
It's like a choose-your-own-adventure book. Everyone wins, except
There
for
is
the
something
people
to be
who
said
lose. Now,
about
if the
how
writers of this
sexless our
season
society
delivered
has become,
anti-fan service
to the
with
point
Jade
now where
and
there's a
Beck,
lot of people
they made up
who
for it a little bit
do not seem to interpret romantic intentions that are clearly laid, and would rather see like close friendship and shit. This is not related at all to what we're talking about. I've just noticed it, where like you'll see like I think both happen, where you see a lot of people who are like, oh, these two characters like each other, they're fucking. But you also see a lot of narratives that are clearly like building to a romantic conclusion. And people are like, I don't want them to be romantic. I want them to just be friends, because we don't see that as often.
Are best friends in the show, even though for most of the series,
those people are cowards.
This is not
if you
true,
if you read Doro Hidoro and your takeaway is that Kaiman and
Jade are simply not friends. Kat likes Jade, but in almost any scene where they're together,
like Kaiman doesn't have his hymen broken.
If your takeaway is Kaiman and Mikado are not fucking, you're just fucking pathetic. I don't know what to say. You just don't believe in love, and you don't belong in the modern world.
And it seems like at the
you
end
should
of
go
the
back
episode,
to the woods where you
Jade
belong.
is not only leaving Beck, but she's probably going to be leaving the friend group. And Kat is the only person.
Man, this video is really bringing up the poison within you, huh?
Outside of the friend group, and it's almost like she's saying, "Look, I like Jade, and I don't care if she's with Beck. I want to hang out with Jade." And it's this really nice little moment that I think really leads to their friendship growing.
Quentin, you gotta stop slouching, man, because like you're bunching your neck up, and it's not doing you any
I
favors.
call the finale. When Tori and Jade
The
have
lines
this
on
big
your
beef
beard
for
are
an
also
episode,
too
Kat
high up. You
chooses
gotta go a little
Jade's side,
further down when you
which
got
she
the triple
probably
chin, my man.
wouldn't have done back in season 1 or 2. Although, to be fair, I'm not sure if Kat and Tori's friendship ever really recovered from, yeah. Now, it's obviously worth pointing out that one of the main reasons that the Victorious community likes to insist that Jade and Kat are best friends is that in the real world...
Who are the Victorious community? Like, none of them can be that old.
Pedophiles.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they're either gonna be, like, children or just people who never grew up.
It's gotta just be people who watched it in high school and just keep going back to it,
now,
you know?
we're gonna come back around to Kat.
There really are people who only engage with art meaningfully. They don't go out into the world at all. They don't go out and experience anything unique. When the opportunity arises, they ignore it. And then there are people who only experience the same art their entire lives. And that's the most depressing thing.
There's the prop. The soundtrack of Victorious Season 3
I will agree with you there. I've even said to people, some of the best things in my life were, well, I've just gone, you know what, fuck it, I'll do it. Like,
what's the best way to explain?
I feel like there's not enough hours in the day for me to do everything I want to do to the full degree I want to do it. And I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm just playing video games and watching and reading fucking books and watching fucking anime and shit. I'm not even doing that. I'm just reading comic books and playing RPGs. And even that, it feels like there's just not enough time to do it to the degree I want to do it to, you know? Like, if I had more money, if I could, like, drive out to, like, a national park or something and go camping for a weekend or hiking or some shit, there'd be no time to do anything. And then there's people who just don't ever do that. They never do any of that. They just watch the same shows they've watched since they were little kids.
There's another song out there which it's clearly kind of copying. Like, okay, like, for instance...
Well, it's just people who just don't want to ever move outside of their comfort zone.
I've been watching Mothra on my other monitor for the last 30 minutes.
That is clearly a style parody.
Wow.
Mix-a-lot.
Now it's Ghidorah the three-headed monster. Pluto TV has a channel that just is all the Godzilla shit, just randomized, and it just plays whatever randomly.
And I like it, but it's so very clearly like an imitation of Miley Cyrus.
So when I don't know what to do with my other monitor, I just put it on
2009, which is weird because this episode
like, I've had people who go, oh, you know, I've got my comfort zone, I'm never leaving it. Oh, it's like that fucking Gaming Magic ran. I don't remember if you were there for it when he was, oh no, you were. Where he was like, oh yeah, I won't try pizza because I know I don't like it, and I only eat what I like. And I said to him, well, how do you know if you don't try it?
Yeah,
if you refuse to try anything.
We got into gaming magic to Discord, and I've just been getting into arguments with people in it for like the last 3 weeks. But they won't get rid of me.
So jumping back to the main
and they keep pointing out that you are a troll, and even Aquanaz when he was doing his shit.
Fun fact.
Like, in fact, they seem to double down on engaging in you.
I guess Andre is mostly defined by his strong
This is not related to what we're talking about. Did you know the same dude did the special effects for like the first 15 Godzilla movies?
Music is the main thing that defines his life, so it's not
like
really
every Godzilla movie before like 1970, the special effects were done by the same dude.
For him to create
a
piece of art.
He's also the creator of Ultraman.
Like I wasn't entirely making it up. It's
That's a fucking crazy career, isn't it?
This project that the Hollywood
that is, yeah.
The Godzilla
makes
suit,
sense, though.
Mothra, Rodan, Ghidorah, Ultraman, like that's a fucking Beatles level discography.
Andre is a writer, and Kat is an idiot. At the beginning of this project, I used to joke that Kat would eventually get so stupid.
How you doing, a woozy?
Need a caretaker.
Dude, mighty thick, my dude. How are you doing?
He's sucking up the residual cunny energy from the show.
Grande ate salted popcorn one time, and then her mind snapped into.
I was reading about chakras
I'm really curious
on my
what
walk
they're
home
going
from
to
work
end up doing
yesterday.
with this character, because as a reminder, Kat is going to outlast Victorious. She is going to continue to have stories after the rest
Not
of
really
these
anything more
characters
interesting
disappear.
to it. I was just
and
doing
I feel
it.
like the way they're writing her here.
I just hear about it in
works
like
when it's
manga all the
B-plot
time, and I
fodder,
was like,
but
that could
when
be
she's
interesting.
the main character,
What's the actual
I think
system
writing her this
that
way
like people
won't work
actually
as
believe
much,
in?
So I feel like they're gonna have to pivot at some point. Okay, so next let's move on to Robbie.
It's chakra.
There's not as much like lasers and shit. Most of it is like, yeah, this one is your consciousness. These other 6 are your organs.
Kind of just serving as set decoration, similar to.
So be honest, Woozy, are you actually paying attention to the video or not?
They ended up doing this
vaguely.
Vaguely,
puppet to pre-recorded audio was probably holding back Matt Bennett's performance as Robbie Shapiro. So as the show was coming to a close, it must have seemed fair to kind of drop the puppet and let Robbie just be Robbie. The problem is that I think the writers of this show never truly figured out who Robbie is outside of the Rex dynamic. So if you're doing an episode that just has Robbie, how do you fill the dead air? The answer was, apparently, to just turn him into Psychowitz Jr. In other words, throughout the course of this season,
I'm really curious how many people actually watch this all the way through.
It has to be.
To illustrate this,
so looking at this, you can see the peaks.
With the character, which
right.
The most replayed portions seem to be in season 4, episodes 8 to 10.
Number 1, Robbie shits the bed. At this stage, it is a recurring piece of continuity that Robbie is incapable of going to sleep.
I'm sorry, I was looking through this.
Pissing himself. This is first implied in the episode where he mentions buying adult diapers. Then, in episode 10,
so that's where most people seem to go. It's down there. But that just means replayed. Do you think they take that into account?
Robbie says,
like if you you skip to a point, it doesn't count as replayed. It just counts as you doing it for the first time.
That Tori needs a butt doctor, causing Robbie to note,
"I got a guy."
Running joke number 2 is actually about the Robbie-Cat ship dynamic, because it is implied numerous times during Victoria Season 3 that Robbie has molested Cat.
Whoa.
What?
Basically, there's this one episode where Kat says that she wishes they could all talk like pirates and play pirate. Robbie says that he'll play pirate with Kat, causing her to say,
"No, I don't like how you play pirates."
Episodes later, when Kat is upset about something, Jade angrily looks at Robbie and says,
"Did you try to play pirates with her?"
So based on the contexts of these scenes, it's my guess that playing pirate is supposed to be like a twist on
playing Doctor.
All right, that's a very uncharitable read, though. Like, you could just as easily say that they're sword fighting and he hits too hard.
Yeah, that was my fault with that.
You could do that. You could say that, like, he's just overly, like, it's
the intended canon.
The joke is like,
predator,
it's weird and for her to be so upset about something so innocuous.
Capable of giving consent. There's two things here, okay? There's two things here.
It's a very aggressive read that one of the characters is a rapist.
So bad that I stop blaming the character and I just start blaming the writer. You know what I mean? And number two, it's so selective.
You shouldn't do either of these things because you should be upset at the writers all the time unless the plot point fits into the greater point of the narrative.
I mean,
and if it does, you shouldn't be angry at anyone because that's what writing is.
Cat murders a bunch of people. Because I feel like that joke and the Robbie jokes are on the same level of, like, intended character canonicity. You know what I mean? To the extent that, like Robbie being a pervert comes up in 2 episodes.
Canonicity.
And now, as of this season, there
wow,
are 2
I learned a new word today, folks.
Where Kat has killed someone. Because I'll remind you, she also killed
that. Did he mean anonymity?
So all I'm saying
is, no, he just meant.
Go out there calling Robbie a sexual predator.
Canonicity is not a word. The term would be on the same level of canon. That's it.
The rules, okay?
That's the idea of a tiered canon. Is that some works and some aspects are more integral to the overall work than others. So you can, they supersede each other.
I'm trying to think of like stuff that's happened with him that I wouldn't have mentioned in like the actual.
It's like in Star Wars, the movies are the highest tier of canon, and then you get like the TV shows and the video games and then the books. So if there's a contradiction, what's higher on the stack gets precedence.
So Psychowitz is a soy boy. Good for him.
You'd be the one to know.
We have now mentioned at least one notable
That's why he said good for him.
Notable hot take about each and every single one of what I would call the 9 main characters, which means we can now move on to the secondary cast in these side columns. Okay, so let's start this segment off with someone who I accidentally left out of the original Pinboard segment, who very clearly deserved to be there. That being Andre's grandmother. Okay, so as I said last time, I completely forgot to cover
last night I spent like 30 minutes just scooping Nutella out of a jar into my mouth.
But I think I've mentioned her often.
I'm telling you now, I can imagine that image, and it's almost like a fucking Family Guy cutaway gag.
I wasn't using like a spoon or nothing, I was just using my fingers, and my fingers, I feel like the residue is still there. Do you have any idea how quickly you could eat a jar of Nutella with your fingers?
Before the change, which happened very recently.
Bill just fucking lumbers over his fridge like a giant grizzly, sits down, just starts fucking eating it like it's a honeycomb.
You don't have to put Nutella in the fridge. You can just leave it.
Yeah, he puts it in the fridge.
Yeah, it's shelf stable.
Does not rock the boat. But I think that he still drastically
improves. I mean, you can if you prefer the way it affects the taste.
The writers obviously enjoy having St. John.
Oh yeah, by the way, I'm bored. I'm gonna start playing Monster Detritus, so it's between you and Maxwell, Mr. Alex.
It doesn't always land quite right, because for that to work, the main characters have to act as straight men. And none of the main characters are really good.
Hey Alex, you also want to know what helps?
I'm quite aware of what's working here. If anything, I'm just engaging with it because I'm loving Dylan's takes. What's a straight man?
All of this odd energy. And
do you know what a straight man
makes this part of the show?
You've definitely seen it. It's easier with an example, but usually in a comedy,
real quick, I just want
there are the characters who make the jokes, and then there's a straight man who is supposed to act like a normal person and not be comedic.
You got the wacky people, and then you got the person who's like the baseline for like a normal person. So that like when they are being wacky, you have like some reference.
So like for example, in the Venture Brothers, you could say Rusty plays the straight man because he does not want to participate in all the superhero shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there are other scenes where Brock is the straight man because he is a borderline outsider who understands how all fucked up this all is.
The conclusion I've come to,
but in those circumstances, the role switches based on, you know, scene because each character participates in
the show. After the season 1 finale,
yeah, it just kind of depends.
This actor and
you watch something like Arrested Development or like The Office. Jim is the straight man.
The Yerba episode is the final episode.
Like in the early seasons of Always Sunny, you would see either
you only get one or the other.
The straight man always changes in Always Sunny. That's an interesting thing.
Yeah,
it's usually the other people outside of the gang.
There's that. It's usually what you usually see in comedies is one character takes point and the other one acts as their straight man.
He recorded that episode.
Right.
But you definitely notice it. If you watch like Arrested Development or The Office, like Jim is a straight man. Michael Bluth is the straight man.
And I wonder if
you know, they are supposed to be the normal, well-adjusted character that we kind of project onto, and like this is how we would react in the circumstance.
Okay.
But because of the way comedy works, they usually become exaggerated over the years as well.
Throughout the entire series, we've decided.
I want you to know that when you brought up
it's my first oh, this is a kid's show, they shouldn't do this.
The Adventure Brothers,
if Victorious,
I started to have to breathe to mitigate the fact that I felt like I was having a panic attack, because now I'm like, I want to watch Adventure Brothers instead of this.
We could.
It looks like I didn't plan
we could.
It's up to you.
But at the same time, I want to put you through this. You're putting me through some shit. I've got to.
Okay, so we have one more character to go, and I've realized that if we just put that character on the board.
Also, Alex, if you tap out, that means I win.
Just gonna be an extra
That's true.
Here.
Oh, why did you have to bring this to my attention? I would have actually done it.
You gotta also remember, you can play games and stuff while doing this.
Okay,
I am just watching.
No, you're not allowed to.
Character left to add.
No, we are. I think at this point, he brought that up way too late to make it a rule.
What was it?
Talking about?
What was the rule?
Not allowed to play games.
Yeah, you have to have one screen on Discord, like on the stream.
I think that rule's in effect. This has to be the primary thing you're engaging with if you're not tapped out.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm playing Monster Triumph now.
Which I appreciate.
Simple and predictable. Cat will interrupt otherwise.
I'm gonna piss and get a soda. I'm not gonna stop it. I'm not gonna give you that.
One time, my brother, before trailing
I am reinvigorated. I'm back in.
As just a few
no, you're not. You already tapped out.
We're all back. We are.
Nope.
Oh,
nope. You've already tapped out, Aquanez. You bitch. You're not allowed back in.
Yeah,
you forget, because I couldn't. In the episode where Kat's favorite sitcom
you stay out of this. This is between me and Alex.
Watch the sitcom as a young girl while spending time at the special hospital where her brother was chained to a bed. I think this is probably one of the first moments in the show where Kat's brother changes from a running joke into one of her main characteristics. To the point that I would argue that it's implied that Kat is the way that she is because of potential trauma that she suffered while living with her brother as a young child.
I'm under my bed, I'm under my bed, I'm under my bed.
I can't believe how jealous you get.
Oh, so you think I'm ugly?
Like, I do love when people read into these things, and instead of just being like a goofy joke, it has to be some super serious, disturbing thing.
Now, you'll notice that I've put a question mark up for this character because we don't see him in the original show. But, in a surprising turn of events, we actually do know what Kat's brother looks like. Because despite the fact that Victorious is a relatively forgotten show...
Oh man, I've wanted to eat this big bag of fucking cheese puffs this whole time. But I don't want it to come over the mic.
Because it introduces this specific character. And to understand
think of the audience, they want to hear it.
They want to hear it.
I think over this, like me sat here filling my face with cheese balls is probably better than listening to this fat retard talk about fucking
That's gonna highlight
in the subtly
the
titled
experience
town of Swellview.
Oh look, it's your town, Aquanez.
Has been protected by an indestructible superhero by the name of Captain Man. At the start of the pilot episode, we meet a young 13-year-old named Henry
Max,
Hart,
can I
who
be
is
called
looking
Captain
for a
Man
part-time
now?
job
No.
and finds a Craigslist ad for a part-time assistant.
No, you have to be a man for that to
discovers
happen.
that his new boss is none other than Captain Man in the flesh, who blows a
Well,
bubble
Max, it looks
and
like you're straight
blows
now.
Henry's mind. Captain Man wants a sidekick for his superheroing and figures that anyone who uses Craigslist must be true of heart. Thus, he hires Henry onto the position, christening him
Nothing really?
Kid Danger.
Nope.
Now that they have the two
Damn.
worst superhero names of all time,
Two.
Captain Man and Kid Danger can go out and fight the doers of evil, which they do across 121 episodes, 2 spin-offs, several webisodes, and a film which is allegedly still in production. If you want my honest opinion of this show, I would say that if Henry Danger...
Do you think that
had
Henry Danger
premiered
gets like a
10
really like
years
fat
earlier,
fucking stiffy
people
around
would
like
have
kids who were
said
like 5
that
or
it was
6?
ahead of its time, which would have been a really nice way of saying that it's
What
bad.
the fuck?
They came here to chew bubble
I don't know. I feel like if you're like wearing spandex and you're around kids all day, like if you don't have it, if you don't have a stiffy like all the time, you have to have a specific range.
But this is far.
But you also have to like be a pedophile and be
Not only
in
did
this
the
like
show
line of work.
crossover with Game Shakers, which, as we've established, is an
Jesus
MSU
Christ.
show.
Oh, Woozy, you're
Also features
right.
A direct piece of lineage linking
No.
all the way back to
Yeah, I
this
can tell.
very miniseries in
You
the days
fucking
of
strange.
iCarly and
Apparently he is, yeah.
So in Season 3, Episode 16, after all of Henry's friends have joined the superhero squad and have aged substantially, they receive a video message from a man whom they all recognize as Frankini. Captain Man is confused by this, but the young teens explain that Frankini is an internet celebrity known for recording skits, doing live streams, and holding a massive amount of internet clout. As they open the message,
it's Filthy
they see
Frank.
that it's a personal invitation sent for Captain Man and Kid Danger to Frankini's upcoming party.
Emergency! Emergency! Holy ravioli! It's an emergency! Whoa! 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 Ah!
What does the world come to?
Long story short, Henry insists that they go to the party, but when they arrive, Frankini reveals that they're actually a weekend early. A mistake which is chopped up to the internet star's bumbling, Jethro impersonating assistant, Goomer.
Gentlemen, this is my obtuse assistant, Goomer.
Man.
Hello.
I used to hang out with Frankini's sister, but that's a long story.
Now, this whole
Max,
exchange
I'm
will
gonna change my
probably
name to
go over
Gooner.
the heads of
No.
most of the people watching.
Hold on, why is he now talking about this when we were
actuality,
talking about
this is
Victorious?
a complex universe warping reference that crosses
don't
the
know.
boundaries of several different shows. Basically, I'm hoping that you guys don't find Goomer too annoying, because you're going to have to get used to him, because he originates not in Henry Danger, but the failed mess of a show that came before it. That being 2013's Sam and Cat, where he worked for Sam Puckett and Cat Valentine.
God, they
at
all just
their
used the same
daycare.
actors over and over, didn't they?
So
Jesus
when Goomer
Christ.
shows up in this show
Yep.
and says that he once worked for Frankini's sister, what he's saying is that Frankini is the older brother of either Sam
God, when you were signed with
or
Disney, you were
Cat.
just fucking
In the
selling your
universe,
soul.
This isn't exactly a puzzle to piece together. Sam Puckett has one sister, her identical twin, and is directly stated to have no
Disney.
other siblings.
Do you think that Sam Puckett came from Nantucket, and the best thing he liked to do was fuck in a bucket?
Character's 4-year
What?
existence. However, even
You heard
that
me, bitch.
logic is arguably too much effort for this specific situation. Because in reality, this one-liner is actually a sort of fourth wall break, as Frankini is played by none other than Frankie Grande, the actual, real-world older brother of Ariana Grande. So yes, it is very tempting to chop this situation up to nothing more than a throwaway line making fun of the casting. After all, at first glance, Frankini seems much too normal to be the unhinged, horse-molesting, front-lawn-shitting older brother who Kat mentioned so often. But you see, it actually all kind of fits. Because despite Frankini seeming outwardly normal, the episode's twist is that he's really, as the kids say, red-pilled and Joker-fied.
And here goes.
What?
Video came out last year. Shut the fuck up.
I've done it. I'm sorry, Captain Man and Kid Danger, but I'm afraid that you're my.
Oh my god, he has a Deathly Hallows tattoo.
I'm the puppet master.
Franchini has used advanced, futuristic supervillain underwear to possess the bodies of Henry and Captain Man. He plans
Which
to
have
use
kisses
them
on them.
for one ultimate sinister purpose. E-Cloud. Franchini will do a live stream where he will force the two to do embarrassing things, and once the stream reaches 10 million viewers, making it the highest viewed stream of all time, he will force them to take off their masks, revealing their true identities to the world. And
I love when they say that. There's always the little eye masks. Like anyone has ever been deceived by those.
That have been
They're
hard
called
to
domino
stomach so
masks.
far. I am
Pardon?
not exaggerating when I say
They're called
that what
domino
happens
masks.
in part 2 of this episode
Huh.
is easily the most unwatchably weird thing to happen in this saga so far. So if you want to like go into the other room or fast forward past this bit, I'm not gonna judge you, okay? So during the live stream, Henry's sister figures out what's happening and tries to stop Franchini
You've
from
heard of
reaching
Alex.
his 10 million viewer goal. Throughout the episode before
Well,
this
I'm alright,
point,
I made 'em.
she had been watching pimple popping videos online, and she comes up with a theory that if they live stream the popping of the largest pimple ever, they'll pull viewers away from Franchini. So Henry's best friend allows a gigantic pimple to grow on the side of his neck, and they plan to pop it live on the internet. However, elsewhere, some of Henry's friends in the superhero hideout briefly shut off the power to the town, freeing the heroes from being demasked. And as revenge, they take Franchini to Henry's house, where they pop the gigantic pimple onto him, gushing a sea of yellow pus all over his body for several minutes, leaving his face and form covered in a thick, glistening...
Children's TV shows are fucking weird.
Yeah.
All this feet and pimple popping bullshit.
Because it has restored
Well, we know he's both two
some
kings.
part of the humanity that I feel like I have lost.
Yeah, the feet thing is specifically just Dan Schneider.
Pretty sure the pimple thing's also Dan Schneider.
After all
You know what this is? Him doing this monologue over like a giant pimple being popped is like when we watched Super Origami Kingdom and they're bitching about the fish gag.
We've gone through some shit during this arc, right? But I feel like this is the first time in this miniseries where something has happened.
Yeah, something
and I've
really does
flat
just
out
seem
said,
fishy about
"Oh,
all
I
this."
can't show that. Think about that for a second. This is the first time in this entire saga where I have lived through something completely and utterly torturous, and then I have decided to spare you from the same fate.
I feel like he didn't do a good enough job
Now,
censoring
Henry
it.
Danger ended up becoming a huge
Yeah.
hit for Nickelodeon, and because of that, the show still exists today
Sus.
in some form. It's had two main spin-offs so far, an animated series called The Adventures of Kid Danger, and a sequel series called Danger Force. Fun fact, the opening 4 episodes of the 2021 Danger Force season is themed around the phrase, Among Us. Not the game Among Us, just the phrase. I think this is a great representation of how the decline of cable TV has totally kneecapped networks like Nickelodeon in the past 10 years. They went from having their shows be the main attraction and fascination for an entire generation to putting the word Among Us in their episode titles under the desperate hope that kids will find the episodes in a Google search by accident. Anyways, the point is that as the Dangerverse
Like, even the
expanded,
first one
there
is
was time to find
an imposter among us. That's
lineage
fucking
of the
hilarious.
show itself.
Amogus.
And one of the biggest ways they accomplished this was by
Like, I don't care what you say,
constantly
that's still
bringing
pretty
back
clever to use search engine optimization to try and advertise your show.
It's like how the Asylum will intentionally put words that start with A, B, and C at the start of their titles.
Here he is in the cartoon. Here he is in the pilot episode of the Dangerous
Their version of Thor is called Almighty Thor.
Pandemic-themed episode, which was recorded over Skype during the actual pandemic.
Franchini is arguably one of the biggest recurring characters to be introduced to the NSU in the last 10 years, making it extremely notable that he technically originates.
So why isn't this just in a separate video?
Because that would require effort. That's always the problem with shit like this, is like, once you've completed it, don't make one monster video, make like 8 smaller ones. That's my plan with Final Fantasy. I've got like 3 separate ideas that I want to do with it.
As Victorious fades into obscurity,
You're going to have to include my little tidbit.
What was your little tidbit?
Face a dignifying death.
That,
no.
But the Final Fantasy game is the sequel to 7.
The one that you keep telling people?
Yes.
Considering he's had to change his background, how many days do you think this took? Jesus.
Oh, this took the better part of a year.
In the future, and we're talking about the Nickelodeon sitcom universe and its relation to obscure pieces of Victorious lore and trivia, I want to talk once again about...
Would you make more money from this by splitting it down into several parts rather than doing this?
Yes, but there's also something to be said about releasing longer videos, because those tend to get picked up by the algorithm much easier.
Is that true?
It used to be true. I think now it's not as true. YouTube has taken a lot of steps to stop it. But these videos definitely are his best performance. It's not even close.
His host, which,
well, you know what that means, Dylan? We've got to start fucking cranking out 8-hour videos.
Fuck that, dude. Nothing over 40 minutes anymore. I'm not editing anything over 40 minutes. I'm gonna post this video up. I'm gonna...
can be found
I'm gonna run through the waveform. I'm gonna find anything more than 30 seconds where one of us isn't talking and just cut it. And I don't give a fuck.
In the exact same way that Game Shakers once featured an episode where an iCarly actor cameoed as himself, and iCarly was mentioned as a TV show within the Nickelodeon sitcom universe, they also at one point did this with Victorious, although in this case, it was really much more of a very brief cameo. But with that, just for completionist's sake, let's dive into Season 1, Episode 5, Tiny Pickles. Surprisingly enough, we've actually mentioned this episode numerous times throughout this saga, as this is the very episode of Game Shakers, which features Yvette Nicole Brown as Helen, connecting it to the Nickelodeon sitcom universe, while transversely refuting that idea entirely. So to sum this one up really quickly, the gang all go on Helen's show and there's some drama. So they want to go on a second time to clear things up, but they aren't invited on a second time. So they have to get rid of the special guest that Helen is supposed to have that specific night. And it just happens that said person is actor and musician Matt Bennett.
It's fun to run, it's fun to play, it's fun and nothing's out of place.
Oh.
Just like that segment from VHS 98.
Do you guys work on the show?
Yeah. You know, we should do this one time on stream, but actually have like counters, which come up on the screen to show who's lasted the longest.
What the fuck is liar?
How long is this now?
So these guys time
we are at
and they throw him behind the
just short of 2
hours.
2
hours.
Number 2.
We should set it up so that if people donate money, we go back
this
half an
random
hour.
episode of Game Shakers because it features a Matt
Oh
Bennett
my god!
Well,
I would do that. Actually, genuinely, I would do that. That is, you know what? That is one for the future. That is one for the future. But the thing is, we have to be in a locked channel.
Yeah.
Only 2 of us here now. So.
Yes, as we've all just seen, Matt Bennett was run over by a truck being piloted by none other than Rex Powers from the sitcom Victorious, consistent with the fact that the show also features Helen, a character from the sitcom Victorious, but not consistent with the fact that it features Matt Bennett, an actor from the sitcom Victorious. This represents pretty well the energy of late-stage NSU crossovers. Literally, this scene
it's Helen from Drinking
episode
Josh.
can be set in the NSU proves that this episode must be set in the NSU and proves that it can't be set in the NSU metaverse. Because
Would anybody
logically,
like
if the
to
show
watch
was
me
set in
hunt
the
a
metaverse,
Geiger's?
Christopher Kane would be
No.
driving the car. These are all just words on a page. They
I'm
mean
gonna
nothing.
do it anyway.
I'm wasting my
I'll
life,
watch it.
and you're
I tapped out an hour
encouraging me.
ago.
Anyways,
Exactly.
I'm just gonna pull back.
I don't
out
much
that
care
list of
for
things
Ghidorah,
that
the
exist in this
three-headed
universe
monster.
As we write down.
You,
metahumans,
It wasn't
the
an hour
sitcom
ago. It was an hour and 15
Victorious,
minutes ago. You lightweight.
living puppets. And
I like the
finally,
character of Ghidorah, but I generally don't like the
What the fuck was
movies.
that? I know it seemed bad on the outset, but
Oh,
I promise
why is he
you,
gonna
please
keep going
sit
back
down
on this?
and watch the fucking scene. It's a lot worse than you can imagine. The pimple
He's
goes all
actually,
limp and
like-
crusty, and the goo just continues to drip
He
out of the
misspelled
fucking thing.
actually
This
as
long
well.
shot just focusing on Frankini's face, and he's completely covered in pimple goo. Who the fuck made these shows? And done. So as we've established, this video so far has been following the same kind of pacing and trends as the original Victorious video. We reviewed one season, did a long pinboard segment, reviewed an episode of a different show featuring Victorious characters.
Max, we could be
and now we're
watching.
about to hit the
We could be
2-hour mark
watching
as
The
we
Venture
prepare
Brothers.
to go into
I will make a
very
compromise
first
if we tab out at the same time.
Victorious
Don't do it, Max.
intermission.
Don't let him win.
Alright, so this is the
This is
It's not a
exactly
win.
what they
It's a
fucking
draw.
Max, this is exactly what his fucking people tried to do back in 1775.
See, I don't like to
number 3.
lose.
Neither do I, but I'm happy to draw.
That's why Max is still a virgin.
Yeah, I'm not, so therefore you're stuck here.
Wait, Max is still a virgin?
This is a intermission. There
Excuse
are
me.
intermissions. and
Well, you
this
didn't
is
lose your
one of them.
virginity because you never
Intermissions
lose.
are breaks in the
That's what you
video
just said.
related to season
So you're still a
analysis.
virgin.
You compartmentalize the information and blah 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 blah. You get
Yeah,
the gist.
sure, we'll go
So
with
a lot
that.
of people have been kind of asking me recently. How
You
do
just
I
stare
pull off
Blake in the eye and you go, I didn't lose my virginity.
How do
I just
make
won yours.
5-hour videos in relatively no
As you raise the brick above his head and fucking crush him.
This makes it seem like that Blake was the first person I ever had sex with.
Yeah,
Well, no,
oh.
you just stole his virginity.
Now step 2
Yeah.
is
God, he moved the camera and now his setup is worse.
a lot of people to help.
Oh, what's with the fucking hammocks in the background?
What's with the fucking rainbow heart? What does this mean?
What's up with the Garfield shit?
It doesn't match anything. You're telling me you couldn't find a fucking gay Garfield plushie to put up there instead?
So I like to hire people to come in.
Like, what the
and work
fuck?
on the
Match your
editing of
fucking
those
theming.
segments.
I get
While
it,
I'm
you know,
moving
you're
to
pro
the
gay, you're pro
project.
trans, you're pro
Now, as
whatever.
an exception to
That
this,
makes
so far
perfect
in this
sense.
video, I've actually
Find
done
a
about
way to
50% of
interweave
the
it
editing myself,
with the rest
and
of
that
your
was just
setup.
because it
Don't
was
just
like-
slap it on
I'm-
there.
Where it was
I
Christmas,
think it's
Well,
one of those things where I would be like, if you're gonna run a like any kind of stream, I would not have a single thing in my background which is to do with politics. Like,
It's,
fuck all that.
That's a whatever. Like, it's debatable if that even counts as political at this point.
intermission is over, most
But
of
it,
the
like-
Alright, I wouldn't have anything which is like, oh, look at me, because it's such poser shit.
That's the problem, is like, it's not even like... I know how this sounds to a stranger, alright? I've had multiple hour-long arguments defending trans people in this Discord over the past
That's a lie.
fucking year and a half.
supporting me.
It's not a
Prove
fucking
it.
lie. He's just saying it. I can prove it because Max is here. That's like fucking Max has told me as much that they thought I was transphobic a year ago, and then they saw me
Hearsay,
fucking
Your Honor, hearsay.
hearsay. You know what? You can
To be
hear
fair,
me say.
Dylan, I was also scared of you because you were louder than me.
I am. That's true. You want to talk about fucking hearsay? You can hear me say, "No, bitch, I don't want any more from your fucking mom's bedroom."
My editors.
Hearsay, Your Honor.
That was a high concept.
I have that consistent.
The high concept one. I fell really fucking flat.
The greater point is, like, if I had a full Common Rider setup behind me, I wouldn't just put a gay flag in the middle of it. I would get a figure of Build Genius form doing some sort of pride thing, because it would match the motif.
People all the time asking me, when's the 10-hour video?
What
you know?
sort of pride thing
And
would
it's
he
like,
be able to
When I'm
do?
looking at these projects that I
Stand
consider,
next
I'm
to
like,
one of the
this is
other
a
pretty
4-month
boys.
commitment. This is a 6-month commitment.
This is a commitment.
Like
I would just have a million Blahages behind me, and no one can fucking stop me. I don't care.
I'm gonna replace them with axolotls.
Where I don't even
I would allow that. You know that.
It's Pride Month, Samugi. You know what that means.
It's not Pride Month anymore, though, technically.
It's
yes, it is.
What do you want
it's
me to
American
find?
Pride Month.
We're pretty close to
it's
being
Pride Month, Samugi. You know what that means. What, you want me to find you gayer DGP participants?
Maintain the
listen here, Alex. I have no pride for America.
The most recent one that I'm
it's
really
Pride Month, Max.
That I've decided I'm going to start doing like
no, it's Wrath
edits that are
the Pride panties stay on Aquanaz during Pride Month.
I read I was reading
It's not Pride Month.
I was reading Killers of the Flower Moon, and once I got through like the opening of that book, like the last vestiges of my American pride just melted. It really fucking, it's a really fucking downer of a book.
Video, but I'll throw it into the extended edit.
Hey,
so
Dylan.
If you enjoy watching these videos to fall asleep, or while you're
Do you reckon it might be a biohazard to rip Aquanaz's underwear off by your teeth? I'm just wondering for a friend.
Or the pinned comment.
I think it's a biohazard to be in the same room as
Consider
Aquanaz.
pledging $1 or $2. So
I think anytime, like, there should be like a fence, and they should have like the CDC come in, like in Monsters Inc., and lock his ass down.
But also,
you're just making me sad about my relationship with Aquanaz.
Good, it makes me fucking sad.
Why are you jealous I'm dating Aquanaz? Did you want to date Aquanaz?
It's like looking at a pair of sad bears in the forest passing a fucking honeypot back and forth.
We need to get back to current year 2012 if we're going to continue our
like these things are supposed to hunt, and this is what they're doing.
On how to get us there. We're going to have to take the
What's Aquanaz supposed to be hunting?
100 years ago, Aquanaz, like 200 years ago, Aquanaz would have been like a real life juggernaut.
That being the show's
he would have like broken down doors and like eaten babies and shit.
I'm so confused.
I don't know what Max would do.
I wasn't going to be saying the word iCarly a lot.
Probably
like
tax fraud or something.
Not being compared.
Hell yeah.
But fuck that. Apparently.
So how's
was a very clear attempt to
so how's the Glide Cruise hunt, fellas? How's the show?
It's alright. I like the guy.
To be honest, I tuned out for a moment because I was listening to the fucking metaphors. Your metaphors are great, Dylan, by the way.
Thank you.
I've never met a 4 I didn't like.
I like Legaia Cruz's animations.
So I'm a 4 to you.
What?
I just like, to be completely frank, I just like any monster that's clearly taking a lot of design cues from Godzilla, which is a lot of them.
iCarly.com was inspired by typical internet experiences.
It turns out if you want to make a monster seem important, you kind of just eat Godzilla's lunch.
Why is he wearing a Garfield jacket?
Like, what is this thing? He also got fat again. Do you see how white he is now?
Yes.
He's a Garf tuber, Max.
Find the good stuff. Comedy sites, travel blogs, fandom archives. These were often
this is him for the future time traveling because he saw your video, this video on him, and your words have just destroyed his ego.
He got fat out of spite. Like, he heard me compliment him and he was like, no, he doesn't get to win.
I'm going to binge myself on Taco Bell and Wendy's.
It's like
Dylan.
It's like Succession, where he has to kill the only vestige of him that like his opponent likes in order to win.
Look, I'm still just over here kind of sad by the fact that I was just called Sad Bear.
I'm sorry, honey.
Honey bear.
Facebook, the characters send each other friend requests and
Woozy, go die in the shell of the life you have.
Jesus.
Like Twitter,
whoa!
are consistently described as tweets, and like MySpace, I actually don't know. That was before my time.
Let's be fair. Woozy gets more bitches than
Wait, how old? Hold on, how old is he?
Oh no, he looks okay here.
Yeah, but how old is he? Because he says, "Oh, MySpace was before my time." That was my time. There's no way he is like under the age of 30,
no,
right?
I think he's my age. I think me and him are literally the same age.
universe.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been before your time, MySpace.
No, it was. It definitely was.
It was.
Outside of the
I'll be honest,
bustle of
Facebook
their
was kind of
general
before my
sitcom
time.
Antics.
Like, I knew people who were onto Facebook, but by high school, no.
Exactly. I have the world's most annoying internal alarm clock. Mood, sleepy.
At the Asphalt Cafe, just watched a guy in a chicken suit ride by on a unicycle. This school isn't normal.
I hate when my brother plays hide and seek with the police.
Well, add one more person to the list of those who snub Robbie, the Easter Bunny. Beck's wearing a fedora today, and some girl told him he looks like Johnny Depp. So I tried it on, and now Rex keeps calling me Johnny Dork. Yes, I know, but she hangs lower than the other one. Please stop pointing it out. I was thrown out for
Naming this character Robbie Shapiro was a really good idea.
I really liked his outfit. Is that so bad?
Mr. Shapiro.
Mood? Styling.
What ass pussy has been
I
dropped?
have a life-size cutout of Cat. I have
Mr.
life-size
Shapiro.
cutouts of all my pretty girlfriends.
The boards
I
at
asked
Home
Jake
Depot
for
have
a ride
gone
to
back up
school.
in price.
Not sure why we're currently driving through the desert, and why
It's a
she has
deep
a
cut
shovel
Shapiro
in the back
meme.
seat.
Mr. Shapiro.
You get the idea.
Before
Now,
you are
despite
two
the tweets from the
Olympic-sized
Slap
swimming
being
bulls.
Insightful. They are not the main thing that the website is known for today. Because alongside the characters constantly tweeting out every single thought.
Wait, I'm
that
still
they happen to
confused,
have,
Dylan. So why are you upset that me and Aquanauts are dating?
I'm not. I was just trying to find a way to make it funny.
Video.
So you called us two sad bears in a forest.
Yeah, sharing a pot of
Yes.
honey. I thought it was funny.
It was.
Thank you.
It was the most esoteric kind of metaphor, but it was a great one.
How far in are we? 2 and 10 minutes? I'm gonna talk some deep. I'm gonna talk about some personal stuff here for a second. I, like, 2 months ago had a very weird moment where I don't know how long. I had to think about who I was talking about for a second. I don't know how long Aquanaz and Max have been together, but I have genuinely felt nothing except abject joy that Aquanaz has found someone who loves him and that he loves. Up until about 2 months ago, when for a very brief moment, a little part of me was like, how the fuck does Aquanaz have a partner and I don't? What the fuck is that about? And then I kind of went back to the first one, because my immediate next step after that was, good for him. He did it. He bested me.
About iCarly.com and the
just to help you, Dylan, it's been over 8 months now.
like a big deal
That sounded about right.
that despite the fact that I remember
Jesus fucking Christ, I'm old.
this website as a kid, and I remember
Yes, oh Izzy, 8 months have passed. Did you know that that's how time works?
I'm almost 25, what the fuck?
Yeah, you
So
are.
am
Welcome
I.
to the fucking
In 2
club.
weeks?
Oh, you're turning 25 though sooner than I am. I've still got a few months.
Wow, I didn't realize how close me and Awuzi were to age. Awuzi's always felt like he was 5 years younger than I was.
There was no
You've just missed the fact that I just said that Awuzi and I are like 5 months apart.
Because when I started the Discord, Awuzi was a pretty first member, but he was like 18. And I thought I started the Discord when I was like 23, but no, it was like I was like 20. No, I was 20. I remember that because the first time I got drunk was on VZ. I was playing Crash Bandicoot.
Where someone was
I
like,
was not doing good.
So like the first thing they posted was Spencer.
Dylan, if you're worried about being single, you know where I am. I'll throw you a pity date.
No one did that, and because of that, not only did I not have all of these
That's just
viewers,
sad.
I didn't even
Asshole
know
boy.
I remember.
Dylan could do so much better than a pity date with Alex.
Hey, Quentin Reviews, hit me up at Ralph Seppi.
That is exceptional in this circumstance.
Shut up.
When I was,
Alex, I'm not saying you could do better than Dylan. I'm just saying Dylan could do better than you.
When I, the first time I got drunk,
I got the joke.
I was playing Crash Bandicoot 1 because the collection had come out.
100%.
And I just, every single time I died, I just shouted into my microphone,
Now, that was through a couple different means that I'm going to talk about.
like
in a
Mickey
second,
Mouse.
but the main way I was able to do it
And I
is just that a lot of these
I don't know if
videos
you've
were
played
just,
the
like,
first
screen
Crash
recorded and
Bandicoot,
uploaded to YouTube,
but
which
it
is
happens a
weird
lot.
Because That same thing wasn't.
I also had those.
You fucking coward! You reenact it right now. You were gonna reenact you screaming Mickey Mouse, and then you chickened out.
I did it. Didn't you hear it?
If I take off my headphones because Dylan is screaming, does that count as me losing the challenge?
Only it starts a timer. If you're allowed to step away for under 10 minutes.
Archiving this stuff in 2011 than 2008.
To be fair,
I'm not gonna do it.
Wireless headphones, so
I'm pretty sure my mic picked it. You can go back and watch the video when I upload it.
In this way,
it did pick it up.
This happening because of
like very slightly though.
But what instead happened is that there was just like a series of.
Oh, it's a Joy Division joke. That's what his shirt is.
Material being archived on YouTube.
There's no fucking way Quentin Reviews has listened to Joy Division. Shut up.
In 2010,
no, he definitely has not.
Mr. Max.
This man has never listened to a song that wasn't featured in a movie soundtrack.
Aquados, I will say though, if you ever buy me a Joy Division shirt, I would be happy. I like Joy Division.
I don't know what Joy Division is.
It's a band. No More Heroes 3 has a Joy Division shirt as Travis's default shirt, and when you start the game, his closet is nothing but different color versions of the same shirt.
Like I said, terrible invention, and it just
it's pretty funny.
That YouTube
just spends all of his money on Joy Division t-shirts.
Because back in those days, before Google was an Apple competitor, YouTube came as a pre-installed app on Apple devices. And so what
I'm gonna look this up before I say anything,
kids who got
because I could be wrong.
Got on a computer and went to their favorite websites that didn't work on their tablets.
You gotta say it, Max. You gotta say it uninformed.
Videos and
no, because I was gonna make
not for archival purposes, not for longevity.
Why is he? So what is it with him going down these weird, like, is the runtime of this lengthened by him just going down weird rabbit holes?
Yeah, I think this is because of Action Button. I don't know if he knows what that is, but Action Button Reviews makes these really, like, elongated and complex reviews about video games, but they're as much about his life and experience with the games as the games themselves.
Because it's really, really
and people like those reviews. I've not actually watched many of them, but I see why people like them, because it's all related to like how the art affected him and how it shaped him and shit. But it's also like, it's not like The Last of Us, it's like Doom. It's about being in school and playing Doom and having friends try to tell you how GoldenEye is the best game ever when you're playing Doom and Doom makes GoldenEye look like hot fucking shit. It's not a competition, okay?
I do not mean to interrupt this conversation. I pulled up my phone though, and one of like the first things on here is for me to look up apartments. I do not believe that this is one-bedroom apartment, which has more square footage than the rest of them, is $225 when the rest of them are $1,800.
Yeah, I can see that. But this place is, dude, no, Max, this place is much cheaper than like most places I know around there.
No, but it's in the same.
So like, yeah,
it's
it can. Yeah, this is in the same town.
No,
yeah,
it's the same
happen.
complex.
It's
just for some reason.
It's possible someone died.
Hell, I'll live in a haunted apartment. That ain't gonna stop me.
Just ring it up. Like, go check it out. If it is that price, go for it.
I've been reading Spider-Man 2099, and the first issue has him get an apartment that has a giant blood stain on the floor. And he asks the lady, like, well, what's this? He goes, it's Mercurochrome. Don't worry about it. That's fine.
Servers. So he was able to access and download some of these videos through embedded links. I don't know how I couldn't get this to work, but thanks to him, I now have...
I don't know how, because I don't know how to work a PC.
Oh, okay. There's the
videos that were uploaded to the mobile.
Why does it want me to pay it? Why do these places want me to pay a security deposit of exactly the same price as the apartment?
You can't see all the dandruff on his black shirt.
No, it's always your first month's rent. That's always the same. That's the usual for deposit.
Oh, we paid less for our deposit. I think it was only like 400 or 500, and we're paying like 2,399.
Yeah, that's not usual. The usual one will be your first will be 1 month's rent up front.
Some places require first and last and a deposit.
And I not only encourage you guys to
Yeah,
download
But it's not.
I did.
There's no legislation about it. It's so it's set by whoever the landlord is.
Okay, then I did
Yeah.
make the smart decision that after I come back from vacation to go ahead and just start working 5 days
I
again.
guarantee you, there's something wrong with this archive, and if you can fix it,
Because
and then share it
because
with
if
other
that's the
people,
case, I
that
can't
sounds
pay
good
all
to
of
me.
it up front.
What?
Hey guys, Weezer Quentin here from the future.
It's
If
a
you
very-
know when I shaved, I was asked to
Oh
do a
my
scene
God.
for Shrek
Weezer-
2 Retold.
Weezer
And that's gonna be out
Quentin
sometime in the next
is a
10,000
very
years.
generous
Look, guys,
interpretation of
I
yourself.
know that I'm ugly. I know I went to high school. I used Tinder. I know. But you are my fans. You're
I have
supposed
killed the
to
Lagai
take
Cruz.
care. Anyways, I
The
have to
eyebrows
report
are
this
really what do it. If
interjection
its
to my
eyebrows were
past self's
thinner, it wouldn't look
permission to
near
make
as
It's
a
the
small
hair for me.
So if I've done this
It
right,
looks
about a
like
minute
that he's
ago,
just
I was
trying to
telling
comb
that
over
story
his
about the
hair
guy on
so much
Twitter
to hide a
who figured
bald
out a
spot.
Yeah,
while
it doesn't
ago,
help.
like,
He
really
should,
low
if he
quality
cut the hair
videos,
down
all
and
the
then
videos
maybe
from
plucked
the
his
site
eyebrows a little
using
bit, it would be
official
fine.
archives. And
But
I edited this whole
I will
segment
say, as
basically
another
using
fat guy
the copies
who
that he
occasionally
sent me,
shaves his
and I
beard,
uploaded them to my Patreon.
it's easier
And
to
he
just wait for it to
apparently
grow
got on my
back in and just
Patreon,
accept that you're ugly for a
watched my
while.
test edit, and said to himself,
I was about to say I don't even shave mine unless I have to do cosplay.
I have,
Dylan, you're not ugly because true beauty comes from within.
But the difference is I have beautiful eyes.
So
no matter how ugly I am or how garish I dress, I'm always going to have an attractive trait to fall back on.
because if I spent like
Aquanus says I'm cute no matter what.
Yeah, of course he fucking does, because he's trying to get into your pants, moron.
Yeah, that's why I said I don't believe it.
What was Quentin talking about? So as a quick comparison,
Actually,
what I was
what I was
talking
gonna say
about,
as well,
this is one
Dylan.
of the
I know
videos
that true
he sent
beauty
me
lies
in his
within
first
somebody.
batch, okay?
That's why he's
This
still
is the
ugly.
exact same video from the second batch. Do you see how much of an incredible difference that is?
And meanwhile,
really fucking
Like that second video.
and meanwhile, I'm a
like an
cherub.
official Viacom release. And I just want to say, people in my circle will
Says
tell
the
you this,
man
I'm
who
making a big
legitimately
artistic
just cum and
sacrifice
dumps
here,
on every
because
woman he meets.
personally,
I
thought
don't
Woody's
do
moves
that.
looked like dog shit.
Uh-huh.
A lot funnier that way. Like,
Your Honor, as a Woozy's newly appointed defense lawyer, I want to say that that last comment was hearsay and should be stricken from the record.
Why would he be the defense?
I just found that so hilarious.
Because I'm defending a Woozy.
Now that I've got copies of these videos that look good, I gotta use those, and I know I gotta use those.
Wouldn't it be the
Anyways,
other
I'm
way
gonna use my
around? Wouldn't
Victorious
you be the
calculator to
prosecuting
time
lawyer
travel
because
back to the
the
end of
Woozy would be the
season
one
4. I'll see
prosecuting
you guys
against
when
me?
we get there.
No. You are making an accusation, and as his defense lawyer, I am defending against said accusation.
Of content is that it's like a
And your
Victorious
accusation is
variety.
libel and
So,
slander.
like, do you remember when Sunny with a Chance ended because like Demi Lovato quit, and instead of
I mean, ice
replacing
cream.
them, they
Shut
were
up.
like, hey, what if we just turn the show into like
You're doing
a
nothing
skit
but eating
program,
ice cream,
like
Aquanez.
a half-hour variety
Yeah.
show that's in
Something
universe
you
with
wish
all
you
the
could
same
do.
characters. The
Yeah,
slap is like
I do, because I just ate an ice cream and I wish I had another. Well, I have a load of them in my fridge, but I don't want to eat anymore.
And there's a cat bit, and
Bomb
there's a
Pop.
jade bit.
Saw something on
And
Bomb
because of
Pops
that, it
recently on
almost
some
feels
like
like
social
a
media
completely
thing, and I
different
kind
TV
of want
show.
them again.
And so when you're watching
I
this
haven't had
video,
like
it's probably gonna feel
popsicles
like
in
in the
years.
middle of this review, I'm just talking about a completely different
I always
show with the
prefer
same
ice cream over
characters.
popsicles.
But
Like, popsicles are just kind of like...
fun glimpse.
They run out of their flavor so quick.
Yeah,
they're not
very
that.
they're very simple. You never feel like they never have the depth of texture or flavor.
Yeah.
I love it. Like
So,
sometimes
I mean, so do I. I would prefer to get ice cream, which is why I've said that, because I haven't had popsicles in a while.
What kind of man do you want to marry? And I said, I want to marry a man like coffee.
Man, I just tweaked over to that, and it's like...
So I said, hey, get out of here, Grandma. I love it.
I want to mention something real quick. before we get into
That was...
this
What?
stuff.
What? That's supposed to be a bit?
So when I finally made this archive, I didn't work on this video for like 3
Apparently.
weeks because I was just dreading doing this segment. Because the one saving grace of like iCarly and Victoria.
Oh yeah, 3 weeks. It must have taken him a long couple of months.
Right? So
At the very
if I see an
least.
episode that's like
You know what? I
fucking nuts,
finally
I can find
pegged it.
someone else in, like,
I
my
know
circle
what my problem
who's also
with
seen the
I
episode, and
printed
don't
reviews
wanna-
is.
we can both be
Look,
like,
I
"What the fuck
don't
is this
want to
episode
know what
about?"
you like about you and Quentin Reviews pegging. Thank you.
Yeah, just make my joke around. Go fuck
Like
yourself. I know what my problem with
Yo,
Quentin
have you
Reviews
seen
is.
the 17th
He
video
looks
from
like a
Slap.com
human version of
posted to Tori's
Garfield,
profile?
if instead of
They'll be
lazy
like,
piece of
"No,
shit,
no one knows
it's
what you're talking about."
insufferable
So I was like,
nerd.
"Great, this is just a me
He
thing.
looks
I
like
have to
if
go back to
Garfield and
Salon."
John
And then I was
fused.
like, wait a minute. No, I don't. No, I do not.
He looks
Because
like
I
a
remembered I have
de-anthropomorphized
goddamn Twitch that I'm
Grimace.
So, one day, literally randomly, I set this up like an hour after it came to my head. I just started streaming from my Twitch.
Oh, did you
and
see
we
King
for like
Cobra
3
shout on,
days,
like, was making jokes about the Grimace shake? Did you see that one?
No one at
No,
Viacom
I don't-
noticed
I-
or
I-
cared.
I-
To me,
why
it's
they-
kind of a gray area because it's web exclusive material.
Basically, he said, it was like, oh, don't drink the Grimace shake, and then he did like a video of him on the toilet having like horrendous diarrhea.
Yeah, that sounds about like the way he
Because a lot of
would
it's
take that
fucking
joke.
insane. And the main reason I'm mentioning this here is to be like,
Quentin Reviews looks
about
like
a
he
week after
makes
I
women
post this, I think
grimace
I'll be
at
streaming
the sight
again,
of him.
working on another
Well,
thing for
statistically,
this
we know at
miniseries.
least 2
So,
coworkers of
if you
his who
guys
felt
didn't know
that way.
I had
So
a Twitch, because I forgot that I had
Tell
a
me
Twitch,
about it.
I don't
then
know that
suggest,
much
you
about
know,
it.
following me on Twitch,
I think
which is
Lindsay
like
Ellis, and there was another bread
and
tubing
that should
girl
be
who
in
was
the
kind of
pinned
like,
link in
he's
the
kind of a
description
weird
or,
creep.
You know, somewhere like that. Shouldn't be hard to find. You know, my description's pretty organized, I think. So, like with a lot of things I review,
I'm surprised you
the
don't know
best
much about
way
it
to
since you
talk
followed it
about
pretty closely.
my
Well, yeah, but it
thoughts
was like
on
2,
the
3 years
slap
ago.
Is to talk about my
I feel like it was a year or
expectations
so ago.
going into it, right?
It might have.
So,
No, it was.
this is not
This
a
was
bit. My
pre-Alex.
expectation going into
I mean,
this
yeah, it was
content
pre-Alex.
was that the
But there's a
slap
good portion of
was going to make
last
me
year that didn't have Alex in it.
understand
Was it pre-Max?
And I should be specific there.
I
don't
think
know
it
the
was
name of the
Max.
show, because I think at this point I understand.
Or
the
was
show.
it that time
I
period when I was not part of
understand
any of the
the
Discord chats?
victorious
Oh, by the way, Max,
and their
we
weird,
found out you're
completely
mentioned on
relationship
Blake's TV tropes
with the
page.
show. Because I've talked about this discrepancy several times, okay?
Okay.
The Victorious fandom
Oh, it's not in any
has
bad
a
light. It was
version
just
of
something about
Victorious
a fucking
that seems to
Nuzlocke or
exist
whatever.
exclusively
Yeah, it
on
was when I
that
was
you-
stream. It was when I was streaming with Blake.
Because the Victorious show that
Yeah,
is
he
based
said
on the
like you were
Victorious
having to
fandom
give him a lot of
has
advice. I
nothing
think.
to do with the version of
Yes.
Victorious that actually
'Cause it's
hit the
Pokemon.
airwaves.
It's like the only thing I know.
My true expectation going into the slap
And
was that
and
this
how
was
to
gonna
do
be
good
like a
customer
bunch of
service
little
at work,
puzzle
but
pieces that were
besides
going to explain
I think
some of
the
these
greater
false
point was
memories
more
that
that he is so
people
bad
have
at
about the show.
video games that he can't even play
So,
Pokemon.
What I was thinking basically was like,
He
this is 4.5 hours of
definitely
content.
cannot
The writers
play fucking
surely didn't have time to script that all themselves.
Nuzlocke of Pokemon.
So what
Nuzlocke are a
probably
little
happened
bit
here was that
difficult
they
for
expected
me.
the actors to ad-lib the material, causing the actors to portray not the versions of the characters we saw on screen, but the versions of the characters that exist inside their heads.
Man, me and Dylan doing a
Meaning
shit
that
look
we got
challenge
a little
when.
bit more of like a wholesome take on the universe, and the actors occasionally
What's that?
breaking character to like support.
You were
each other
there
in
for it. What do
ways
you
they
mean?
do in the real world. Nope.
I don't remember it,
Ain't
so.
none of that on
It was the Wubby stream where they did a Nuzlocke, but they drunk laxatives
slap
beforehand.
is obviously still written by the same writers. It is just
And the idea
as
was,
mean as
it was to see who could get the furthest
more mean because
before
it
one
is
of them
more
shit their
explicit
pants.
in the ways that it is trying to be mean. And
No.
while there are like a handful of videos where the characters have a cute moment, or they break character and clearly portray the actors instead, for the most part, it's all the same stuff that we've seen before. Okay, let me give you guys an example, right? Beck and Jade. The Victorious fandom is convinced that there's this like wholesome
Aquanauts.
energy with Beck and Jade. That like
Yes.
they love and support each
Can
other.
I have that
and they're
cat?
Totally couple goals and all this stuff.
What
and
cat?
It's like none of that's
The
true
cat
in
you
the
keep
show
mentioning
because
to
they
me.
hate each other. And I counted
My
in the
phone's
Victorious
dead.
slap content. There are
No, I don't
3
want pictures of the cat.
moments
I just want
in
the cat.
4.5 hours of material, which could be described as
I don't know how I'm
wholesome
going to
Bade moments.
be able to bring him up to
Say you love me. Magic word. Please.
St. Louis.
I love you.
Tell me something you like.
Like or love?
Love.
You. If you don't know what noogies are, it's when you grab a person's head and then you rub your knuckles on
But
them.
also, that's my brother's favorite cat, so I imagine if there's any ones that we're going to have to keep, that would be one of them.
Is that the one that you think is Bo Bandy's kid?
Oh, it's fantastic. Do you want me to buy bite you. I will bite you.
No, that's Beerus. This is Beerus' son.
You have sharp knuckles. Please stop. Please stop.
I will gladly take another cat, and then I will have the very awkward discussion with Blake about why is there another cat in the house, and where did it come from, and where did I steal it from?
Did you name Beerus' son Champa?
In their relationship is that
No.
they hate
I didn't
each
name.
other,
I don't.
and they're literally the
Joey's trying really hard not to
He didn't call me till 2 in the afternoon.
Get attached.
get attached. Yeah, because we need to get kind of rid of all of them.
Aquanas, I'm naming it. Its name is Bicklighter.
Let's just forget it.
Sure.
It's a bad name for a cat.
Here at Hollywood Arts.
They know where we are.
Yeah, it is.
Not here to name my cats. Yeah, it's okay names. I'm here to name them after stupid random objects. Except for Seth. We didn't change his name because he just looked like a Seth.
But that's not to say that the slap is totally useless in our grander understanding of the show.
Where is my cat?
Because it's actually really great at illustrating.
God, Conan has the weirdest object pop-in I've ever seen because it loads the object in as a purple box and then pops it in. So you just, so you'll see it like, this is the thing though, like when the game is usually like a certain palette scheme anyway, bright fucking purple is really like, it draws your gaze so quickly.
That's what
Gmod
does that because in the source engine, unloaded textures are a checkerboard of pink and black. And most people who play Gmod own Half-Life, but they don't own Counter-Strike, or they don't have it installed, so it can't pull Counter-Strike textures.
But that's why it becomes an error box.
Yeah, or it becomes that checkerboard pattern.
Yeah.
That's very odd for a modern game to do its load, like, normally there's a low poly, low detail model that pops in, and then a higher one. It's very weird to circumvent that entirely and have your testing box be your low detail.
He's an awesome
Yeah.
Yeah, you rock, Psychoids. Love you, Psychoids.
For once though, while I'm playing this, I'm like the highest level on this server. Usually one of our other buddies gets on, and he like, I'll log off for a day, I'll come back on, and he's completed most of the dungeons and got everything like that he needs. I'm currently the one everyone's looking at like, Jesus Christ, how are you a level 100 already? Hold on, I think the next guy down is like half my level. Yeah, 65 is dark, so... Hey, what's all this about?
Is it possible for a teenage girl to drink water upside down? It's not possible! You know what I love? Clouds.
That seems like a bit of a sus.
Other times they make mean faces at me, and they know they can get away with it
Spider-Man
so far
can do
up
it.
in the sky. One time, I looked at a cloud.
Yeah, but Spider-Man isn't a teenage girl.
Spider-Man, yeah.
That was mean to me the week before.
Yeah, he is, in some cases.
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, actually, he's usually a teenager.
No, I said a teenage girl.
No, I guess
Yeah, and I
so.
said...
Some of them are.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them are, but...
Stacy is, Jessica Drew in the Ultimate Universe is.
At the start of the slap,
Spider-Girl.
One of the guys. He's chill and not too outrageous. But throughout the run, he starts to get a little more conceited over time. Ultimately culminating in a segment where he dons a fedora and presents himself as a pickup artist.
Penny Parker has a robot, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Who need some help with the ladies. Now, I can't answer them all one by one, so I thought I'd make a video to help you guys out. Always make
You're
eye
part of the
contact
list.
when you go up to a girl.
Thank you.
Give her a look, a nice smile, and then walk right up.
Another expectation I had going in was that the slap was, quite frankly, not going to be canon. I'd compare it to the stance of iCarly.com, which I can confidently say at this point is not canon to its respective source material. The reason is that Neville appears extensively in the iCarly.com material,
I find it really
sometimes as a side
odd
collaborator,
to even consider that shows like this have like a really rigid. This isn't fucking like some major serious anime or something with like a rigid universe and shit. It's a fucking kids cartoon show, mostly made just to entertain kids while their parents do shit.
Dude's talking about this like it's the Venture Brothers.
Slap exclusive skits on the
Yeah.
Victorious TV show, basically confirming that the skits are intended.
Why didn't he do a
to
video on the
be
Venture
canon.
Brothers? I feel like that'd be far more fitting for maybe not 5 hours long, but at least a long video. As
There's no fucking way my man has watched the Venture Brothers.
For instance, in the show,
Probably not, because it actually it wouldn't fit in with his idea that he's a good boy.
He's almost kind of a
It would be too oomphy for him.
kind of comes across like
You know, I imagine he's the kind of guy who he laughs at Family Guy jokes, but when like he's got friends around, he pretends like a monocle will pop out of his eye each time, like, oh, good heavens!
You're sniffing me.
Quagmire made a joke about sexually assaulting a woman. Oh.
I gotta be honest with you, Alex. That's how I feel about you sometimes.
The fuck do you mean?
Yeah, I feel like you do that. Would do that at the drop of a hat.
Now that I think about it.
I've never done that. Are you on like what crack are you on?
Crack?
Yeah, I know you. That's what you Missouri people are into. Like, what are you fucking?
Oh, really?
What?
It's
Yeah, I don't find that
crocodile.
one too worthy of being annoyed about, because it kind of makes sense that these characters are one way in real life and one way on social media, because with a lot of people, that's just how
Oh,
it
you mean
works
that-
in the real world too. Okay, with that, here it is. Here is my
Then what do you need to
review
point it
of
out?
5 hours of content that was produced for the slap.com.
Theslap.com! Theslap.com! Theslap.com!
The first web-exclusive piece of Victorious content was uploaded in late March 2010, being a trailer of sorts featuring the characters discussing the website and explaining it to the audience. If you've watched the show recently, this one will be kind of familiar to you, as a portion was also played during the credits of the pilot episode. Like with iCarly, this was a very common way for the show to advertise the web-exclusive material in the early seasons. Directly after this,
God, look at
each
that
character
little
from the
flash
show
fire in the top
uploaded
left.
a brief vlog to their profiles, introducing themselves in a unique way that reminded the audience of their respective personalities. For instance, in Tori's profile video, Trina attempts to take over the vlog to sing her version of the opening theme song, which weirdly enough doesn't sound that bad.
You don't have to be afraid to put your dream in action. You're never gonna fade, you'll be the main attraction.
Tori then tells her sister that she was off pitch, causing Trina to beg her not to upload the video.
Well, then you can't post that on your profile on Slack.
No, I think I'm gonna.
No!
Yeah, I think I'm gonna.
Tori, you can't embarrass me.
I'm kidding!
Promise?
Yes, I won't post this video on the Slack.
You swear you won't?
No one will ever see this video.
This short segment quickly reminds us of the characters' respective main traits in Season 1. Trina is insecure and tryhard, and Tori is a bag. I said skunk bag and then bleeped it, and you can't prove that I didn't. Jade's profile video is filmed at her home and features her reinforcing her character's
That's so
edginess
funny.
while insisting that she doesn't even care about social media in the first place.
2.5 hours. Who the fuck is possibly watching this whole
I got
thing?
both of them about 45 minutes after.
That's like me and
I wasn't
Max.
allowed to get my face pierced.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom.
The two of you should kill yourselves.
I'm smart. I'm deep.
Whoa.
There
This
is no
feels
joke.
like
Just
a
fucking
form
die.
of suicide.
We move on to Beck's profile video.
You
can tap out anytime you want.
I did tap out.
Season 1.
No, I meant
His
Alex.
girlfriend's lack of
No.
boundaries.
The thing is, Dylan, you also put this towards two people who are super competitive.
At least the fucking people at Jonestown got Kool-Aid.
I think acting
Kool-Aid too, Dylan.
pretentious way.
I suppose it's Flavor Aid where you live.
We've been dating.
It was actually Flavor Aid at Jonestown. They didn't actually have Kool-Aid.
Aww.
Is what necessary?
For you to say
Didn't even have that, huh?
That would make you ask me, is that necessary?
No.
This is my video profile.
Which is supposed to let people know what you're about.
But you're making.
I imagine it's quite hard to hide cyanide in Kool-Aid.
You were too busy hanging out with your dad.
No, they all knew about the cyanide.
It should have been antifreeze because it's naturally sweet.
Because he doesn't want me to be a part of it.
That's not what I said.
Yeah, I'm surprised they don't do to antifreeze what they do with like ethanol to try and stop people fucking drinking it by accident.
Incidentally, according to the dialogue, this is set directly after the season 1 episode.
You're not gonna get like a fucking drunk on antifreeze. And also,
no, but you're gonna. It's used a lot in murders though. If you want to poison someone, because you can't taste it.
No, you can taste it. It's extremely sweet.
Sweet. Yeah, but if you put it in the right thing, it's gonna be disguised very well.
Yeah, but then at that point, like.
But there are two big exceptions. The first is Robbie. Now, in the show itself, one thing that is featured shockingly rarely is Robbie's talents as a songwriter and musician, with him only singing original music in 4 or 5 episodes of the first 3 seasons, with one episode even saying that Robbie's main talent at the school is supposed to be stand-up comedy. But on The Slap, Robbie's music is his main recurring characteristic, and in my opinion, that's most likely because Matt Bennett was probably using these skits as a chance to share music which he had written in his free time. I'm actually kind of embarrassed by how much I enjoy Robbie's songs. I feel like I shouldn't vibe with them so much, but I totally do. Take, for instance,
I wonder why.
First song he ever uploaded, Rub the Frog's Head.
You know you gotta rub the frog's head.
Rub the frog's head. You can lick a rubber band. Huh.
You could, Alex.
And rub the frog's head, yeah. Find a frog at your local pond and rub its head. Girl, you gotta rub that frog's head.
Now, the first time I heard this, I kind of jumped out of my seat and was just in shock. Because I was just like, is this put your hand inside the puppet's head? Okay, so there's this band I love called They Might Be Giants. Probably my favorite
fucking
band,
course it is.
I
You
also
fucking
like breathing, so they
wannabe.
They Might Be Giants had this song called Put Your Hand Inside the Puppet's Head, which was on their first album and the first song of theirs to get a music video. I don't think I can play anything from it because, you know, copyright, but it basically goes like, put your hand inside the puppet head, put your hand inside the puppet head, put your hand inside, put your hand inside, put your hand inside the puppet head. Anyways, I did a little bit of research, and it turns out that Matt Bennett is like a closeted They Might Be Giants fan, something he talked about when he was a writer for Nerdist, and I feel like this just explains a lot about him. And it's kind of fitting that his first song for a Victorious project was such an obvious tribute to Put Your Hand Inside the Puppet's Head, because, well, you know. I also think there's a lot of Weird Al and Matt's music on the show, but not like the Weird Al songs that you guys probably know.
Oh, shut up.
I'm talking like pre-1982 Dr. Demento Weird Al, like when he was this 16-year-old kid who skipped a few too many years of high school and was just recording demos in his college dorm and sending it into his favorite radio show.
If you're new in town and you wanna look around, but you don't know where to begin, well, there's Bubblegum Alley and the local car rally, not to mention the toilets at Madonna Inn. Take me down to that good old slow town.
I'm rambling at this point, but it's my channel and I'm allowed to. Anyways, Matt Bennett's songs are kind of an interesting curiosity on The Slap because they're typically one of the few segments where the other cast members simply refuse to stay in any semblance of character. Because in the show itself, the characters all kind of hate Robbie, and specifically whenever he starts singing his music, they act like it's bad, because they're assholes. But on The Slap, the other actors just can't hide their optimism about Matt's music, and so in these little snippets, they tend to just play themselves jamming along.
As your father and your mother. As your father and your mother. Don't trust strangers you already know, even if you met them a long time ago. Don't trust strangers eating out the street.
Dylan should have had this song to listen to when he was younger.
Don't trust
Now, the second character with a very unique slap profile is, of course, Cat Valentine. Cat's videos from the slap are easily the most popular and the most famous, partially because Ariana Grande is the most popular and the most famous, but also because there's this earnest, sporadic energy to so many of these videos.
Okay, my video profile. Bye. That's me. Okay, I just turned 16, which means that I'm one of the youngest kids in my class, but I'm mature, so whatever, you know. And I love to perform, and I love to sing. Okay, here are some of my favorite notes to sing. La!
I get the general vibe that Ariana was probably the one who was most commonly allowed to just make up material during these segments because it really does help the flow, and this off-the-cuff feel is present to the extent that, just pointing this out again, Ariana keeps forgetting to do the cat voice.
This person wrote, "Hey, Cat, what's wrong with you?" I wish I knew.
Kat's videos have one eternal quality that sets her videos apart from all of the others, that being the lore. Up to this point, Victorious has not been a show obsessed with a dedicated lore. It hardly explores the past of any of the characters, or even tries to hold continuity to a golden
It doesn't have an established lore, but listen to me bitch about the lore of the show for 8 hours about its lore.
And one show is episodic. My point is that when you put a camera in front of Ariana and tell her to rant endlessly as Kat, what she immediately starts doing is listing her personal headcanons about her character, all details which are not known to the show. This includes, puzzlingly, the character's full name.
Hey! It's me, Kat. Actually, my full first name is Katarina, but nobody calls me Katarina except for my grandmother, who makes awesome fudge. But I can't eat it because she puts nuts in her fudge, and my doctor says that I'm allergic to nuts, so technically, I can only eat nutless fudge.
One of my favorite obscure Kat facts comes from Tweet Time with Kat #2, where Kat at one point says that
I bet to get that role she wasn't allergic to any nuts.
Why she chose the color red.
One time I came home really late at night, and my brother thought I was an intruder. So he picked up a big glass vase and smashed it on my head, which started bleeding, and then when I looked in the mirror, of course I was really bummed about the fact that my head was bleeding, but I loved the color. So I took some of my bloody hair to the drugstore and I asked... Okay, next tweet.
What the fuck?
There's Andre, for one. As you'll remember, my hot take has always been that when the show first started, the writers forgot to give Andre a personality. So when he sits down to record his slap profile video, it is, I shit you not, just a list of things he likes and dislikes, and that's the whole thing.
I like trees, but not as much as I like bushes. Let's make that clear. I like boxer shorts.
I'm sure he likes bushes.
I like orange juice.
In this same video,
I
Andre
want to
also
see
says that he is in the 11th
Quentin
grade.
reviews.
This is a
I do an
continuity
in-depth
error
analysis
and is
on
incorrect.
Stripperella.
I'm going to record a segment explaining why.
Let's have him do the in-depth
Speed up by 500%.
hold on, in-depth review of Super Origami Kingdom.
Alright, good luck with that, nerds. Then, of course, there's Rex, who was a much more prominent character back in Season 1. If Rex's cameo in Game Shakers didn't convince you that he was an entirely separate entity from Robbie, Robbie and Rex clearly having vastly different mic quality will surely do the job.
It ticks me off that most clothing stores don't sell clothes in my size.
I'd take him to the small and short store.
I shouldn't have to go there, man.
Also, according to the slap, Rex is actually the same age as everyone else in the cast, a detail which now seems obvious, but has never occurred to me before.
My name is Rex. I'm 16 years old. I spend a lot of time hanging out with this guy, mostly because I feel sorry for him. I like R&B music, some rap, rock and roll.
Wait, Hassan Piker doesn't pay his editors at all?
I don't tolerate that
Jesus Christ, what that can't be true.
To her profile actually wasn't her profile
Apparently,
video, but an open
I don't
letter,
know.
which
If
is
that's
very
not, I would
impressive,
want
to
it,
say the
I should
least.
specify
Just
before I
like
said
she's a
anything
boy
on a
who
video
took
that
date,
may
only to go to the
potentially be
bathroom
seen by
halfway
someone.
through
I would want to be completely certain that that's true.
She attempted to get in contact
before
with
I said what I was
to
about to
find
say.
that he had essentially faked his
Equinez, actually get some proof. Come on.
Because hypothetically, if that was true, then the editors should probably go Lord of the Flies on Hassan Piker. If that's true. If it's not true, then don't do that. But if Hassan, Piker does not actually pay the people who produce his content for him, that's an unfathomably shitty thing for him to do, and kind of goes to show that he doesn't actually believe in any of the communism shit he says.
It's supposed to be funny because you're supposed to hate her, but kind of don't.
If you have millions of dollars, you should use that money in a way that you think the rest of the world should do
where
as well.
No one shows up, and again, it's supposed to be funny, but it's not. It's just sad. St. John Van Cleef also has a slap profile, which we sampled earlier, but I'll save details about his videos until we come upon them naturally a little bit down the line. Besides the 9 teenagers in the show, Lane Alexander, Festus, and Psychowitz all have profiles on the slap, but none of them ever uploaded unique videos to said
Oh no, Xavier.
Psychowitz does
Xavier, you don't open Dylan's stream or you get roped into me and Max's shit. We've been locked into a Titanic challenge.
I refuse to let a Brit beat me.
Okay.
Now that we've covered
I
the
just saw
first
Max
few weeks
here.
and
I
we've
didn't
been
get to say
introduced
hi to
all
him
of our
before,
characters,
so I had to
from
come
here
in.
on out, I'm going
I
to
have been
split
working a lot, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, you know what, Xavier? You're now wrapped into this. You
act like I haven't seen all of Victorious.
Yeah, but do you know what our challenge is?
Nope.
We're having to listen to this guy and watch this video. It's an 8-hour video. We're like 2.5 hours in. The point was that the whole channel had to agree to tap out before we tapped out. Me and Max are the only 2 left. Dylan tapped out after 45 minutes. Equinez tapped out after an hour and 15 minutes. I think a Woozy tapped out an hour and a half. And me and Max are still going because both of us refuse to lose to each other. So now we're like locked into this shit. And Dylan is now regretting ever coming up with this idea.
I turned the stream all the way up because now I'm strapped in.
I'm not losing to a British man.
What I hate primarily
Well, I refuse to lose to Xavier, so you know.
But Max, would you lose to a friend?
No.
But you'll subject. You see, this is more interesting. You won't lose to me so bad that you'll subject your partner to torture.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Alex. Do you know me?
I like this.
The problem is that the writers apparently
I will willingly do this to. I would willingly do this to anyone. I've done this before.
Yeah, but those were like Blake and abusive people, not Equinez, who is like he's kind of like the fat version of a small puppy.
Whoa. I literally said in Max's DMs a while ago, honey. Honey.
So I say to the waiter,
in St. Louis, we're watching nothing but Quentin Reviews essays.
Dude, could you, somewhere out there is 2 fat people in a hotel room, full-on gimp suits, going at it, and Quentin Reviews is on the TV in the background.
Yeah, that's gonna be us when you come up.
It's
Dylan.
like that fucking scene in Mandy where he finds, like, the druggies. It's that, but it's me with the fucking crossbow hunting Equinez and Max.
Any thought that comes into her head.
One time, I was with my family having dinner at
Man, are we friends really? We just rip on each other so fucking fierce.
I mean, yeah.
I feel like now is the time.
Which is just as fun. Then we have drive-by acting, the main contribution that Sikowitz brings to the website. Drive-by acting is pretty simple. Sikowitz will run up to some of the characters using a handheld camera and announce a surprise improv session where they aren't allowed to break character. He'll then randomly give everyone different roles, and we get to see how it all plays out. In one segment, Beck is cast as a person trying to order food at a restaurant, and Jade is cast as a disruptive employee without personal boundaries.
An idea.
Medical disorder.
And I need you guys to hear me out, right?
Holy Christ, you are like ridiculously handsome.
We should start an online, a virtual improv group.
Look at you. What comes on a double cheeseburger? You are better than a double cheeseburger.
No.
I swear you are like so gorgeous I can't even stand myself.
You know why, Aquanez? Because all you'll do is every single character you're giving, you would unironically just go, I poo myself. You would do the same 5 bits.
I'm glad that you have such high expectations of me.
I have tried to raise my expectations the whole time I've known you, and every time I'm like, he's not gonna just go with a poop joke, and it's always the poop joke. It's always the poop joke.
You should know Aquanos by now.
That's why it is gonna be, we'll do improv, and this motherfucker will just be like, okay, so I'm in a bar, right? And we're like, yeah, I shit myself.
Other memorable episodes of Drive-By Acting include one where
I got
Tori
that from a
plays
woozy, you
teenage
know
girl
that, right?
who lost her phone at the mall,
What?
and Robbie plays
The I
someone
shit
who is
myself.
an expert at mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
Well, you know what, Woozy? You're a good man. You probably just brought forward the death of this Discord.
Fuck yeah, dude. I've done that like 5 times already.
And
Dylan just stares out at his PC, just like, man, I could be as big as a lot of other YouTubers. I could be Wubby right now, but I got lumped with this group of retards.
Could have been Wubby if I invested in a computer instead of a fucking laptop back in 2018.
Now, one character that the slap
Like I
Well, you
told
did
you,
invest in a computer now.
was our old
like
pal,
I had told
Robbie,
you to
who,
back
depending
then,
on the
you
skit,
fucking
is either a
dipshit.
very
Yeah,
talented
the
comedian,
logic I
musician,
followed
or a
made
sex
sense
offender.
for me,
And so
but
throughout the course of season 1, a few different running gags are tested with the character.
Well,
The first
again,
idea was to have
I was
Robbie
actually
do
thinking maybe,
improv, leading to the increased
actually, I'll run it by us
presence of the
when
baby
it's not
voice
video
sequence.
running.
Basically,
I can always remember it.
has like a weird Elmo impersonation, and so a few early skits involve Robbie acting out scenes with this character.
Who peed on my computer bag? Who peed
Oh, just so you know,
all over my computer bag?
we're recording, Xavier.
Daddy. I'm just 8 months old, so I don't know.
I think we're still recording.
we should
You
be.
were the only person in this house
Okay.
all day.
Yes, that's true, Daddy. I was
If not, Dylan might actually just snap and kill us all.
If not, I'll be fucking happy because it'll be over.
It won't
It
be
will
over
never
because
be
me and
over.
Alex are still in the competition.
So Xavier.
Yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
showed up late. I have like 2+ hours to make up for it.
So Xavier, let's have your input on this, right? As an outsider. Dylan came up with the idea that we do this like in the future, like with something else on stream. Like if we get popular or semi-popular, chat can donate to the stream to make the runtime go back half an hour.
Well, that's bad.
So we have to watch the whole thing, but the caveat is if chat decides to jump in, they can put us back half an hour. I think that'd be funny.
Dry, it's clear Robbie needed something new, leading him to his next segment, which I like to call plagiarism.
Hello, I'm Robbie.
What I call
This
plagiarism.
continuing segment I do call
I think it should be something similar to what
Hey Dad, do you still know that time-traveling lawyer? Robbie's Reviews is a short-lived series, but one that's pretty easy
something
to
similar
explain.
to what
Remember
Brad
Food Battle
Taste
from Smosh?
does.
It's that, but with one person.
But instead of like
Robbie will
rewinding
select
it
an
or
item,
restarting
like
the
a
song,
rock or a bundle of noodles, and he'll
they
perform random challenges to
you
see
allow
if
the
said
audience
item is
to
qualified to
suggest
perform
cringy ass
those
videos.
tasks.
Epic
No, because the problem is, if we're doing like an 8-hour, like, I mean, that can be its own thing. It's kind of an outdone thing, though. I think it's funnier to have like a concept where it's like, oh, well, there's this group of cringy videos we've subjected ourselves to in the past, but now you get to kind of fuck with us.
No, no, no! Oh my god! Oh my god!
I think we have to give this rock an excellent rating in terms of self-defense.
What the fuck, Robbie? I wasn't even paying attention to Robbie.
Really, I think the best sort of option that Dylan could go with is if he had like a moderately popular live stream, right?
So I sold my
Live.
He would.
but he still owes me half the money.
Go on.
And I can't seem to get him to pay.
He would be able to Your left comment threw me off real hard.
No, it's because you said I am, and it reminded me of this one guy I used to know on Xbox, and whenever he was thinking, he would do I am, but he would loop it like 6 or 7 times, so a sentence would just last forever, but go on.
I think Dylan should take
September 2010,
Adderall.
Laxatives.
uploaded a brief video showing
Epicac.
Linda Murray's injury
Viagra.
as
Subject.
filmed on her
suggestions, like, you know, they do in his YouTube comments and whatnot, like, oh, you should do this or you should do that.
I don't think that's as interesting as it is when it's just done through the comments, because the thing is, the reason you get it through the comments is so you can like research it a bit and check that it's, you know, safe for a live stream or a video or even interesting. Whereas if you're just randomly getting suggested shit, you know, you could end up with a lot of fucking issues because of that.
Also included on the site
I get
was a
that,
series
but
of
also
skits and promos filmed with Perez
I
Hilton
know Dylan
for
has
the
like the viewpoint of
Once
wanting
again,
to come at it like
no idea who
fresh.
was excited about the prospect of Perez
Monty, you shut
Hilton
yourself.
being on a Nickelodeon sitcom, but for the people that were, this is some fun extra content.
Continue going,
And if you're
Aquanaz.
really a fan of slap
No,
exclusive
I'm
which
busy.
tied back into the TV show,
Nah.
then you're going
You know,
to
if
I mean,
you
I
weren't
don't know,
such an
right?
asshole about him every time the man has a break in his fucking, like, speech patterns, he wouldn't do this. You're like an
Yeah, I know.
abusive dad.
How dare you be abusive to my boy?
Look, right? If I have a son, there is no way in hell he is going to be this normal. I'm pretty sure he's going to be infinitely more retarded than Aquanaz. So I'm just preparing myself for that. Aquanaz is like my guinea pig.
Okay, not if me and Aquanos have a kid, then it'll be fully retarded.
Why would you like adopt a fully retarded kid?
Advice features the titular couple presenting a Q&A of sorts, where they answer questions sent in by viewers looking for a relationship. Non-existent on this site is Andre, who shortly after this uploaded one of his first videos to his profile.
Man, you guys are
The
bad
video features
people.
Andre interviewing his grandmother and trying
What do
to
you mean?
Why are we
text
still doing
messages
this?
that she has sent to him.
Why are
While
we
the
still
show
here?
itself is typically ambiguous
Just to
about
suffer.
what issues Andre's
Now you're
grandmother
suffering.
suffers from.
Deal with
Videos
it.
on the slap seem to make it almost certain that she suffers from schizophrenia.
Your fault for dating
A
someone who's
puzzling
like
detail,
this
considering that this is
competitive, I
still
suppose.
played exclusively for
Even if
comedy.
Max wasn't dating Aquanaz, then he would still do this.
There's somebody in my refrigerator.
Yeah.
Who do you think was in your refrigerator? A bank robber. Why do you think a bank robber was in your refrigerator? No, wait, come back.
Now, at this point, I'd say we're in for a treat, because we're about to talk about what is, without a doubt, one of my favorite ongoing
Oh no,
segments
another
on the
challenger
Slap
enters the
website.
ring.
Go. It's me, Sinjin. I noticed a lot of people here on the Slap put up really creative videos, but I don't really
Murphy,
have any.
you can't.
So, I thought I'd make a
We
cool,
can't end
funny
this
video
this video
page at the Slap.com.
until we can't end this video until you
Sinjin's
tap
first
out.
non-profile video is
Don't
titled
Well, until
mess
that's
with
not true.
Murphy.
Lady Gaga, and features
The
an
fuck is
insightful
this?
yet slightly disturbing glance
We're
into the
watching our
mind of
favorite
Hollywood
YouTuber,
art's
Quentin
favorite
Reviews.
Student.
Whoa, you're Lady
Oh yeah,
Gaga.
you guys are.
That's right. I sure am.
Why the
Lady
fuck are you
Gaga.
watching
Who are you?
fucking Queefton
My name is
reviews.
St. John. I go to Hollywood Arts High School. No way! That is so impressive. Yeah, well.
Because it's funny.
Say, why don't you come over here and sniff me?
Also because Dylan challenged us to this and has got himself wrapped up in his own challenge because he is tapped out. And me and Max refuse to tap out as well. So it's become this thing of everyone wishing we would, but also kind of interested in seeing who will be the first one to tap out.
Whatever. I gotta go. No, wait. What do you want? You. I want you, St. John.
You should just stop watching it then.
No.
Yes.
No.
This has been a St. John Van Cleef production.
Because if I stop watching it, then Max wins, and I'm not having that.
If Max wins, I win.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's not fucking happening.
I'm probably gonna win because I'm not paying attention to it.
No, you have to pay attention. Yeah.
It's too late. I'm shooting zombies.
Well, there you go. He's already lost. Yep. You lose.
No, I'm watching it at the same time.
Doesn't count.
No, doesn't count. Whatever.
To be fair, if we're dealing by that logic, then Alex is already forfeited.
1 ounce of respect. What is there to respect, man?
This one is pretty.
I imagine he's only got one screen, so.
During weeks where nothing more
I got
exciting
2,
was coming out on the
so I'm
site,
lucky.
Rex would upload
I have
videos
one.
of self-performing covers of popular songs from the show.
I will win
These
this.
would be accompanied by St. John in the background, who would perform interpretive.
This is iCarly looking shit.
It's iCarly.
I feel like I've seen this I've seen that puppet before.
Should have done one of the other videos. We would have been done. The other videos are like 3-4 hours. We would have made it all the way.
No, it's your fault, isn't it? You keep complaining, but you're the one who decided this was going to be the one.
I know, because I thought it would be like, oh, well, we can maybe come back to it later down the road. And like, we're never fucking doing this again, I can tell you that much.
Well, no, let's get this right. We're not doing this unless we're getting paid.
We've now seen most of the content of the first year.
Unless I'm getting paid. Fuck you guys.
Emphasis on most, because there is something we haven't covered.
Oh, it was a Nickelodeon thing.
Hey guys, so the screen has no visuals right now. It's just black. And
Like
that
my
can
heart.
mean one of two things. Either I'm about
How
to
do people even watch? Is Quentin Reviews the asshole who didn't get his giant fucking plush? Giant Garfield plush?
He did eventually get
off the cuff stuff.
Eh. He did like a whole entire video bitching about how he didn't get his fucking
sadly, in this
cartoon
case,
cat plush.
It's the latter of the two. A big theme of this project to me is the
New
utter
guy.
paradoxical nature of
Murphy.
trying to do something
What?
like this. Like with
Thoughts
these
on
specific
becoming
shows,
a
I know
Garf
one of
tuber?
these
Are you
shows
pro or against it? You're
because
trying to
there's this big
decide
elephant
Dylan's YouTube career.
I disagree. I'd say no. There's a lot of other things you could be like obsess about.
I get that, but Dylan, you know, he's kind of had it with the lolcow sphere of the internet. It's a really tapped market. But so far,
it is a tap market unless you find someone new, then you have a whole new fucking oil vein to exploit.
Oil vein is being very generous.
Milk vein. So far we have become a Garf tuber or become a weird Neopets guy.
I take the Neopets as I actually have history with that.
I'm about to show you guys.
I know you do.
4 videos.
Fuck off.
Which are from the beginning of season 1.
I used to play it when
All
I was
4
a
of these
kid.
videos were posted in a row.
Oh, you're never truly not a kid, I suppose.
And these 4 videos represent perhaps the worst thing I've ever seen put into a piece of children's media. Just like individually, it's all weird, but the fact that it's all in a row.
Dylan, I see no video.
No, that's
yeah,
part
I
of
see no video.
That's part of his.
Oh,
that's part of the vid.
If you listen instead of simply if you actually pay attention, you would know this.
And the reason
Why would you want
I'm
me to
going
pay
on
attention to
spiel
this?
is
I've
not only
tapped
to give
out.
you guys a content warning to be like, if you want to shell forwards, that's fine, but to also just kind of say, I'm in a weird position. Where if I don't represent this content,
Why Garfield out of all the things?
what the slap
Why not Garfield?
known for, but at the exact same time,
Why do we have to enter this conversation again? We did it we did a whole 20-minute breakdown on why it's a retarded choice earlier.
Well, I know it's retarded, but what led you to this?
We're gonna look at some awful stuff.
Dylan.
We're gonna process if there's
Have
something.
you seen Dylan? Dylan easily looks like a human personification of Garfield.
My name is
Like we have
ODS.
so many times before.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Are you guys ready?
We think that's kind of the only
say I
market
didn't
he could
warn
get his
you.
like upward momentum in, because like look at his fucking
was very early
competition.
in the history of the site. In
It's
fact, being
Quentin
the
Reviews.
very first episode of Cat's Random Thoughts. During said episode, this very weird thing.
You know, no, we are.
suddenly happened.
And Aquanez, that is,
Sometimes I call my hairdryer baby. Like,
man, at least we know we find Dylan more entertaining than Quentin Reviews. Oh, I don't like the way he's creepily smirking at a it's supposed to be a teenage girl on a fucking bed.
What the fuck? Do you think he's
What the fuck? Why is this on a kid's website?
He's
what the fuck?
Look,
the pedophile.
We gotta. Someone has to come back and turn that into a Wojak.
What the fuck was that?
He drinks soy every day. He can fucking tell.
He fucking
Why the
drinks
fuck do I do
soy.
this?
You know he does.
What am I fucking gaining?
You fucking know.
As I
it's
said
just
before,
full of
this is
soy.
already an extremely weird, awful moment, and it's perhaps the worst thing we've seen in this project so far. But it's made worse by the video that came out directly after this, which is equally weird and in the exact same way. We are now
Is it
going
the
to be
ketchup
talking
one?
about the only
Oh, it's the
ongoing
ketchup one!
series introduced in season
Us.
1, which we haven't talked about before.
This
That
is how you know
being
I've seen this.
Tori takes requests. In the very first episode, Tori, who has recently joined Hollywood Arts as a new transfer, says that she wants to take requests from the audience about what things she should do so she can then upload that to her profile. While she goes in expecting requests about the performing arts, singing, dancing, and whatnot, what she receives instead is awful.
Tori, please pour ketchup all over your feet.
Okay, what is wrong with people?
Just do it.
But that's not performing.
Come on, just do it.
Joy.
Spread your toes, girl.
Damn Schneider.
I still say this is not
Fucking Jesus.
Alright. Let's turn on some music and feet dance.
What?
Turn on some music and make your feet
Make
dance.
your feet dance.
Or else I'll send you back to your mother of failure.
I talked about this yesterday in my stream.
The foot stuff doesn't stop just there.
Project.
Oh no, we've
About
been.
doing this project right so
They're putting
often,
ketchup
I
on the
was
Piggly
specifically into my
Wigglies.
early
So glad Dan's out of the fucking shit
so
now.
fucked up that it, like,
As far as we know.
Not without his Lifetime Achievement Award.
I can't even send this to another
He's
person.
a disgusting person, man.
I can't take a screenshot of this and send it to another person because it would put me on a watch list, right? So I can't do that. But this is on.
Why would you want to take a
fucking
screenshot of it?
Netflix, right? You know what I mean? It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. It's getting worse before it gets better. It's getting worse before it gets better.
Guaranteed. Quentin has a raging boner though.
I'm fucking tapping out.
Read the comment!
Goodbye.
Okay, first Let's read the next comment. No.
Coward.
I am super into this.
Oh, come on. Being a hamburger isn't performing.
It's kind of like performance art.
Yeah.
It's kind of like performance-enhancing drugs.
I mean, I'd sing a song.
And we begin.
First, I'll put a bun under Tori's thumb.
Oh, it's gonna be more ketchup shit. We can all feel it, right? We can all feel this coming, right?
We can all feel Dan Schneider coming over this.
In the air tonight.
I'm gonna love Ariana.
Would you eat a deconstructed burger off a woman's stomach?
No.
Yes.
I don't
yes,
like
you see, I would, yeah.
I don't like most of this stuff on a burger.
Okay, I'm a hamburger now.
You're boomers,
You
though.
said, wait, hold on. You don't like most stuff on a burger, but you ate like a load of Big Macs today. What the fuck?
I like meat. I like cheese, and I like sauce. That's it.
What is it with you pair and I'm specifically pointing at Aquanaz and Dylan and just like you see a vegetable and you bring out the crucifixes.
You guys are making me want to order myself a fucking turkey.
Don't like it.
Well,
Max, have you had a buffalo burger?
I can't eat red meat.
Oh.
Makes me feel sick.
Makes my
so,
okay.
Should I avoid places with red next?
You don't have to. It just means I have to have like a way lower consumption of it.
Are you okay?
I'm gonna cook you something epic then, Max.
What does it mean to be okay?
I would like my cat to stop trying to lay on my computer.
I mean that in the sense of the world.
I can't help though.
You were a baby.
There is
You were
no
a big
God.
baby. No.
Before it was a fucking hunch,
Yo.
now it's a fact. So I'm fine.
He thinks he's being cute.
I'm angry now.
Because the world makes a little more sense today. And so after all that, after
For being called out about the fact that you and Dylan don't eat
slap
vegetables.
videos in a row,
What?
right
No,
after another,
I'm not.
I just needed a break.
Okay, Dylan.
And the next thing up on
Would
the
you, right?
was
If you were
around
meeting like
and the
if you were meeting like Hideo Kojima, Suda51, and like let's say another Japanese or Yoshi, right?
to me,
If you had to meet Yoshi P as well, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna take you to one of those bars where we eat sushi off a naked Japanese lady," would you partake?
Yes. At that point, yeah, but it would have less to do with them, with the event, and more to do with them.
Depends what kind of sushi.
I mean, yeah, I would also probably be like, all right, I would probably go eat sushi first to see if I enjoy it.
I told you guys.
You've not eaten sushi yet?
No.
In the first few episodes.
What?
I have ate sushi. I don't really like it.
People in the comment section the first few were like,
There's
I can take it or leave it.
You don't understand what bipolar is. It's like, no.
I bet you take it all the fucking time.
Most of it has avocado or cream cheese in it, and I hate both
They
those.
say that sentence out loud. Why is the song called Big Toe?
But the whistle starts when Robert takes his shoe off. Oh no. When this baby was born, who'd have guessed his fate? Robert's got one big toe and I know this will pull his weight. It's awful hard finding shoes that.
Oh man, there's a lot. Look at that's a broken man.
This is a show for the people with feet fetish.
It really was just for pedophiles with feet fetishes. Jesus Christ.
And maybe some stuff filmed for season 2 premiered before this.
Max, why are you called Uwu Cornaz in DMs with Aquanaz?
What do you
Don't be jealous.
Am I?
How do you tell
Yeah,
apart the
look at the
season
screenshot in general.
and the season 2 production block? Well, it can be difficult, but there's two main tells. Firstly, after
I swear to God, if you do not change my fucking nickname.
Matt, it's been like that for months.
Yes, change it.
Just a little bit more bronze than before, but more glaringly,
Change
season 2 is when the show first started using the pear-shaped phone pods, which replaced the ordinary phone pods that we had seen in season 1. Speaking of which, a brief tangent here on a topic that we've surely not covered.
Don't just giggle at me with your stupid fucking high giggle because you're finding this hilarious. Change it.
Times, and in those scenes, it has a somewhat unique design that we never got in the real world. For those who
You
haven't
know,
caught on, the Season 1 slap uses a normal smartphone as the border to videos.
Are you sure that whatever he's going to change it to won't be somehow worse?
Even out.
Where's my popcorn?
Yep, the little woman sure can cook.
Okay, that's offensive on like every level.
It was a joke.
Was it?
It's a joke, like women's rights.
I'm back.
I'm his girlfriend, which makes it ridiculous.
It's a joke. It's a joke, like the thought of someone
not
loving
lucky
you
to have
because
your
you're fucking pussy.
After this, we get another episode of Tori Takes Requests, and I'm happy to say that I think this is the
I've seen it, man. It looks like two fucking... Looks like a wizard's sleeve.
Fetish. It's ASMR. Basically, someone challenges Tori to put glue on her hand and then have Jade rip it off. Now, it's possible that this actually is a fetish, and it's one that I'm not really aware of. If that's the case,
I used to do that as a kid because it was just kind of in like, I don't know. I just found it entertaining to do.
It makes reptile
Probably
shape.
a fetish.
After this,
It makes
we have
reptile
basically a soft
Yeah, I
reboot
imagine
of
there is some
everyone's
weirdo who's like, oh yeah, I want someone to pour glue all over me and take it, rip it off my skin.
They just pour
But,
it all over
like-
their dick, peel it off.
I don't think you can do that if you're circumcised. I think things get complicated.
I want to leave this call
You know
just
what?
because of that, but I'm not losing this.
I'm gonna challenge. You know what, Dylan? I will do it and I will let you know. All right.
You know what? That's
To
okay.
understand this one properly, we have to introduce a brand
I will
new
buy
ongoing
myself some
segment, which I
PVC
like to call
glue. I will
Pointless
pour it all
Character
over my cock and then I'll peel it off and I'll let you know how bad it
So
is.
let's get started with Pointless Character
Wait, did you say uncircumcised or circumcised?
If you are
St. John is
circumcised.
secretly deeply in love.
No, I think it'd be worse if you were
This is
circumcised.
something that originates in St.
That's what I
John's
said.
profile video, which you'll
Scared
remember
the
we skipped
newbie
over a little
out.
bit earlier.
Good.
Yeah, fuck him.
Weird.
He's
He's
a
weird.
nerd.
He's weird.
You're weird.
Okay, but I'm okay.
You're
But
weird
I'm
in a
weird.
good way. Aquaness is weird in an Aquaness way.
Put it
It's
this
a
way,
bad
Xavier.
way. It's a really bad way.
It's not a bad
Xavier,
way.
when I think either Max or Aquaman basically, you know, intimated that they were dating. That guy under his breath just went, "Oh, so you're fag," as if he expected no one to hear that.
It caused me to fucking laugh at him for like 20 minutes straight. Or what felt like it.
Which this time features St.
What?
acting out a fantasy of Jade suddenly professing
When
her
you
love to
first
him.
started talking to him,
Oh, St. John.
a couple nights ago,
You know that I think about
he had said that.
all the time.
Wow, Jade. Sounds like you've got a bad case of the Sinjins.
I do.
Then why do you keep dating Beck?
Because I feel sorry.
Go on then,
for you.
Aquaman. Keep going.
I really want to date you.
I
don't
felt
think
like
I know that?
that was all of it.
You don't think I see the way you look at me?
No, it sounded like say you're halfway through a sentence.
Oh,
I
St.
feel like this is also some kind of weird foot fetish thing.
I mean, they're socks, so yeah.
You belong to Beck.
Anyways, you guys want to take a Ransplains that at the beginning of the
Yeah,
month
like
she
I would
had
fuck
previously
Trina.
uploaded a video of her singing an original song, which she didn't, by the way.
You know
but
what,
the point
based?
is that she claims that at the end
I
of
was
that
always
video,
into
she
Jade,
encouraged
so.
people to
Yeah, I
leave
bet you were.
comments.
Basic.
Jade and Cat.
In this video, highlighting several.
You gotta speak up, sweetheart. Why do you feel that I don't have one decent friend that I can really count on?
Because maybe some people don't like you.
Let's talk about this. Why wouldn't people like me?
You're kind of scary.
I'm scary.
Aww.
Next, we have yet another
Oh.
segment.
That's
The
actually kind of
Funny
adorable.
Nugget Show. This one's weird.
Oh, I hope the nuggets are her little tootsies.
We're back on the feed.
Dylan's got a foot fetish confirmed. Thanks,
I
Dan.
hate feet. I hate feet. I hate
Same.
Is that why you broke one of yours?
Yeah, I'm gonna break another one too. Fuck you.
You nearly did the other day. Like every other day, you just hear Aquanaz go, "Whoa!" and it's like, "What's up, Aquanaz?" Oh, I just nearly broke my other leg.
You know what's gonna happen when we finally meet? He's gonna end up in St. Louis breaking his fucking foot.
I'm more banking on I'm going to have a heart attack.
Are gay. This is the
Amazing.
only way to explain the
Is it because of me or is it because of your overexertion and bad diet?
This single recurring
Overexertion, bad diet, and probably the roller coaster.
Wait, do you have a fear of roller coasters?
I have a fear of heights, Max.
Why are we going to Six Flags?
Six Flags?
Because you know what, Max? The best way to conquer your fears is to just meet them head on.
I don't know how else to describe the Funny Nuggets show segments, and there's so many of them. It's literally just
why are we going to Six Flags if you have a fear of heights?
It's like kind of odd.
Well, I mean,
Sometimes the best way to deal with your fear is to meet it head on.
You gonna let me fucking talk?
Look, man, I'm giving you a good fucking out here.
Yo, 6 bags, I could barely deal 3.
Hang on.
Because I think it'd be fun.
Okay, because I'm riding roller coasters.
Next, let's quickly highlight
I was gonna try ride at least one with you.
This is a 2-part video series which features Kat reading tweets sent to her on theslap.com.
I'm Spencer. Or wait, is she playing Kat right now?
Jerry, is that Jerry O'Connell?
Shouldn't everyone always be themselves? Not when we're acting. Oh, are you acting right now? Yeah. Well, wait. Now I'm not sure.
Hi, everyone. Hey, Daniela.
Demo.
Okay, so like the whole cast of Victoria's
Who thinks this is interesting?
Make that 4.
Hey, Rex. Hi, Rex.
Apparently,
Savaya.
teenage girls.
Wow, without the laugh track, this really falls fucking flat.
Is Rex in character?
Yeah, it does.
Are we supposed to be in character?
Now, this video was posted to both iCarly.com and The Slap, but I think I won't cause a fight if I say that it feels more like an iCarly video. iCarly.com suffered from this unique
It seems like the most stupid way to do a bit that you like constantly having to stop the action for a door to open for someone to talk.
Keep any kind of brand synchronicity with the show being aired on TV.
It's an old
and by the 5th
thing.
year
It's some
that the
variety
was
show
on
from the
air,
60s,
they
I
just
wanna say,
really
did
didn't
that,
care
that
and
they're
were making it
referencing.
pretty blatant that the skits were just skits. And that is an interesting contrast to what we've seen so far on The Slap. TheSlap.com does feature all of the main characters. It does strive to find a consistency with the TV show, and it is still invested in the idea of the viewer seeing it as canon. Although,
you
just
did change
because
my name
it's
to that, didn't
canon
you?
doesn't
No,
mean that it's
I'll
not
prove it to you.
fucking weird. Okay, so next we turn to Jade's What I Hate series, also bringing us to pointless character retcon from The Slap number 2. Jade lives
Jesus,
with
they really
a guy.
like hacked the
Okay, so
back
this
end
is
of
a
the
guy
show
that
with
Jade
tons of
lives
just
with, and
fluff,
it's
huh?
explicitly not her dad. It's also not a relative, it seems. It's someone that Jade refers to as this guy. It's almost like Jade doesn't know who he is. It's just a guy that she lives with.
Like, how many
whom she
people
has
actually
total
interacted
control
with a lot of this
over
back
because
end
he is
content?
afraid of her. I don't
Oh, I
get it
never
either.
saw this
I think
back
this is
end
the same
content.
guy who
How does
tried
he
to get
not
on
get
Carly
it? It's
in
such a
that
basic.
episode.
She's a scary
Did I
lady, and
mention
this
that?
grown
Okay,
man
there
is
was this
afraid of her,
guy
which
who was
is
like
the
an adult
opposite
and
of
was
what
trying
you
to
would
hit on
expect.
Carly
It's the
while she was,
simplest
like,
joke
acting
in the
as a
world.
third wheel for Sam and Freddie. Does anyone remember that?
I mean, you also were earlier just saying that you don't expect him to really get a high art, so
I know, I wouldn't
your
call this
answer's
high
right there.
art, but I mean, he's literally saying, I don't get it either. How do you not? It's a basic fucking joke.
Oh, it's a man, right? It's a man. Oh, it's your dad. Just saying, my daddy hates everything I stand for. He just wants to hang out with his new wife and her yappy little dog. And he's never kept one promise. Never. So.
Jesus.
What do you think
about that? Jade uploaded yet another episode of What I Hate. And boy, at this stage, is she scraping at the bottom of the barrel.
I hate aloe vera. You know that useless gel you buy at drugstores that's supposed to do whatever, but it doesn't really do anything at all?
I used to have a bit because every time we had like a cut or rash or bruise or anything, right? My mother would go on and be like, oh, just snap some aloe vera off the plant. She kept like a couple of aloe vera plants. I fucking turned around to her one day and I went, Mum, I'm gonna come in one day and go, Mother, I have cancer. And you'll go, oh, just rub some aloe vera on it. And I have never seen her actually get that angry at a joke before.
That's not funny, Alex. What if you actually get cancer, okay?
Then I rub some aloe vera on it.
Alex, if you got cancer, I just don't know what I would do.
Unironically, what you said is basically what she did say to me. She was just like, oh, that's not funny, because what if you actually did get cancer? And my excuse was...
I was like talking about my mom about learning to drive, and she was like, Dylan, I don't think you take it seriously enough. And then I remember going like, what do you mean? And she goes like, Dylan, if you, God forbid, that you ran over a child, you would never be the same.
Doing surgery on a grape.
And I just remembered it. And I remember thinking like, holy shit.
We then get yet another episode of Sinjin's sock puppets, this time reverting to the normal gimmick of Sinjin.
You know, the way you could fuck that up is to go, yeah, I wouldn't be the same because I'd be paying to repair my car because some prick of a kid got run over.
It's just so out of left field.
Seem random, but there's this gag in season 1 that I never brought up in the first video, where Sinjin has a teeth collection. So that probably
is that a teeth candle?
Fantasizing about doing dental work on women is probably one of his things.
Just please clean my teeth. It's too late for that. No! Your teeth will be filthy forever.
Man. God, they just did everything to make him seem like a serial killer underneath, didn't they?
Just let my man fucking do his sock puppet shit.
Involving every girl in the show, with one exception.
The end.
Kat at this point begins a new ongoing solo project, which you could argue is something of a twist on Jade's previous show, Jade with Tots. In the first video, Kat explains that there is a home for the elderly down the street from where she lives. And so, on occasion, she will borrow several of these jocular...
Wait, I forgot about this dude! I remembered... Wait! Oh shit, I broke the rule. I remember this black dude because I took a picture of it. I don't know how we found this.
Play it! Play it!
And I screenshotted this black dude's face, and it was like my avatar for like a year.
To film a video.
To access a wireless network, we're gonna tap
Holy shit, we're almost at 4 hours.
I'm super invested in this.
Why?
In one segment, she attempts to teach the unresponsive group how to use pair devices. And in another, she attempts to make the old folk
Dylan thinks this is gonna end, but it's not gonna end till the video ends.
Yeah, unfortunately, I know Max is not going to tap out. I don't want to tap out if Max isn't tapping out, and Xavier is now invested, so we're fucked.
It's a video on a show I liked as a kid. Hell yeah! Like I'm strapped in for all 8 hours. Like as soon as this ends, I'm gonna go back and watch the 2 hours I missed.
I guess old people don't like legally
I refuse to lose.
Look, it would be interesting if Quentin wasn't a fucking wet towel about this whole thing.
Because someone told me that in season 4, Kat actually refers
I still
to
refuse to
one of these
lose.
characters
Tap
by
out,
name.
Alex.
I'm not sure
No.
if this is true, but I guess we'll have to find out. After this,
We're
get
doing
the
nothing else.
of the Funny Nuggets
You were
show.
given your, like, I told you, if you want it to end, I'm happy to go with a draw for you, but you were like, no,
I'm not
I
ending
win.
it.
No, I don't
ending
want
it.
it to end.
I'm
I just
in.
want you to tap out.
Yeah, I'm not going to tap out, Max.
I don't even care if you guys tap out. I'm watching the entire thing.
I'm tapping back in, Dylan.
No, you're not. You've gone.
Can't.
You're gone, bitch.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Aquanos.
Too late, I'm tapped back in.
No, you haven't.
Jade is basically
Aquanez, you're just
treating
such a...
how
You,
she
you
used
are
to
a
treat
manlet who only lasted an hour.
virtually everything.
You and Dylan are like the two biggest losers in this Discord because you couldn't handle the pressure.
Something tells me that's not true.
Everyone isn't exactly breaking new ground.
Tapping
but I-
back
It's true because you fucking... You tapped out and so did Aquanez soon after.
Intermission. So let's check up really quickly.
I've been paying
on
attention
two
to this
lesser
entire
seen
fucking
characters.
thing the whole time.
Andre and
Hey, yeah,
Oh,
we're having
that's
a
your
whole
fucking
hour.
fault.
takes request of season 3, she's hit with a request that is specific but not
It's
too
your fault, isn't it,
close,
for tapping
and she
out?
jumps at the chance.
I'm gonna tap out. I'm gonna tap out. You can tap out, Dylan, but then I'm gonna listen to it and actually be invested in the video because I'm Aquanaz.
And agrees to take the sacrifice.
Aquanaz, if anyone in this Discord has diabetes, it's most definitely not me compared to you.
But you don't disagree with the AIDS part, huh?
What? Something AIDS?
I just thought you don't disagree with the AIDS part, though.
I only heard diabetes because you're mush-mouthing it so bad.
Well, you do have AIDS.
Because he's high.
Yeah, he's high.
Just ignore Aquanaz. He'll stop being high eventually.
I got high too, it's okay.
People in real life, you'd be like, these people are fucking psychotic. You know, like.
After this, we got Kat's Random Freakout. This one's pretty interesting. Basically, it's an episode of Kat's Random Thoughts, but throughout the episode, she occasionally manages to talk herself into having an episode.
Well, wait, you won't see this until I post it on the Slap, so, I mean, for you right now is in the future when you're watching this. But for me right now,
I wonder what /paranormal is saying right now.
Probably something gay.
We have two different right now. I think I just
Legality of curses.
God, this is the most.
I just freaked myself out. I'm freaking out. I'm okay now.
You know what? I have seen so many fucking people do that kind of shit, so I wonder if this show kind of progenited that shit of people fucking.
After her breakup.
Jesus Christ.
No, that's a common human behavior.
Up to right now. Starting off in June 2012,
Ari is a robot, she wouldn't know.
Ari fucking sad.
No one realistically puts a fucking camera in front of themselves and goes, oh yeah, I'm gonna freak myself out.
You just said you've seen,
Shut
you
up.
know a ton of people who do it. Fuck you talking about, nigga?
Braggadociously claims is impossible.
Yeah, Blake
right, okay, they would do it to fucking play something up to make themselves feel fucking like they could get some attention. Not seriously do it because they're actually freaking out.
Well, she's like mentally retarded.
I have to go home now.
Oh, you don't want to go to the
Yeah, so
beach?
most of those people, that's probably why they were doing it.
Beck then actually uploads a video to his own profile illustrating his talents at cooking. The gag of this video is that women are so into Beck that even if he isn't great at cooking, they show extreme excitement at just the image of him trying, with him again being quite boastful of how the ladies swoon at his low-effort demeanor.
I usually just open the bag, you know, because
Is everything coming in okay?
Yeah.
Alright, I changed some stuff.
At the end of the skit, Beck tries to make a can of soup, but instead of women being drawn to him, Robbie is.
Who's making soup? I am.
This is awesome.
This is not what I was expecting.
We could have been watching Venture Bros, Dylan.
Don't fucking say this to me. I tapped out 3 hours ago.
It's just soup from a can, Robbie.
You go fuck yourself.
Yeah, but then Max had to fucking join.
Just give it to him. Who gives a shit?
I do.
What do you win? Let's move on to the penultimate episode of Sinjin's Saga.
What do either of you win? Other than the ire
Bragging
of everyone you love.
The show.
Bragging rights at the other one. And that's all that me and Alex need.
Hi, Planchette. Come here. Come here.
Wait, what did you just say? Who do I love in here, apparently?
This
Nobody.
one was about you.
Alex.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever noticed that your mom is never around when you're in VC?
I have noticed that because I moved out.
Aquanaz.
Yes, but you could say that about everybody but Aquanaz.
Aquanaz.
And Dylan, because Dylan's living with his mom, so.
Oh yeah, we're gonna.
Aquanaz.
Yeah.
Turn on your webcam.
Washington, which, well,
It's time that Alex
Aquanaz doesn't have a.
high amount of totally accurate historical facts. For instance, Kat knows that Washington.
Aquanaz, send this man to the boom boom chamber.
Do you recognize it, Alex? Do you recognize the light, airy sound of your mother's laugh?
What? I can't. Hold on. I can't hear you over Aquanaz's Baron von Underbite laugh.
Do you recognize it? Do you recognize the bountiful bosom that nursed you when you were a child?
I wish you wouldn't use the image of my mother's chest, and if I recognize it, that makes me feel... I can't say yes because it means I stare at my mother's chest.
Alex,
I can't say no because...
You're overthinking
No, I don't...
Alex,
I don't want to imagine this, no.
I need you to think back to when you were a child. What color are her areolas?
Bad news through the art of music.
Fucking kill yourself.
Their guitar is destroyed and their
Actually, commit.
with it. But on the slap,
Just
the pair will
stop.
continue to post duets after this.
And then start, and then stop again.
Bad news that the audience at home might be going through. It's really funny to think about it this way, but if you were to compile all of the songs that Ariana Grande recorded for the Victorious
What is that
franchise,
weird leafy
probably
stuff,
more than
right?
half of them
That
were
people
done
like
for
to
the
eat.
slap. Never recorded
It has its own like
professionally
bar
and
thing
never
at
released on
restaurants
any
sometimes.
So pop that thing right out today, or else you'll get some tooth decay. You'll lose a tooth and you'll be unhappy. You'll have a hole right over here, and every day you'll shed a tear. And all your friends
No.
will call you
It's not...
happy.
No. No, even you're not that fucking retarded.
and are probably the closest thing on
I
this
keep
site
thinking you mean the word salad, and I'm like, no,
Salad.
that can't be right.
The left.
Good job, Katarina.
Same to you, Robert.
Sea King!
Is a
Fuck
fascinating
off! You
A joke
fucking
so old that
cunt.
if it wasn't for chat reminding me of the gag while we watched it,
I can't believe you knew. It was...
Okay. So do you guys remember Honey Badger Don't Care?
You knew I was gonna be the one, and I was just sat here like, no, I don't think you realized just how bad my brain was short-circuiting, and I'm like, no, he doesn't possibly mean this. And it was just a setup for the shittiest fucking. It was just the shittiest fucking fun joke that you had. Oh, I'm fucking crying. Oh.
You know, Alex, I will say this to you. If Aquanas does turn on his web camera, I'm going to lose this challenge.
People started kind of recreating it.
Because I'm going to come.
No, I'm just going. No, I'm just gonna look at Aquanas. I like Aquanas.
Video titled "Tori Don't Care About Nothing."
Well, no, all you have to do is look at. All he has to do is put the camera up for 9 minutes and 59 seconds, and then you can tab back in at the last second.
Tori Vega don't care about no stains on plate.
I'm tabbing back in.
I'm gonna use this scrubby in a vigorous up-down motion.
Oh, I can't believe. You knew it was gonna be me, didn't you?
You're not gonna beat me.
You knew it. No,
No.
you did. Mr. Baron von Underbite, fucking have an ass.
Pizza.
Fuck.
I don't care if it's yours. Why, she's quick as a cat when she's hungry. Tori sees it. Where did my pizza go? But Tori Vega don't care. Her pizza's gone and she smiled at it.
Truly a video that becomes less
Hey,
funny.
what city is the
once you get
Cowboys
to know
based
it.
out of,
I see
Max?
this is a very good representation of
What?
2012 internet.
What city's the Cowboys
Something would
based out
happen,
of?
Everyone would laugh, and then Jay Leno
Max,
would
no.
recreate it.
I
We'd all
don't know what
pretend
the
that it's still
fuck you're
funny.
saying,
And you know, I get
Aquanas.
the
The
most
Cowboys.
ultimate mixed
Where's
feelings here,
the
because at
the
one hand,
football
this
team
was
the
basically
Cowboys
just
found?
the beginning of, you know,
I'm not
our
saying
modern
anything to
meme
you,
culture,
Aquanas.
which is a very good
What?
positive thing. But on the other hand, this was also the beginning of that thing.
I
where
know
all
it's
these,
Texas, but
computer
what
algorithms
city?
were feeding us all the exact same stuff all the time. So we were all supposed to develop like a cached memory of the same recent events and experiences.
Or
and
Dylan-
the next thing you know, you have to be on Twitter 7 days a
Dylan,
week
do you
to
know the
understand
answer?
whatever the fuck SNL
Oh,
is
it's
on
Dallas.
about. But I don't have to talk down to you.
Oh my
No.
God,
Social
no!
media algorithms have changed the ways that we think and act. You're watching a 10-hour Victorious dissertation
yourself.
because Tumblr
I
told you.
just-
As
Wow.
we've just
Goodbye,
seen,
Aqu-
it would be fucking weird
Goodbye,
if-
Wow.
So let's now quickly recap
Goodbye,
the final
Aquanas.
segment in the running series, Sinjin Sock Puppets.
Wow,
This
he
episode is a
really
procession
went
as it
hard for
features
that bit,
Sinjin
didn't he?
recapping the allegedly
He
true
was
story
desperate for
of
that
the
to
time that
fucking
he-
land, even though everyone saw what was coming.
Let's take a glance.
It's me, TV and radio personality, IN.
Thank you, Dylan. You're a true friend.
I have to leave this awesome Hollywood party soon, and I wanted
Alright,
to
fellas,
offer
I'm
your
gonna go to
reality
bed.
show
Good
before I
night.
go.
Good night.
What it takes to get
God,
your
Good.
show.
That was he.
Good.
The Discord will be following you soon.
Done. Per episode.
into the retard chamber.
Into the woozy big bed, polykill bed.
Oh, shut up.
Oh no, Woozy's now the polycule.
No.
Oh yeah, he's been a part of the polycule since day one.
Woozy is a poly queen.
I don't want to
You know
date
what
a
that
Woozy.
means? No, that means you get his rabbits as part of the arrangement. You now have Remy and Remington.
Polykill is abandoned.
The only reason why I would want that is so I can convince Zavia to join the polycule. Nothing else.
I'm already in the polycule, Max. I've been in it for a while.
When did she get added?
A while ago?
And
When
why
I was
is
like super into Pokemon?
And why is Dylan the only person who is not part of it?
Well, he is most definitely part of the polycule.
I'm not part of the polycule.
For instance,
Also,
we're not dating.
Roast beef tomato sandwich.
Savia, I was really surprised to find out that Ruza was like, did she like streams with Blake?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was fucking surprised.
I knew that. You could have asked me.
Yeah, but I didn't. In all fairness, I'm not gonna start being like I didn't like. Look, I don't know how incestuous every Discord seems to be when it comes to Blake and shit. So like, I didn't think you even knew who fucking Ruza was. Like, I'm not just gonna randomly ask you, oh yeah, did The reason I know it now is because we looked at Blake's fucking, what's it called?
Pussy.
Yeah.
Jade loves.
You know when it's really good to be mad? When lame guys try to talk to me.
Get out of Woozy.
Then they cry.
And yeah, it was on his TV tropes that
Here we see the return of this random guy, and we're delivered a list of things
Ruza was in one of his episodes.
Loves. This includes pointless character retcon from the slap.com number 4.
No, he's in one of the entries.
Jade has a pet bunny.
Yeah. The reason it surprised me is because Ruza, well, actually, I suppose you guys don't seem like the kind of guys Blake would hang around, but I suppose he's a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, like,
Who wouldn't love this face? Who's a cute bunny? Who's a cute bunny?
my only real exposure to Ruza was
And I don't care who knows.
from before meeting Zavia and Max. Like Lyle or Blake would mention their names a lot. Well, maybe not a lot, but you know.
Ruza and I worked with Anthony and Lio and Hateful doing the pedo hunting stuff. Blake was part of Anthony's group, so yeah, we all know Blake.
Bunch of fucking.
Okay, so we have just finished.
Yeah, don't worry, I have the same opinion there.
Season 3, meaning that we have only one season left to go.
Then again, I suppose if you want to hide in a fucking.
However, I'm starting to
sometimes it is better to hide and play the side.
Guys might be kind of.
Look, I'm stuck with the person, so.
By this intermission.
Well, not for long.
Like it's just been
hopefully, I can find my own place.
And it's been too much of a break.
I'll still go in for that one you spotted.
Analyze something from the show.
Look, if it's cheaper, just fucking go for it.
It's not available till August 29th, so I'm gonna have to wait still. I also don't have the money to move right now.
In a sense, an
What, Aquanas? What?
Yes, as you can see, we have returned to our absolute favorite place. The conspiracy board. Now, earlier
yes,
in this video,
Aquanas, that's a picture of you.
In this exact spot and analyzed each and every one of these characters, main and secondary, from season 1 all the way through the end of season 3. However, this time there's only one.
What's with the gay white paper-looking top hat?
I was about to say, why did he go to wearing a hat?
Looks like he's cosplaying.
I think he.
That I have not previously
I was just thinking that, Dylan.
Excitement over. I mean,
I think he thinks he's being kind of funny with all these random costume changes. Well, I mean, you know, it's because he's doing it multiple months ahead of each other, but
I've previously felt like that he's just kind of a late arrival to an era of the show where it just felt like everything was already wrapping up. But now that I have binged through the slap, my perspective on this has totally changed. Because now I realize that there was a great mystery with Birth, a mystery which is highlighted actively by the slap's content. Okay, so Birth was originally conceptualized as a one-off character for the show, but not for the episode where he originally appeared.
According to Darsan Solomon, the actor who plays Burf, his character was originally supposed to premiere in the early season 3 episode.
Well, you know how you look back on your time on Lowe's and you probably feel you've wasted your life? You could have spent that whole time doing this kind of video content. You should probably thank your lucky stars you just worked at Lowe's instead.
I think the difference here is, like, he at least seems to like the show he's talking about. Whereas, like, I didn't.
However, Burf's scene ended up being cut before they even started filming, while the episode was still in its scripting stage. However, the showrunners made the unique decision of calling Solomon anyways and asking him to come in and audition for the cut scene. They then took a photo of him.
Seems a bit weird to need a whole conspiracy board for like one guy.
In an in-universe post done by Sinjin, made to tie into The Worst Couple, making this the first public appearance of Burf in any Victorious media. Burf was then properly introduced in the episode Tori and Jade's Playdate, where he served a minor speaking role.
Light a candle, Burf. This place stinks.
I don't have a candle.
Then get a better haircut.
Shake it off.
Whoa.
He's just in a mood.
My good camera died, and I can't find my charger, so we had to switch to the backup cam. After this, it was quickly decided that Burf was not going to be a one-off, and that he would instead be a recurring character in Victorious seasons 3 and 4.
Is that really an excuse when you shot this for like months, most likely?
When the moment strikes and you're recording, you gotta strike while the iron's
When
hot.
Darsan Solomon was eventually brought onto the show, he was eventually informed by several people that
stuff like
Burf actually had a history stretching back potentially years before he was even cast.
What, the kind of videos your parents are very disappointed that you ever, like, fucking made?
My mom would be disappointed to hear that I've been
funny
watching
to have a
this,
character
let
on the show
alone doing this.
named Burf.
Yeah, probably.
Now, to explain
My parents
that
would probably just
inside
be
joke,
disappointed that I
here's
hang
a
out with you
clip of
guys.
Darsan on
Except
a
for
very
Zavia.
recent podcast appearance.
What about me?
That it was like a inside joke.
You would probably be the only person my parents would not be upset about me hanging out with.
Yes,
Why would they be upset
I'm
about
the cool
me?
person. Cause you're a fag.
Oh my god.
Because you've said the N-word multiple times.
I'm not gonna say the N-word in front of your fucking parents. What do you mean?
Yeah, you really smoked that one, dude.
Okay, so to recap, the cast of Victorious
That's a bit of a
had an
weird,
ongoing
like...
joke that it would be funny to have a character on their show with the first name Birth and the last
I'd
name
get it if I'm like, oh yeah, I see that random person. It's a bit different when it's like
real character, just for the sake
a
of playing
Discord.
into this inside joke that none of the audience would have been informed about. An interesting fact, but probably
Like,
not
how would
one
they even
worthy
know
of
that?
its very own interception. Okay, feels like this character existed on the slap, and then he just anamorphed into Burf one day. Now, Burf's voice is very easily recognizable in that last video, but it's not until
Aquanas, that's where black people come from.
Made official, and the cameraman is specifically
the cameramen and then they appear.
as the same character as Burf.
They animorph.
It's me.
I think it's time you're canceled.
Yeah.
My buddy Burf is working the camera.
I don't know, that in my head I was like, wow, that's really funny, and then as I'm saying, I'm like, wow, that's really shit.
There's spaghetti sauce
Yeah,
in
you
your
kind of dropped the ball on that one.
Yeah.
Tell me that before I did this.
Now, that clip specifically of the slap, and this
Holy
batch of
fucking
episodes
Christ.
is short.
Home stretch, boys.
No getting
How
around
long we
this,
got?
no other way to put it.
Must be another 4 hours, right?
With the first 3 seasons
Oh my
of
god,
Slap,
he
they were
spends
putting out
4 hours on the
Alright,
fourth
alright,
season.
we're done. This is it. I'm not fucking... I thought we were like 4 hours 40. We're at 4:15. Y'all can go fuck yourselves.
Okay, it's a tie.
This was the worst idea imaginable.
I was super into it.
You guys have ruined this. This was a fun idea and you all turned it into shit. You turned it into fucking shit. All of you deserve to die. And in fact, I'm gonna find an infected monkey, an AIDS infected monkey, and I'm gonna start sending you pieces of it through the post.
Shut the fuck up.
Do it in a waltz.